On day 1, I spawned into the Aspen Forest as Tails, the awesome two-tailed fox, the best friend of Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, I'm a little baby Tails. This is adorable. Still, I can't wait to get bigger and stronger. But before I could even think about that, I was hit by a crossbow bolt and wounded. I turned and saw a big, scary armored Vindicator coming through the trees towards me.
Well, if it isn't Tails, I've been searching for you. You and your little blue speedster of a friend have had it too good for too long.
Wait, you mean Sonic? He's not here. I'm just Zozo playing as Tails. What kind of problem do you have with me?
You seem to think I'm some common Vindicator, that you can trick me. You're wrong, Zozo, if that is your real name.
It is!
I am a machine designed to destroy pesky little animals like you. And you may know my creator's name, Dr. Robotnik.
Oh no, not him. Anybody but him.
He gave me a mission. I have to destroy you in 100 days. And believe me, I will never fail my mission.
He talked a big game and looked like he could back it up, so I turned and ran for my life. I may not be as fast as Sonic, but that doesn't mean I'm not cool and tough. I'm gonna figure out a way to stop this evil robot from completing its mission. On day 2, I went deeper into the Aspen Forest, keeping a low profile to avoid being spotted by that terrifying armored Vindicator. If he was made by Dr. Robotnik to hunt us down personally, he's gotta be one tough customer. I've got 10 hearts, and I'm already injured, and my hunger bar is way too low. I've gotta get some food immediately. Lucky for me, surrounded by all these trees, it wasn't hard to find an apple tree and fill my inventory with yummy, healthy fruit. An apple a day keeps the armored Vindicator away. But that didn't mean it'd keep every enemy away, because soon enough, a frozen zombie came shambling towards me through the trees. A frozen zombie? What are you doing all the way over here?
I'm another one of Dr. Robotnik's experiments. I'm not just a frozen zombie, I'm a cyborg zombie.
That's just one more reason to run away from you really, really fast. And so, I did. I ran away, regretting that I didn't have Sonic's super speed. I managed to escape the frozen zombie cyborg, but on the way out, I almost stepped on a blob of slime. Ah, gross.
Hey, that's not very nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you could talk. I'm Zozo.
And I'm Blobert, the conjured slime. You look a little anxious there, pal. A little green around the gills. Have a healing potion.
Blobert gave me a healing potion, which I eagerly drank, feeling my hearts replenish. Phew! That was exactly what I needed. Thank you. It's a relief to know there are some nice people around here.
Very kind of you to say so. Come with me. A good friend of mine has a camp around here. You'll want to warm your hands by nightfall.
That's an offer I can't refuse. Lead the way, Blobert. On day 3, I followed Blobert through the forest as day slowly turned into night. Thank you for being so friendly to me, Blobert. I feel like all I've done since I've gotten here is run away from scary people who want to hurt me.
I know how it is. This may surprise you, but people aren't exactly friendly to us conjured slimes. We have to deal with a lot of meanness from people, so I always try to be kind to others.
After a little more walking, I'd found the campfire Blobert told me about. I went over and saw an iceologer warming himself next to the flames.
Hello there! I trust you're a friendly one, or you would have started attacking me by now.
You're right. I'm Zozo, and I'm on the run from Dr. Robotnik's armored Vindicator robot.
Ah, Zozo, it's a pleasure. I'm Ivan the iceologer. I was here studying the ice caps until that dastardly Robotnik melted them to resurrect the frozen zombies. So now I'm hiding out too.
Wow, Robotnik really has ruined everything out here. Is he still in the overworld?
Nope, he left this dimension to go and trouble others, and left that armored Vindicator robot to rule on his behalf.
Wait, so that means if I defeat the armored Vindicator, not only will I solve my own problems, I'll also save the entire world?
Well, theoretically, but surely nobody can defeat the armored Vindicator.
That's not gonna stop me from trying. From day 4 to day 5, I left the campfire with Blobert and went exploring for a perfect place to make a base of operations.
Why make a base, Zozo? Isn't it better to stay on the move?
Rest is important, Blobert. Plus, with a base, we can work on building defenses for ourselves in the event of an attack.
That's pretty sound logic. I guess you can have this wooden pickaxe I've been saving for a special occasion.
Blowbert gave me the wooden pickaxe, and while I didn't want to look ungrateful, I did use it to immediately mine into the ground and gather enough stone to make a stone sword and pickaxe. Sorry, Blowbert, stone is just more effective. But to make it up to him, I started building a cool little base with 2 rooms. One for me to sleep in, and another one for Blowbert. It wasn't much, but at least it'd be a roof over our heads.
Wow, Zozo, this is amazing. With a room to sleep in, I won't need to worry about someone stepping on me while I'm sleeping.
But that didn't mean I could afford to stop being alert. Once my base building for the day was done, a vicious leaf leaf came running out of the forest towards me. There was no talking it down. Instead, I pulled out my stone sword and started attacking. Soon enough, I defeated the leaf leaf and gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, stronger, jumped up to 30 hearts, and got an all-important new power, flying! This is awesome! Now I'm really just like Tails! From day 6 to day 8, I decided to put my new flying power to good use. I took off and soared all the way to the Basalt Barrera. It's so cool to see this place from above, but I could stand to get a closer look. That's why I flew down to the ground and started exploring. But it seemed that Dr. Robotnik's price on my head expanded even beyond his creations, because the second I touched the ground, an icy creeper came running towards me. Back up, back up, back up! Boom! The icy creeper exploded, leaving a huge crater in the ground. And I was able to safely descend again.
Great Scott! That was amazing, lad!
I turned and saw a rugged mountaineer emerge from behind a rocky outcrop. He came towards me, showing no signs of aggression.
The name's Michael the Mountaineer. But sadly, I've got a terrible sense of direction, so I still haven't found any mountains yet. Say, would you mind doing me a favor?
Does it involve helping you find a mountain?
Oh, you'd think so, but no. This rascal, the Vindicator Chef, used to be the personal chef for Dr. Robotnik when he was still around here. He needs to be taught a thing or two.
Well, it's not like Dr. Robotnik and his men can hate me any more than they already do. Let's do it! From day 9 to day 10, I followed Michael the Mountaineer through the Basalt Barrera until we came upon the Vindicator Chef. You stay back here, Michael. This could get tasty, and not in a good way. With Michael hanging back, I went in to confront the Vindicator Chef. But he seemed a lot gnarlier than you'd expect from a humble food service worker.
This sad little fox. My brother told me you'd be coming. I'm preparing a special meal for you. 3 courses, an appetizer of surprise, a main course of fear, and humiliation for dessert.
All this food for me, and all I'm gonna serve you is your words, Vindicator Chef. But I soon regretted being so arrogant, because the Vindicator Chef was not to be trifled with. He defeated me soundly, and all he could do was run away. Right back to Michael the Mountaineer.
Is everything okay, Zozo, old chap?
This chef is way more dangerous than I thought. I'm gonna need some better training and weapons before I can take him on. Wanna come stay at my base in the meantime?
Happily, I can search for more mountains there.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with Michael the Mountaineer and immediately set about making him a chill little bedroom attached to mine and Blowbert's.
This is a truly wonderful little abode, Zozo. And in exchange for your hard work, I made a few little upgrades of my own for you.
I looked around the base and saw that Michael the Mountaineer had built a new storage room for weapons, armor, and supplies, and a furnace for smelting materials. This is awesome, Michael! Thank you! In fact, you've inspired me to do a little searching. That's why I explored an abandoned mining cave in the depths of the aspen forest, which was every bit as deep, dark, and creepy as you can imagine. But lucky for me, I found a vein of iron ore and used my stone pickaxe to dig it up. Once I'd collected enough, I went back to my base and used the furnace to smelt it into workable ingots. I used those ingots to make myself a cool iron chestplate. The best offense is a good defense, I've always said. The only thing the base was missing was some livestock, so I went about finding some sheep in the aspen forest and shepherded them back to the base. I built a little fence around them with enough space for them to roam freely. Now this base is feeling a lot more like a home. From day 13 to day 15, I once again spoke to my friend Blowbert. I needed advice from a goopy guy who knew his way around the block, so to speak.
I'd say you should start investigating the clues Robotnik left behind before he left the overworld. I know he had a present in the Basalt Barrera and the cold swamplands, so maybe there are clues for how to defeat the armored Vindicator out there.
Hey, it couldn't hurt. That's some great advice, Blowbert. Thank you. I flew out to the Basalt Barrera first, seeing as it was slightly more familiar territory. I started searching around for an entire day, but I couldn't find anything. However, a frozen zombie found me.
You're too late, Zozo. We've scrubbed this place of any evidence of Dr. Robotnik's plans. And next, we're going to do it in the cold swamplands.
Wait, so that means you haven't done this in the cold swamplands yet?
Oh, crud! Me and my big mouth. I better destroy you now to save face.
I flew into battle with the frozen zombie, and after a tough fight, I was able to finally take him down. And when I did, he dropped some kind of potion. Well, I am a little thirsty. I drank the potion and suddenly felt myself getting bigger and stronger. I had 60 hearts now and a new power. I slammed my fist into the ground, shattering a bunch of the blocks below me. I guess I had some strength that even Knuckles would be proud of now. From day 16 to day 19, I flew into a totally new location, the cold swamplands. Can't say I'd want to build a summer home here, but if Robotnik used to have a research lab here, it's worth checking out. I touched down and started searching. I was actually searching for 2 whole days when I finally found a ratty old book laying in the swamp. The cover read, Robotnik Research Notes. That sounds like a real page-turner. Part I read said, the overworld research subjects have been mostly disappointing. The Vindicator Chef was a complete failure, and the frozen zombies are mostly weak. But the armored Vindicator and the Dread Beast are extremely promising. The Dread Beast? Eesh, that doesn't sound good. My reading time was interrupted by another frozen zombie trudging towards me through the swamp.
You'll never survive my undead wrath.
I'm not afraid of you anymore! I ran in and defeated the zombie as quick as a flash! Sonic would have been proud of me if he'd seen it. From day 20 to day 22, I decided it was time to treat myself to a cool set of new gear. I've enjoyed stone, but I think I need some metal to take it to the next level. And where better to find metal than in the old mining cavern? I ventured back in and mined up a bunch more iron ore, which I then took back to the furnace at my base. Before I knew it, I had an iron sword and iron tools. With these, I think I can settle an old score. I flew back to the Basalt Barrera with my new gear and made a beeline for the diabolical Vindicator Chef.
Ready for me to cook up another whooping for you, you worthless fox!
Actually, I was thinking I'd cook this time. And I did. With my iron sword, I served up a heaping helping of Defeat the Vindicator Chef. In a flash, he was gone. And if I can defeat one Vindicator, maybe I can defeat another.
Are you so sure about that, Zozo?
I turned and saw the armored Vindicator was standing right there. I had my sword ready, but he was too fast for me. He fired an energy blast at me that took off way too many of my hearts for my liking. So I turned and flew off. I was wrong. I'm nowhere near strong enough to beat him yet. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base to give Michael the Mountaineer the good news.
Zozo, welcome back, old chap. You're looking mighty cheerful. What news do you have?
I did it! That Vindicator Chef is toast!
Oh, I do enjoy a spot of toast. Oh, I see. You mean you managed to defeat him? Marvelous!
Yeah, it was pretty great. I do have a craving for toast now, though. I thought about making some toast, but instead I decided to satisfy a different hunger. My hunger for mining. I climbed back into the mines and found some more iron ore. Then, I took my freshly discovered ore back to my base and smelted it in my furnace. After making some iron ingots, I was able to craft an iron helmet and a pair of iron boots. I was trying on my new gear when Michael the Mountaineer approached me.
Afternoon, Zozo! I do appreciate your help with that terrible chef. I hope you'll allow me to express my gratitude, especially since I've already completed my gift for you. It's a new perimeter wall to keep us all safe and sound.
I love it! Thank you so much! From day 27 to day 31, I flew back to the cold swamplands to continue investigating the area. I wonder if I can find more research notes or something even more helpful. I searched the area for days without finding much. I was starting to get pretty discouraged. I was getting ready to turn around and head back home when a friendly illusioner walked up to me.
Excuse me, are you the fox that was here a while back? The one who totally wrecked that frozen zombie?
That sure sounds like me.
Rad! So, listen dude, I'm stoked you did that and all, but I kinda need some more help, if that's cool. You got a place I could crash for a while? I'm scared more of those frozen guys are gonna come through here.
Sure, you can come back to my base with me.
Sick! Thanks, dude.
I led the illusioner back to my base and left him to get settled in. Then I visited my sheep and collected some wood from them. With more people staying here, I want to spruce the place up a bit. I think some decorative banners will do the trick. Putting up all the banners took a little while, but when I was done, I could tell the hard work was worth it. I wish Sonic could see this base. I bet he'd be really proud of me.
I'm sure he would, Zozo.
Lobert! Uh-oh, you look pretty upset. What's wrong?
I'm afraid Ivan's in trouble. He needs our help. I only hope it isn't already too late.
From day 32 to day 35, Blobert and I rushed to the aid of Ivan the Iceologer. We followed the glow of his campfire, but when we got to the campsite, the cozy hideout was overrun with Dr. Robotnik's frozen zombies. Where's Ivan? I don't see him.
Don't worry, Zozo. I'll look for him. You handle these horrid creatures.
While Blobert continued searching for Ivan, I ran as fast as I could and started slashing my way through the horde of zombies. When you're in a situation this dire, you've got to go fast if you want to survive. Take that, and that, and that! It was tough fighting so many of them, but I was a much better fighter than I was when I first spawned, and I was able to defeat almost all of them. I was about to finish off the last zombie when he started laughing. What's so funny?
An eye for an eye, Zozo. You may have destroyed my friends, but we destroyed one of yours too.
What? No, not Ivan!
Look at you, so sad. Are you gonna cry about it?
Maybe, but right now, I'm gonna do this! And with one final blow, I destroyed the last frozen zombie! From day 36 to day 39, I was desperate to get my mind off of losing Ivan. So I took off and flew all the way back to the Basalt Barrera. As I looked down at the landscape, I could see a geomancer trying to get my attention.
Hey, you! Over here!
I began my descent and landed right in front of him. Hey, did you want to tell me something?
More like ask you something. Hi, I'm Jeff. I've been studying rock formations around here for a long time now, and my research has been going pretty well. Or at least it was, until this super aggressive Cyclops showed up. He's been stumping all over the area and refusing to let me take any samples. He threatened to squash me if I tried again.
Yikes! That's no good!
Think you could help me get him out of here?
I'll give it my best shot. I took off into the air again, and with such a great vantage point, it wasn't long before I spotted the Cyclops. Hey, any chance you'll leave if I just ask really nicely? He didn't say anything, he just tried to attack me. Okay, well, I tried the easy way. Time for the hard way. This looks like a job for my Hulk Smash. This time, it was the Cyclops who got crushed. Jeff the Geomancer was so relieved when I told him.
Thank you. I can't wait to continue my research. I'm trying to find new ways for people to protect themselves from the Armored Vindicator, you see.
He and his frozen zombies just destroyed my friend, and they're trying to get me next.
Oh dear, you'd better be careful. If you think his frozen zombies are bad, then you don't want to meet the Dread Beast.
I keep hearing about this Dread Beast. I really don't like the sound of him.
Nor should you. He's a vile creature and an extremely difficult force to defeat. Be careful out there. If you're taking on the Armored Vindicator, you'll certainly cross paths with the beast too.
From day 40 to day 43, I soared through the sky all the way back to my base. When I landed, I saw Blobert waiting for me.
Zozo, welcome back. Look what I've been up to. I added some bookshelves and couches to the base. It looks pretty cozy, right?
Sure does. What gave you the idea to do all of this?
Well, if it isn't too much trouble, I was hoping we could invite some of the other conjured slimes to stay with us. It's a pretty dangerous world out there for a slime, and you've given me a really safe home. I'd love to share it.
Go for it. They're welcome here. The next day, a whole group of conjured slimes arrived at the base. Make yourselves comfortable, everybody. I love making new friends. After I greeted the slimes, the illusioner came to speak with me.
Hey man, I could use your help with a, gnarly problem of mine. You think you could fight a Gorgon for me? One stole my pet axolotl and took him out to the cold swamplands. And I'm not strong enough to, well, get that little dude back on my own.
Sure, I'll do my best. From day 44 to day 49, I flew to the cold swamplands in search of the missing axolotl and the Gorgon who took him. This place is starting to give me the creeps. I hope I don't run into any more trouble out here.
A foolish hope, Tails. Your days are numbered, and soon I will fulfill my purpose and rid the world of you and your little hedgehog friend.
Ah, the Armored Vindicator! I keep telling you, Sonic isn't here, and I don't have anything to do with this.
No more lies. Your days are numbered, Tails, and soon they will run out. Mark my words, before they do, I will have destroyed you. If I don't, Dr. Robotnik will deactivate me for failing my mission, so I must not fail.
Pretty harsh. Maybe you should fight him instead of me.
Silence! I've had enough of you. Deathworm, handle this pathetic fox.
As the armored Vindicator ran off, a huge, terrifying Deathworm slithered towards me. From day 50 to day 53, I faced off against the super intimidating Deathworm. With a name like Deathworm, I'm guessing you're not just looking for a hug.
I will destroy you, Tails.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I can't let you do that. I like being not destroyed. So, Hulk Smash! I slammed my fists into the ground, sending the Deathworm flying backwards. While it was disoriented, I rushed at it with my sword and won the fight. Some Deathworm? You weren't so scary. I saw something drop on the ground where the Deathworm fell. Oh hey, what's this little note? It says, from the desk of Dr. Robotnik, the armored Vindicator is my most promising creation. A tough combatant with no mercy or fear, but his weakness against diamond-based weapons is unacceptable. I must find a way to correct this. Wait a second. This sounds like diamond weapons might help me get the upper hand against the armored Vindicator. I hope that's true. As I was leaving the area, I noticed something sparkly in the crater where I fought the worm. Mystical diamonds! This will come in handy later! From day 54 to day 57, I saw a tiny little axolotl waddling through the cold swamplands. Hey, little guy, are you looking for your owner? He seemed to trust me and started approaching me when a Gorgon suddenly jumped in between us and attacked. You must be the pet napper. Don't you know it's wrong to come between someone and their axolotl? She didn't answer me. She just kept trying to attack. Luckily, I had my sword ready, and with a few swipes of my blade, I made that Gorgon history. Come with me, little guy. I took the axolotl back to my base and delivered him back into the arms of the Illusioner.
Hank, I missed you so much, buddy. Thanks, Zozo. You're a real good dude.
From day 58 to day 62, I expanded my sheep pen to give the sheep more room to graze and walk around. Can't stop thinking about that note. I think I really need some diamond gear. Back to the mines! Down in the mining cavern, I dug tirelessly until I happened upon some diamonds. Perfect! Using the diamonds I mined and the diamonds I got from the Deathworm, I crafted a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. If I were the armored Vindicator, I'd be pretty nervous right about now. When I got back to my base, Blobert was practically bouncing with excitement.
Zozo, come look! I made the perfect hangout space for us, and the other slimes, and anyone else who wants to visit or stay here.
I followed him, and he showed me a new living area, complete with a fireplace. You did amazing work, Blobert. I'm so glad you're staying here with me. From day 63 to day 66, I was down in the mining cavern digging for more useful materials. I can't find anything. I wish I knew what I should do next.
Well, Zozo, my good chap, I believe I can be of assistance with that.
Ah, Michael, you scared me.
Apologies for the surprise, but an old chum of mine from the Dark Forest sent me a letter, and I believe she can offer you some valuable information.
Oh, thanks. I left the cavern and took to the skies, flying to the Dark Forest. When I landed, a gray hippogriff emerged from the shadows right in front of me.
I've been waiting for you, Zozo.
Stay back, I have a diamond sword.
Oh, gosh. No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm Michael, the Mountaineer's friend. My name is Gracie. I have some information for you about the Armored Vindicator. If you can help me with something first.
Sure, what is it?
Well, there's a troll trying to drive me out of my home here. I'd be able to focus on helping you out if I knew he wasn't going to try anything. But I'm too weak to fight him myself.
I'll give it a shot. From day 67 to day 70, I waited with Gracie for the bothersome troll to show up. After a day, he did, stomping up to Gracie and roaring in her face. She hid behind a tree to get away before he could attack her. Hey, leave her alone. The troll turned his attention to me, roaring and charging right at me. So I attacked with my new diamond sword. That nasty troll didn't stand a chance. You can come out now, Gracie.
Thank you so much, Zozo. Now for the info I promised you. The Armored Vindicator lives in an abandoned laboratory near here. I think it used to belong to Dr. Robotnik. It might even be where he was created. I can show you which way to go, if you want.
Yes, please. Just point me in the right direction. From day 71 to day 74, I followed Gracie's directions and began my search for the abandoned laboratory. I don't see anything but trees. I wonder where the laboratory is. It's It's so hard to find what I'm looking for. But it's not hard to find more Zozo videos. All you have to do is search Zozo, and there they are. Finally, I spotted it. A big, creepy abandoned laboratory. Yes, this must be it.
You made a grave mistake coming here, little fox.
The armored Vindicator had snuck up right behind me. I tried to attack him with my diamond sword, but he was still too strong. Uh-oh, I guess my diamond weapon isn't enough. I'll need to get stronger too. I didn't want to, but I had to run away before he did too much damage to me. From day 75 to day 78, I ran all the way back to my base and stopped only when I reached my room. Can't believe I had to run away. I thought I was ready. I guess I was wrong. I didn't want to face my friends while feeling like a loser, so I just went to lie down in my room. Sometime later, I heard someone entering my room. Who is it?
Hey, dude! We wanted to give you some good vibes, so we made some rad improvements around the pad. Come check it out!
I followed the illusioner and saw that everyone had built a watchtower. Oh, wow! Thank you. That does make me feel a little better.
I also brought you a present.
Blowbird handed me a magic golden apple. I took a bite and immediately felt much better. Not just because I needed a snack, but because it made me transform into a bigger, stronger fox. My hearts increased to 100. I was so excited. I spun around and I unleashed a whirlwind attack. Well, that's new.
Maybe that's just what you need to get the advantage in your battle with the Armored Vindicator.
From day 79 to day 84, I flew back to the dark forest, feeling confident. When I landed, I spotted a siren attacking a pink pixie. Well, I wasn't going to just stand there and let that happen. Hey! When the siren looked at me, I blasted her with the whirlwind attack and it blew her away. I could get used to this.
Thank you. You saved my life. I wish I could repair you.
No worries. I'm just glad I could help.
Wait, I can. I forgot I was carrying this. Here, I hope you'll find it useful.
She handed me a sparkling new diamond helmet. Wow, this is amazing. Thank you. I put it on right away, and I felt tougher than ever. From day 85 to day 89, I flew back to my base in a really great mood. I had a new ability, a new helmet, and a new confident attitude. When I landed though, I got a feeling that something was really wrong. I was right. As I approached my base, I could see a horde of frozen zombies crawling all over it. I even destroyed our new watchtower. Stop it!
We would, if you would accept your doom at the hands of the Armored Vindicator.
Never! I used my whirlwind attack to knock the zombies over, and I tried to chase them, but I lost track of them in the woods. While I was trying to see which way the zombies went, I spotted a cockatrice. Hey, did you see some frozen zombies run through here?
I sure did. I can tell you where they went. If you do me a favor and help me break open this here chest. I lost the key, and I can't get it open.
I broke open the chest with one swipe of my pickaxe, and the cockatrice grabbed the book that was inside.
Hooray! My Mima's recipe book! Thank you, kind stranger. They went that way.
From day 90 to day 94, I followed the cockatrice's directions and tracked the frozen zombies to the abandoned laboratory in the dark forest. I should have known they'd be here. I was about to confront the frozen zombies when a huge, terrifying dread beast emerged from inside the lair.
I see you, Zozo. You can't hide from me.
Uh-oh. Well, if I can't hide, I guess I have no choice but to fight. With nothing else left to do, I drew my sword and got ready for battle. From day 95 to day 97, the dread beast rushed at me and attacked. I dodged, but he was fast and strong too. This is gonna be my toughest fight yet.
It was always going to end here. Accept your fate, and I will make it quick. So I can't promise it won't hurt. A lot.
No, I won't give up. I can't give up. Not just for me, but for everyone that Dr. Robotnik and the Armored Vindicator want to harm. I summoned all my strength and Hulk smashed the ground, toppling the Dread Beast. Then I used my whirlwind attack to keep him down. Finally, I finished the battle with my diamond sword. I did it! I did it!
Fool! The battle has only just begun. After you, my master will obliterate your little blue hedgehog friend. Then the echidna will be next. You will all suffer.
With those last words, the Dread Beast was gone. I won't let that happen. I know now that I need to make sure I don't lose this final fight. I've got to go home and make sure I'm really ready to do this. On day 98, I flew back to my base, where all of my friends were waiting for me. I decided to speak to each one of them, one by one. First, I spoke to the Illusioner.
Hey, man, how are you feeling?
I'm scared, but I'm determined. I can't back down, no matter how nervous I am. Then, Blowbert.
I know you can do it, Zozo. You are a truly impressive hero, and you've done so much for me and the rest of slime kind. You'll defeat the evil once and for all. Here, I brought you this to protect you.
Blowbert handed me a royal shield. Thank you. And finally, Michael the Mountaineer.
I don't have much to gift you, old sport, but I do have this potion of strength. It's just as reinvigorating as a nice spot of tea.
I drank the potion and immediately felt more powerful. Thank you, all of you. I promised to do my best. On day 99, I flew back to the old laboratory in the dark forest to face off against the armored Vindicator. Let's do this. There were a ton of frozen zombies stationed in front of the entrance. Oh great, it'll take me forever to fight through those guys. Just then, Gracie the Gray Hippogriff emerged from a hiding spot behind a tree.
I'm here to help. I've been training, and I think I can fight for myself now, and also fight for you. Let me handle the zombies. You take care of the big guy.
Thank you, Gracie! While she rushed at the zombies, I slipped inside the armored Vindicator's lair. On day 100, I entered the laboratory and confronted the armored Vindicator.
So, it's come to this. Prepare to taste defeat, Tails. I won't be deactivated by my creator. I will serve my purpose.
We don't have to do this. You could just walk away peacefully, or even come stay at my base. I'll help protect you against Dr. Robotnik.
You can't trick me. Stand and fight me. This is what I was made for.
He charged at me and attacked, and I knew I had no other choice. I used my whirlwind attack to knock him out of the way. Then, it was all about the sword fight, and I could tell my diamond sword was doing some damage. He got in a few good hits, but I kept going. I got knocked down, but I got up again. He couldn't keep me down. Finally, I struck one more blow, and he fell for good. I did it! I won! I wish I could stick around to see Dr. Robotnik's face when he finds out he lost, but I don't want to be here when he comes to inspect the lab. Time to go back home and celebrate. Gotta go fast. On day 1, I spawned into the freezing cold Alps as Supersonic! Whoa, look at me! I'm super fast and solid gold! This is one thing cooler than being Sonic, even if I only have 10 hearts! I was so distracted by my own cool shiny skin that I didn't even notice a massive obsidian golem stomping towards me through the snow.
How? Who goes there?
You should have asked, who's Zo's there? Because I'm Zozo. It's nice to meet you.
This is no time to joke. Golems everywhere are under threat right now, and if I believe you might be involved with a threat against us, I'll need to take you in for questioning.
Sure, you can take me in for questioning, but you'll need to catch me first. I turned and ran off unbelievably fast, zipping across the Alps way faster than the obsidian golem could ever follow me. It felt like I was going to escape until I ran up into another obsidian golem standing right in front of me. What? How did you get here so fast?
I didn't. I'm another guy, you dingus. Now come with me before I smash you with my big golem fist.
Guess I can't argue with that. And with that, he led me away. On day 2, the huge obsidian golem led me back to a fortified base hidden deep in the Alps. I was led into a cell, and the obsidian golem locked the door behind me.
You better stay well behaved, Zozo. We don't want to hurt you if we don't have to. But if you make trouble for us, I'll make even bigger trouble for you.
Okay, I get it. You're a big scary golem. I won't mess with you.
Thank you for getting it. I didn't want to labor the point.
Golem left, and left me in an obviously not ideal situation. Darn, I really need to figure out how to get out of here, and figure out what's going on in the overworld. Clearly something isn't right.
You're not the only one who feels that way, mate.
I turned and saw a drop bear sitting in the cell with me. Somehow, I hadn't even noticed him in here.
G'day, I'm Dave. Dave the Drop Bear. I was on vacation from down under, sightseeing in the Alps, and these big nasty golem blokes wrapped me on the knuckles and dragged me in here.
You too, huh? I'm Zozo. It's nice to meet you, Dave. We need to figure out a way out of this place.
Oh, I've tried myself, mate. If it was easy, I would have done it already.
Okay, let me think. I don't have any tools, but I do have super speed. Maybe if I run at the wall with enough speed, I can break a hole into it.
Couldn't hurt to try, mate. Well, it might hurt you to go into the wall really fast, but still, I encourage trying whenever I can.
I took an epic run up, well, as epic as the size of the cell allowed, and ran straight into the wall. It broke enough of the blocks to let me and Dave escape, even if the impact did take off a few hearts.
You're a legend, Zozo. I hope we meet again someday.
Same here, Dave. Be safe out there. So we both made our ways out into the world, hoping that those nasty obsidian golems wouldn't find us. On day 3, I continued traveling through the Alps, trying to find a safe way out, but my body was still aching from running into that wall at super speed. Ow, ow, ow. It worked, but in hindsight, I'm not sure why I thought that would be a good idea. But I wasn't just hurting, I was also hungry, and I needed to find some food soon, or I wouldn't even have the strength to run. What I'd do for a chili dog right now. But I didn't find a chili dog. Instead, I found some apples laying around and ate as many as I could to replenish my hunger bar. That's more like it. At least I won't starve and freeze up on this mountain. My relief was short-lived because a huge figure came rolling out of the snow towards me, even bigger and stronger than the obsidian golems. Oh no, I'm totally gonna be destroyed. I'm having terrible luck this week.
Be not afraid, stranger. I am Humbaba, the wise, brave, and honest. And seeing as you're wandering through the snow, alone and afraid, I assume you've had an unfortunate run-in with the golems.
How'd you guess?
Believe me, I have good reason to know. Come with me, stranger. I'll keep you safe, and you can help me with a little something I've been working on.
And so I followed Humbaba through the snow, having no idea what would happen next. From day 4 to day 5, we finally left the Alps and entered the ancient forest, which was actually a lot more comfortable than all the freezing cold of the Alps. We arrived at Humbaba's base a little while after, where he gave me my first set of stone tools and a stone sword. Why are you giving me these?
Because you need to get stronger, stranger. If you want to help me save the world, you need your own base, and you need to get better at fighting.
But what are you trying to save the world from, Humbaba? Oh, and by the way, my name's Zozo.
Once, they called me the king of the beasts. That means I ruled all the animals, and I did so kindly and fairly. Then came the cruel and diabolical golems, who toppled me from my throne and tried to capture and enslave all the animals I once represented.
That's terrible!
It certainly is. So go, Zozo, get stronger, and then return to me. We will save this world together.
I left Humbaba's base and went further into the ancient forest. Eventually, I found a decent clearing and started cutting down trees and mining stone to start building myself a cool little base. This is coming along well. It'll be nice to be in a room that I haven't been locked in by somebody else. But saying that out loud, ironically, attracted the attention of one of the obsidian golems who'd locked me up.
There you are. You owe us some emeralds after damaging a wall.
I don't owe you guys anything. Using my super speed, I ran in and attacked him with my stone sword, too fast for him to even fight back. Moments later, he was defeated, and I'd gained enough XP to level up. I got bigger, tougher, faster, and gained an awesome jump boost. I now also had 30 hearts instead of just 10. I'm really living up to my supersonic name. From day 6 to day 8, I was running back and forth through the ancient forest to test my super jumps and super speed. But along the way, I ran into an old friend, Dave the Drop Bear. Oh, hey Dave, fancy seeing you here.
Zozo, good to see you, mate. You're looking bigger and stronger since we last met each other. Have you been working out?
I have. Thank you for noticing. What are you doing in the ancient forest, Dave?
Oh, I've been laying low, mate. Keeping it old school. Those obsidian golems came looking for me.
You too? Gosh, it seems like Humbaba was right. These obsidian golems are never going to give up unless we stop them.
Humbaba? What's that?
Oh, just a friend of mine. One I should probably go and see. I returned to Humbaba, eager to take on my first mission and stop these awful golems from taking over our lives.
I'm glad you've come to realize how important our mission is, Zozo. But it's much bigger than just obsidian golems. It's all of them. Your first mission will be a trial by fire. Literally. Go to the savannah and defeat the magma golem. If you are strong enough, victory will be yours.
From day 9 to day 10, I followed Humbaba's instructions and went out to the savannah. Boy, it's so hot out here. It almost makes me regret complaining about how cold the Alps were. But that heat wasn't just the climate, it was the heat coming off of a big, hot magma golem I was creeping up on. I approached carefully, ready to use a burst of speed to take him out with a surprise attack. But instead, he turned and caught me.
Are you trying to sneak up on me, you little creep? That's not a good idea. You won't like what I do to people who sneak up on me.
Don't worry, nobody is ever gonna do it again after this, cause I'm gonna defeat you. Humbaba told me exactly where to find you, and here you are.
You're one of Humbaba's goons? That makes all too much sense.
I'm not a goon, I'm a hero. Let's go. I ran in at super speed and used my jump boost to leap over him. I pulled out my stone sword and attacked him as fast as I could. He turned and landed a few powerful hits on me, but in the end, I was victorious. Wow, I lost a lot of hearts in that battle. This isn't good.
That's where I come in.
I turned and saw that Dave the Drop Bear was walking towards me again. Dave, how did you find me?
Pure luck. I had some commotion and ran right over. Yeah, I have a healing potion, mate.
I drank the potion that Dave gave me and felt my hearts replenishing.
Why are you out here anyway, Zozo?
My friend Humbaba sent me out here to fight the magma golem. It was harder than I thought.
He sends you on dangerous missions. That's a strange thing for a friend to do.
We've got an important goal, Dave. You wouldn't understand. Thanks for the health potion, though. I'll pay you back for this someday. And with that, I ran off at the speed of sound to tell Humbaba about my victory. From day 11 to day 12, I rushed back to the ancient forest to tell Humbaba the good news.
Welcome back, Zozo. Were you successful in your mission?
I sure was. It was pretty tough, but I managed to defeat the magma golem just like you asked.
Excellent. But our work is far from over. If we are going to truly win the battle against the golems, you must become stronger. Get yourself some iron armor and weapons, then return to the savannah to seek out the remaining golems there. We must eradicate them from the land.
Oh, that sounds kind of intense.
Don't you trust me?
Well, I have no reason not to, so I guess I'll get going. I journeyed to a nearby cave and started looking for some iron ore. After a little while, I managed to find some. Time to make some new gear with this. I used the iron to fashion some iron armor, an iron sword, and an iron pickaxe. As I was getting ready to leave the cave, the obsidian golem appeared. He looked pretty mad.
There you are, Humbaba's evil henchman.
Why do you guys keep saying stuff like that? I'm a good guy.
Good guys don't run around attacking innocent golems.
He attacked me, but I fought back, and before too long, I had managed to defeat him. From day 13 to day 15, I took my new gear and traveled back to the savannah. There has to be some golems around here somewhere. As I was exploring, I spotted a raccoon cowering behind a tree. Excuse me, have you seen any golems making trouble around here?
Eek! Please don't hurt me!
What? I'm not gonna hurt you.
And you were here earlier, fighting the magma golem.
So that I can help free the animals, like you. I'm trying to help.
Help? I didn't need your help. That magma golem was my friend. He just threw me a birthday party last week. You're ruining everything. You and your horrible boss.
I decided to leave the raccoon alone before I made matters worse. Something feels wrong. I'd better go back to Humbaba and talk to him about this. From day 16 to day 19, I returned to the ancient forest to ask Humbaba what the heck was going on. I'm probably just misunderstanding, or maybe that raccoon had me mixed up with someone else. When I got there, Humbaba looked really busy, but I decided to talk to him anyway. Hey, so when I got to the savannah, there was this raccoon and…
I don't have time for this. I have important matters to attend to. Come back when you've done what I asked.
Jeez, he's in a bad mood. I decided to go back to my base so I could take a moment to think. When I got there, Dave the Drop Bear was waiting for me.
Zozo, it's a mess, mate. That Humbaba friend of yours is attacking a bunch of animals and golems in the savannah. It's chaos.
What? That doesn't sound like him. I'll go check it out. I rushed there as fast as I could, and sure enough, Humbaba was stomping around and attacking everyone in sight. What are you doing?
Don't tell me you've lost your nerve now. I'm just doing what needs to be done, reclaiming my rightful place on the throne as king of the beasts.
Wait a second, you're not trying to help anyone. You just want to be in charge again.
Took you long enough to figure it out.
You tricked me. I couldn't stand there and watch anymore. I ran at him with my sword drawn and attacked, but he was too strong. He knocked me down with only one hit. I tried to get back up, but he hit me again, and everything went dark. From day 20 to day 22, I finally woke up, still in the savannah. I couldn't see Humbaba anywhere. Must have knocked me out and finished what he started. This place is a disaster. I can't believe he misled me like that. I feel like such a fool. I'm so sorry, everyone. If you need a place to stay while your homes are rebuilt, you can go to my base. After I gave them the invitation, I traveled back to my base to make some much-needed improvements. We don't have enough room for guests right now. I'll need to expand. I built an additional room, and I was going to add more, but only Dave the Drop Bear showed up.
Sure, it's okay for me to stay here.
Definitely. Welcome home.
Thanks, mate. For what it's worth, I don't think you're bad. You were doing what you thought was right. Now you know better. It's never too late to turn things around and fight for the good guys.
From day 23 to day 26, I decided to go back to where I started, before Humbaba filled my head with lies, the Alps. When I got there, I saw a vicious hellhound chasing after a poor, defenseless roadrunner. Now's my chance to do something good and actually start helping people who need it. Hold on, I'll save you.
Meep meep. Hurry, I can't run this fast forever.
I sprang into action, running as fast as I could, and jumped in front of the hellhound, blocking its path. With my iron sword, I managed to hold back the beast and rescue the roadrunner from its jaws. But it wasn't defeated yet. The roadrunner ran off down the road, leaving me to finish my battle with the hellhound. I was worried I wouldn't make it, but I finally managed to defeat it. As I stood there, catching my breath, I felt my hearts increase to 50, and I gained the ability to climb walls. From day 27 to day 31, I found some lost sheep wandering around the Alps. They didn't have anywhere to stay, so I invited them to come live at my base. I quickly traveled back to my base to build a pen for the sheep. There, perfect for some sheep to sleep. Haha, sleep sheep, that rhymes.
Sure does, mate. Hey, if you're done improvising poetry about farm animals, wanna come see what I built?
Sure. I followed Dave into the base, and he showed me a new room that wasn't there before.
Yeah, it's a storage room. We can keep all sorts of things in here. Armor, swords, boomerangs, you name it.
That's great. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, back in the ancient forest, Humbaba had found a new henchman, someone terrifying and powerful, a slave and warder, ready to follow his every order.
Zozo's foolishness might have delayed my plans a little, but with your help, we can still erase all golems from this land and make me king again. Yes, my liege. All shall bow before you or perish.
From day 32 to day 35, I returned to the Alps and made my way to the golem base where I was held prisoner before. I had to make things right with the golems and show them that I was on their side. The obsidian golem there wasn't very happy to see me.
You dare show your face here again? After all you've done, I should have you locked up and throw away the key.
Wait, don't! He ran at me and attacked me, but I dodged. I'm not here to fight. I want to say I'm sorry. I was tricked by Humbaba. I thought you guys were the danger, but I know better now. I want to help.
If you truly wish to help, then there is someone you should meet. Follow me.
He led me to a wise, ancient gold golem.
Hello, my son.
I'm your son? There's not much family resemblance.
It's just an expression, but I should warn you, if you wish to aid us in the battle against Humbaba, you are in for a difficult fight. Once, he was the king of the beasts, but he took that title by force, by terrifying and imprisoning all animals that opposed him. The golems freed the animals, and he swore revenge. Now it seems the time has come for him to try and take his power back.
We can't let him.
I agree. Fight valiantly, young Zozo. I will help you however I can.
From day 36 to day 39, I traveled back to my base, thinking about the gold golem's words. This is going to be a difficult fight, so I need some better equipment. I'd better find some more iron. I went back down into the cave and mined until I had enough iron to finish my set of armor. While I was looking, I found a few diamonds too. I'll bring these back to the base to use later.
Crikey, look what I found. Zozo, look at this.
I followed the sound of Dave's voice and saw what he was talking about, a Kyther. Awesome, let's bring it back with us. When Dave and I got back to the base, there was a prismarine golem waiting for us.
Zozo, the gold golem sent me to find you. You need to come meet with him immediately. It's a matter of life and death.
Then I guess I gotta go fast. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to the Alps to find what the gold golem so urgently wanted to tell me.
Zozo, thank you for getting here so quickly. I have important information for you about Humbaba's grand scheme. You see...
But before he could finish his sentence, we were both interrupted by a huge crashing sound. I turned and saw a slave and warder attacking the golem base.
I am here for the head of the traitorous Zozo.
You can't have my head. I need it for thinking of stuff.
Face me and fight, little coward.
I'm not a coward, but I know an unfair fight when I see one. No thanks. I ran away from the slave and warder, and in the process, ran into the gold golem again.
Run, Zozo, protect yourself. We can handle ourselves here. The golems are used to doing battle with Humbaba's many goons.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Then I won't. You know what to do.
I ran out of there as fast as I could, as the slave and warder continued trying to tear the base apart. From day 44 to day 49, I was laying low at my base, still shaken from seeing the relentless attack of the slave and warder. It's lucky that I'm the fastest thing alive, or I don't know how I would have escaped that monster. I need to be more careful. Soon after that, I got a personal visit from the gold golem, and for once, he had some good news for me.
Zozo, my son, lend me your ear.
Gold golem, I'm so glad you're okay, and that your obsidian golems managed to repel the attack.
We did, at a great cost. My men are rebuilding the base as best they can, but more importantly, I have been studying the sacred texts for answers to our Humbaba problem, and I think I may have what we need.
Oh, tell me, gold golem, please.
A battle axe, buried somewhere deep and dark, once wielded by a great hero who used it to slay some ancient evil. The legends say that the battle axe still has some of his power.
That sounds like exactly what we need to defeat Humbaba. Where can we find it?
This is where my knowledge ends. You must journey to the savannah and find the glowstone golem elder. Perhaps he will have the answers that you seek.
Thankfully, with my speed, it won't take me long to get there. From day 50 to day 53, I used my super speed to reach the savannah in record time. I waited until nightfall, knowing it would be a lot easier to find the glowstone golem in the dark. When the darkness crept in, I started my search, running end to end in the savannah until I saw a distinctive glow in the middle of a clearing. I approached and saw him standing there, as though he knew I was coming. The glowstone golem! Glowstone golem, my name is Zozo, and I humbly come to you, searching for help in defeating a great evil.
Speak!
My friend, the gold golem, told me of an ancient battle axe that might be able to defeat the evil Humbaba. Do you know where I could find such an axe?
It would not matter if you could find it.
Wait, what do you mean?
You are not strong enough to wield that ancient battle axe. When you are ready to use it, only then will you find it.
What?
I have spoken. Away with you, Zozo. Do not seek the battle axe. The battle axe will seek you, if you deserve it.
And like that, the conversation was over. I went back to my base, moving much more slowly this time, feeling completely defeated. From day 54 to day 57, I returned to the Alps, planning on telling the gold golem the bad news, that his glowstone elder hadn't told me anything useful. But that's when something even worse happened. The terrifying slave and warder hopped out right in front of me.
There you are, you sad little glittery worm! You dared defy the great King Humbaba, and you keep running away from the justice you so richly deserve!
Why do you work for him, warder? He's no king, he's just a bully who thinks he's the best. Don't you know he thinks you're just as below him as everyone else?
Of course I'm below him! He is the king, and we are all his loyal subjects. We exist to serve him, and those who refuse to serve him shouldn't exist, including you, Zozo.
The slave and warder immediately lunged at me, and one attack from him took off a scary number of hearts. There was no way I could fight him off like this. I just needed to run away as fast as I could, which thankfully, as supersonic, was really, really fast. Meanwhile, at Humbaba's base, his evil plot was marching ever further.
So, Zozo is seeking out the battle axe. Excellent. He'll do all the hard work, and then I'll take it from him. I'm so good at this.
From day 58 to day 62, I came back to my base, still feeling jittery from my encounter with the Slaven Warder. I need to get stronger weapons and armor. If I don't, I could be toast if I get ambushed by Humbaba or his Slaven Warder. But at least, when I arrived at my base again, Dave the Drop Bear had some cool news for me.
Zozo, me old cobber, I've been working on a bit of a construction project while you were gone. For starters, I made a furnace for all your smelting needs, but I've also been working on putting together a bunker in case everything goes sideways.
This is awesome, Dave. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, I've been running low on stone. You could go and get me some. That'd be a huge help, mate.
Happy to have something to take my mind off of the threats at hand, I went to a nearby cave to mine Dave some extra stone. But while I was down there, I also got lucky and found some diamonds. Finally, my luck is starting to change. I went back to the base and gave Dave a bunch of stone blocks, and then visited the furnace to forge some new items with my diamonds. A diamond helmet, a diamond sword, and a diamond pickaxe. Let's see that Slaven Warder try to mess with me now. From day 63 to day 66, I met with the gold golem at my base again. He'd managed to make a good break in the case.
After studying further texts, I found a potential answer to our troubles, Zozo. Interpreting all the clues, I believe that the battle axe may be in the Brimstone Caverns, where it is guarded by a terrible beast.
That's at least 50% good news. Do you have any idea how I can enter the Brimstone Caverns?
I've heard tell of a secret door somewhere in the ancient forest that leads directly to the Brimstone Caverns without a nether portal. Let us go and find it. There is no time to waste.
Gold Golem and I ran out into the ancient forest, searching for the legendary door, and eventually we did find it. There was only one problem. It was locked. Is there any way you can open it with magic, Gold Golem?
I'm afraid only a special key can open a door like that, Zozo.
Oh, figures. From day 67 to day 70, with the key still out of reach, I decided I'd build some extra strength by helping the Gold Golem with a favor up in the Alps.
A powerful Tartarus has been rampaging through the Alps. I don't believe it works with Humbaba or any of his men, but his threat needs to be neutralized one way or another. He's too distracting to our mission.
I'll see what I can do. It'll be nice to feel like I've done something useful for once. Using my supersonic super speed, I blasted my way through the Alps until I came upon the Tartarus. It was as big and scary as I expected, but I pulled out my diamond sword and jumped into the fight. It wasn't easy, but eventually I fought the monster to a standstill, but I didn't destroy it. Instead, I spoke to it.
You are a valiant fighter, stranger. I admire your strength and grit. What would you ask of me?
Just stop causing trouble around here, okay? The golems have enough to deal with right now.
I respect your wishes. Good luck on your quest.
True to his word, the Tartarus left the Alps. From day 71 to day 74, I returned to my base, only to see that someone had completely wrecked it. Confused and afraid, I ran in to see what had happened. Thankfully, Dave the Drop Bear was okay, and he told me the whole story.
It was terrible, Zozo. That nasty blighter, the Slaven Warder, showed up and attacked the base. He was looking for you, and he was turning everything upside down trying to find you. And when he didn't, he just stole that Carther I found for you a few weeks ago.
I'm sick of that heinous henchman. No more being cowardly. I'm going to hunt that creep down and fight him on his own territory.
That sounds like a plan, Zozo. That nasty Slaven Warder has had it too good for too long.
As I prepared the plan for my counterattack, Humbaba, back at his base, was refining a plan of his own.
We have the door. My minion has the key. When Zozo takes it and clears the path for me, the battle axe will be mine.
From day 75 to day 78, Dave the Drop Bear had fully repaired the base and added a perimeter wall in case someone came to attack the base again. We still left a door in the front for visitors, such as the Gold Golem, who came over to give me a gift before I led my assault on the Slaven Warder.
I have a gift for you, Zozo. A firework crossbow. It's a powerful ranged weapon that may give you the advantage you need.
Wow, Gold Golem, this is awesome! Thank you!
We have a lot riding on this quest, Zozo. I have reason to believe that the Slaven Warder may hold the key to opening the door in the ancient forest. If you can defeat the warder, you can defeat Humbaba once and for all.
Finally understanding the true importance of my mission, I took the firework crossbow and left to battle the slave and warder outside of Humbaba's base. From day 79 to day 84, I arrived outside Humbaba's base, ready to face the slave and warder. He was waiting outside, like he knew that I was coming.
I will destroy you now, Zozo, to show my loyalty to my beloved king!
That might be the saddest thing I've ever heard, dude. I fired my firework crossbow at him, stunning him before running in with my super speed and delivering a volley of attacks with my diamond sword. I never gave up, just striking him again and again. Once my assault was over, the slave and warder was destroyed, and I had enough XP to level up again. I reached full power and full speed with 100 hearts and a whirlwind attack. The slave and warder also dropped both my Kythar and a key to the door in the ancient forest. Huh, that's convenient. Still, I can't look a slave and warder in the mouth. Time to go and get that battle axe. And so, I set off back towards my base, having no idea that I was playing right into Humbaba's hands. From day 85 to day 89, before heading to the door in the ancient forest, I arrived at my base to give Dave the Drop Bear the good news.
So you found the key after all. Good on you, mate. Since we're sharing good news, I'm pretty much done with the defense bunker. If you want, you can add the final block.
I'd be honored to, Dave. I added the last block, finishing the bunker for good, and then I ran over to the ancient forest door. It's now or never. Time to get this battle axe. I unlocked the door and went inside. The brimstone caverns were dark and frightening, and I remembered what the gold golem had told me about the frightening monster guarding the battle axe. And then I ran into the monster, a huge, scary Cerberus. Good doggy? I unleashed a whirlwind attack on the Cerberus and then pulled out my Kythar. The Cerberus was one of the toughest and most vicious enemies I'd faced, but in the end, I defeated it. The battle axe was mine. From day 90 to day 94, I was ready to leave the Brimstone Caverns with my battle axe and defeat Humbaba and his evil minions once and for all. I expected I'd need to go all the way to his base to fight him, but no. He was waiting for me in the Brimstone Caverns, staring into my soul.
Thank you for collecting my battle axe for me, Zozo. I would have done it myself, but being the king of beasts is busy work.
Me and the other animals will never accept you as our king. You have no authority.
Oh, believe me, Zozo. With that axe, I have all the authority I need. No golem nor beast will be able to stand against me. Because I'm feeling generous, I'll give you one more chance. Since the slave and warder is gone, I need a new second in command. It could be you.
It'll never be me. Ever!
Fine, then perish.
And just like that, the ground exploded beneath me, and I fell down into a chasm in the floor. I was knocked out, and when I woke up, I realized that the battle axe was gone from my inventory. Oh no, Humbaba must have taken it! From day 95 to day 97, I used my wall climbing ability to get out of the pit that Humbaba had trapped me in. With the battle axe, I had no way of knowing what terrible things he could be getting up to now. I left the Brimstone Caverns at light speed, needing to get to the Alps and warn the gold golem that Humbaba was probably going to come straight for them. And I was right, but I was too late to do anything about it. The golem's fortress was in ruins, and the only survivor, the gold golem, was barely clinging on to life. I ran in and tried to help him, but it was too late.
Zozo, you're alive, so that monster lied. That's a small solace, at least.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't here in time to save you, gold golem. You did so much for me, and I let you down.
Don't worry about me, Zozo. You need to go back to your base. That's where he'll be heading next. Go, quickly, before it's too late, my son.
The gold golem was right. As he passed on, I ran off in the direction of my base as quickly as I possibly could. On day 98, I returned to my base, only to find that more terrible things had unfolded. The whole place was in ruins, and Dave the Drop Bear was hiding behind a piece of mostly destroyed wall, trying to remain hidden. Oh no, even moving at the speed of sound, I still wasn't fast enough to stop Humbaba. When he heard my voice, Dave finally felt safe enough to emerge.
Crikey, Zozo, I thought you were a goner. I'm so happy you're okay, mate. I'm only alive because I hid inside the bunker we made.
I'm so sorry that I didn't get back in enough time to stop Humbaba from doing all of this. I don't even have the battle axe anymore. He took that too. We've got no hope of stopping him.
Don't talk like that, Zozo. You've gotten us this far. I just know you can take us the rest of the way. You're the fastest thing alive, aren't you? If that nasty creep stole the battle axe, who better than you to steal it back and end all of this?
You're right, Dave. I need to run towards this, not away from it. It's time for us to finally win. So, at the speed of sound, I set off to take back what was rightfully ours. On day 99, I blasted through the ancient forest towards Humbaba's base. Nothing would stop me from getting inside and stealing back that axe. You're gonna regret ever messing with this supersonic Humbaba. I arrived and did a super jump over the wall, clearing it effortlessly. When I landed, I saw Humbaba standing there, seeming surprised to see me.
Are you here to submit to me, Zozo?
Nope, I'm not here for you at all. I sped off, running away from Humbaba and traveling deeper into his base until I came upon a chest that looked important. I looked inside and found exactly what I was looking for, the battle axe. I could feel the power, the strength, and the pull of destiny. I was ready to take on the beast that had caused so many people so much pain and get rid of him and his evil for good. On day 100, full of power and fury, as well as my incredible speed, I returned to Humbaba, wielding the battle axe I'd taken back from him. The wannabe king of beasts was waiting for me.
Are you this eager to be destroyed, Zozo? You're traveling towards a dead end at the speed of sound. All the chances I've given you to give up and swear fealty to me, your true king.
The only thing you're the king of is being an arrogant windbag. I'm sick of hearing you brag and posture about how cool you are when all you do is destroy things. You're not a ruler, you're a monster.
If I'm a monster, Zozo, come and slay me if you think you are strong enough.
Careful what you wish for, your highness. The battle was on! Using my supersonic speed, I unleashed a whirlwind on Humbaba, throwing him off his rhythm. But I didn't stop there. I sped in and struck him with the battle axe, moving too fast for him to hit me or defend himself. I struck him again and again, knowing that soon it'd finally be over. And then it was. Humbaba had been destroyed, and I was the one who did it. Humbaba will never destroy or enslave anyone ever again. We're all free. On day 1, I spawned in as Shadow the Hedgehog. Hey, check out my stats. Look how many hearts I have. Ooh, I also have a shiny red stone in my inventory. I wonder what that's for. What is this? Ugh, I'm stuck in some kind of glass tube. Hey, let me out of here. Just then, I saw a young girl walk slowly up to me. Who are you?
I'm Maria. I know we were very close, but I don't have much longer. My sickness is worsening. I'm going to get you out of here before it's too late. You must find the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Everyone's fate depends on you.
Maria touched the glass and everything started shaking. Just then, robots burst into the room and started firing, hitting Maria. Maria! She fell to the ground and was gone. All of a sudden, everything around me went hazy. I was being teleported somewhere. Next thing I knew, I was in a green field somewhere. Huh? What's this? I'm a baby hedgehog now. I'm not very strong at all.
Come into the den, Shadow. You've played long enough in the field. It's nap time.
I looked for the voice and saw someone who must be my mom, but I was starting to feel dizzy and weak. I'll make sense of this after I sleep. I went into the den and took a nap. On day 2, I woke to the sound of shouting. I ran out of the den and saw my mom being chased by none other than Sonic the Hedgehog.
I can sense you have a Chaos Stone here, and you're gonna give it to me, 'cause I gets what I wants, you dig?
I don't have any emeralds, I swear. Leave my family alone, you big bully.
I couldn't believe how mean Sonic was being. This wasn't like the Sonic I knew. What was going on? Hey, leave my mom alone. She didn't do anything to you. Since when did you become the bad guy, Sonic?
Who is this pipsqueak? What, were you born yesterday? I'm the greatest supervillain to ever exist. And don't you forget it, kid.
Go inside, Shadow. Dr. Eggman will be here any moment to help us.
Dr. Eggman helping civilians? What was this? Opposite world?
Sorry, kid. Your mom is going with me until I find the Chaos Stone she is hiding. But I'll leave you with a little parting gift.
He placed some TNT at the den, and it blew it to pieces. I tried to get to my mom, but Sonic grabbed my mom, and in no time, he was gone. He was so much faster and stronger than me now. Then I had the thought, Maria must have sent me to an alternate dimension. I better get some tools and build some shelter from mobs. And I need to rescue that lovely owl that is apparently my mom. I've never had a mom before. I have to protect her. I got to work punching some nearby trees. With the wood I collected, I made myself a crafting table, then crafted a sword and a pickaxe. With the leftover wood, I made a basic shelter to hunker down in until I knew what to do next. Later, I'd turn it into something truly special. I finished it in time before any spooks came out to get me. I wasn't certain about anything anymore. Not in this weird reality. On day 3, I decided to go explore the area. Maybe Sonic wasn't too far away, and then I could get my mom back. As I explored, I noticed a few gold rings floating in the air. I collected them and followed in their direction. I could still run fairly fast, even for a little guy. They led me to a beach, where I started thinking about my first problem. Sonic was looking for Chaos Emeralds too. Wait a minute, maybe I really do have one. Maybe that's why he was drawn to the den. I pulled out the red stone in my inventory. Yeah, this was definitely one.
That's a mighty big stone for a little guy like you. Let me help you with that.
I turned and saw a bat lady standing next to me. Rouge?
Huh? How did you know my name?
We've met before, but I was much taller. I'm guessing I'm in an alternate reality, seeing as you don't know who I am.
Okay, Pipsqueak. Sounds like your bottle of milk went sour. That, or you're messing with me. And nobody messes with me, sugar.
She went to nab the red stone, but I was quicker than her and dodged her advances. In my world, we're part of Team Dark. I was sent here to save this world. Maybe, after you've had some time to think, we can join forces. Until then, I'm out. I ran as fast as I could so Rouge couldn't get the stone. If she was anything like she was in the world I came from, she was an expert thief. I made it back to the shelter and decided now that Rouge was on my radar, I'd better make some improvements. I'd better start mining some stone. I ducked into a nearby cave and mined out a solid amount of stone. Using the stone, I improved my shelter. Then I used the remaining stone to craft a set of stone tools. Just as I finished, a bunch of crabs came crawling at me out of nowhere. Looks like I'm in a pinch. I took out my new stone sword and started swinging. What a bunch of crabs! I didn't do anything to you. It's a good thing I had just made my new sword because I was able to deal with them quickly. When the last one disappeared, I saw that it had left behind a pair of shoes on the ground, along with some crab meat. Cool! I'll try these on tomorrow. For now, I better get inside before more mobs come. On days 4 and 5, I woke up hungry, so I filled up on some crabs for breakfast. I'd need to stretch my legs after a meal like that. Let's see what these shoes can do. As soon as I put them on, I started growing and gaining hearts. Finally, I'm a normal-sized hedgehog. Not as big as I was, but it'll do for now. I immediately sprinted around the area. Yee-haw! I spotted another trail of gold rings and followed them up and over a grassy hill. I soon found myself blazing through a jungle biome when I came across a big purple cat going fishing. Big?
Oh, howdy. Who are you?
I introduced myself and explained why I was in this world. In my world, Big was a good friend to Sonic. I asked him if he was friends with Sonic.
Friends with that mean dude? Nah, I'm just friends with Froggy here. I don't know much about anything else other than fishing.
Big's frog friend greeted me. You're just like the Big I know, and he always helps when the world needs him. Will you come back to my base and be part of my team? Froggy and Big agreed, and I led them back to my humble base. To no surprise, I had some visitors already at the base. Some Orbinauts were surrounding the base. We couldn't get in. Big and I swung into action, literally. We used our swords and Big's fishing rod to get rid of all of them, but one had creeped up on me. It was about to take me out. Luckily, Big caught sight of it and gave it a big thump, taking it out. Whew, that was a close one. Thanks, Big. I owe you one. To pay him back, I decided to make him his own special box house. Cats love boxes, and I wanted to show him how I appreciated him. The house was soon done, and Big and Froggy checked it out.
Not too shabby. This will do great. Thanks, bud.
On days 6 through 8, I woke up to the smell of fish and carrots. I went outside and saw Big and Froggy had built a carrot garden. Big was by a campfire cooking up some fish.
Hope you're hungry.
Big tossed some cooked fish over to me, and I gobbled them right up. I had no idea how I had survived without him. I thanked him for breakfast. So there's a cave nearby that I wanted to explore. We should see if there's any iron in there, just in case Sonic decides to show up. Big agreed, and Froggy hopped on his back. We searched the cave, and were lucky enough to find lots of coal and just a little bit of iron. We walked outside, and I noticed there was a whirring sound, and from out of the trees came a drone.
That's one of Sonic's drones!
Luckily, Big knew what to do. He got out his fishing pole and began pulling it down out of the sky. As it fell to the ground, I ran over to it and smashed it with my sword. This was a piece of cake, like air whack-a-mole. Just as I said it, another drone came out of nowhere and dropped a bomb on Big. The explosion was enormous and knocked me back. I got up and bolted back to the fiery embers. To my utter horror, nothing of Big remained. The blast was so powerful that Big the cat was no more. No! Big! I'm so sorry! I got you into this mess, and poor Froggy, gone too! My sadness turned to red-hot rage. I will avenge you, Big and Froggy! It was then that I noticed a small red wisp staring at me. It looked sad. Oh no, did those bad guys use your powers for evil? I'm sorry. I know you only like the good guys. It wasn't your fault. Come on, I'll look after you. You can come back home with me. Once we arrived back at the base, I made a monument for my friends. I was so sad I couldn't see them. Using some of the materials I got from the drones in mine, I upgraded the base and made a spot for the red wisp to stay. It was time to start plotting my revenge. Time to get crafty. With the little bit of iron I collected, I managed to make myself an iron sword and chestplate. I would need to find more iron later. On days 9 to 10, I awoke with a start. My father was in the room. Well, not really. It was a hologram being projected in my room via my father's powers. He was searching for me. My father, or creator as some would call him, was Black Doom. He's not the kind of dude you want to be related to. He doesn't care about others. I was only created by him to do his bidding.
Shadow, I sense you. You are close, but not close at all. You will return to me, and we will finish what we started. Mankind will be fed to my army, and the world will be mine. And if you do not return, I will find you soon. It's only a matter of time. Thus saith Black Doom.
The holograph disappeared as quickly as it arrived. Black Doom was hot on my trail. I needed to speed up my search for the Chaos Emeralds. For days 11 through 12, I fortified my base, seeing as Black Doom was searching for me. I would need a lot more protection. I set up some torches too, to keep the bad mobs away at night. With that complete, I decided to go check out the snow biome to see if I could find some Chaos Emeralds. I had to start somewhere. I hadn't traveled far when suddenly I ran into a group of strange-looking robots. Sonic's Henchman creations! I grabbed my weapon and hit the robots. It only took a couple hits to disable them, but the weird thing was, there were rabbits inside of the robots that hopped away to freedom. Sonic, you really are just like Dr. Eggman, an evil animal snatcher. Eventually, I made it to the snowy biome. I was racing across the cold terrain when something even faster came whizzing past me. I stopped running, and a silver hedgehog came and stopped in front of me. Silver? Just as I said his name, the hedgehog hit me with a blast. Stand down, enemy! Sonic told me you're the one trying to steal all the Chaos Emeralds for yourself. Not for myself, I'm finding them to help save my world from destruction. Sonic is the evil one. He said you were the evil one. Well, seeing as he kidnapped my mom and blew up her house, and I didn't kidnap anyone and befriended a wisp, I'd say you were lied to. Wisps only befriend good beings, right? Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. I have a wisp friend too, and so does Dr. Eggman. Silver told me I should talk to Dr. Eggman, as he would be able to help me. He offered to take me to him. I agreed and invited Silver to join me back at the base. We could go find Dr. Eggman tomorrow. He agreed, and we raced back to the base. Before we could go to sleep though, I had to make Silver and his wisp their own room. I put something together quickly. I thought it turned out pretty good. Tomorrow, I would find Dr. Eggman. On days 13 to 15, Silver told me I could find Dr. Eggman in the mushroom fields. Since you can find your way, I'll keep watch over the base in case Sonic comes around. I thanked him for his help, then headed off towards the mushroom fields. When I got there, I noticed there were some gold rings along the path in the mushroom fields, which I happily collected as I ran. Just then, a giant bear robot jumped out of hiding and attacked me. He instantly drained a lot of my health. I was in bad shape. It looked like there was no way I could win. Just then, someone dropped down from the sky.
Looks like you can barely defend yourself.
Rouge the Bat took out a diamond sword and smacked the robot bear, finishing him off. Whoa, talk about timing. Why did you help me?
I'm a part of the Anti-Theft Coalition. I've been surveilling you. I think you really were telling the truth, so I wanted to help.
I was glad to hear she believed me, but I still wasn't sure I could trust her. She was a notorious thief after all.
By the way, there's a shortcut to Dr. Eggman's if you head that way. You're welcome. Now try not to die. I'll be around.
Rouge jumped into the sky and flew away. Well, thanks for the tip, I guess. I turned toward the shortcut and continued making my way toward Dr. Eggman's. On days 16 to 19, I took the shortcut through the mushroom fields. I was looking around for Dr. Eggman when Silver came running up at lightning speed. Shadow, Sonic's men are on their way to your base. We'll need your help to defend it. I nodded, and Silver and I ran back to the base as fast as we could. By the time we arrived, my base was on fire, with robots shooting at it. And there was someone else I knew from my world there, Tails. But he was controlling the robots. He was clearly Sonic's right-hand henchman. Silver ran at Tails before I could make a move. Tails easily knocked him away, and Silver ran off, wounded. Heal up, Silver, I'll handle this. I ran around and quickly assaulted the robots, breaking them to bits. With the robots all defeated, I turned to Tails. The Tails I know would never help an evil villain like Sonic. You hurt my friend! Ah! I ran right at him, but he jumped into the air and hovered above me. His tail gave him the ability to float.
Sonic sends his regards and destruction.
Tails flew above the house, blowing it up entirely and flying away and out of sight. I had no choice but to stay and rebuild everything. Dr. Eggman would have to wait. That's when I noticed some animals watching me from a hiding spot. Who are all these creatures? They are animals that have fled from Sonic's attempts to turn them into robots. Word has spread about you, it appears. They were all welcome to stay. Looked like I'd need to start from scratch anyways. The base was really destroyed. I would need a lot more space for my base. I had to go collect way more resources than I had. I'll be back in a flash. Once I had enough materials, I expanded the floor plan and made rooms for the different animals. I made sure I had a furnace too. I also set up a perimeter around the house to help keep the robots and other bad mobs out. It was looking good. I should finish getting more iron so I can upgrade the rest of my tools and armor. I ducked into a nearby cave and was lucky enough to find a big stash of iron. Oh yeah, now we're talking. I mined up as much as I could, then smelted it all down back at my base. Then I used it to make the rest of my armor, as well as all the other tools I would need. Let's see Tails try to beat me now. On days 20 to 22, I wanted more food around to eat, so I went looking for more options. I ran to a wheat field and gathered some wheat for bread and cakes. I noticed some motobugs riding towards me. These guys have no clue who they're messing with. I ran circles around them. I ran so fast that I started to fire in the wheat and the motobugs caught on fire. You guys are toast. I heard some sheep bleating and found a flock of them nearby. I herded them back to the base and made them a pen. I wanted to use their wool for my statue. I laid down grass and wheat in their pen so it would be a cozy spot for them. I hope you like it. I then started crafting materials so I could start working on my statue. I knew exactly what I wanted to make. But what do you think it is I'm making? A pretty blue mushroom? A statue of Black Doom picking his nose? Let me know your guess in the comments. On days 23 through 26, it was now time to go find my new mentor, so I traveled back toward the mushroom field. I soon reached the shortcut and followed it until I arrived at the mushroom fields. Finally, I found what had to be Dr. Eggman's base. At first, I thought it was just another tall mushroom. It was weird imagining being nice to him. I usually just wanted to knock him out.
Hello there, young hedgehog. Kindly turn back. This island is not safe for you, I'm afraid.
His voice came over a loudspeaker. But I'm actually here because I need your help. I want to defeat Sonic, free my mother, collect the Chaos Emeralds, and save mankind from my father, Black Doom.
That's a good one, son. Did one of my friends put you up to this? Those rascals.
Oh, I'm serious. I was told you could help me become strong and knowledgeable enough to defeat the evil of this world and mine. Are you gonna help me or not?
Oh, I'll tell you what. If you can run around this island by the time I count to 30, I'll take you on as my apprentice.
I smirked. You're on! Before he even started counting, I ran as fast as my legs could carry me. I was blitzing around the island like no tomorrow. By the time I got back to Dr. Eggman, he had only gotten halfway through counting.
Most impressive. Yes, I think you will be a very good opponent for Sonic. Come inside, come tell me your story.
From days 27 through 31, Dr. Eggman began training me to detect Chaos Emeralds and go up against Sonic's robots. We did training every day, running, punching, learning how to reprogram robots, meditating, and a lot more. While I stayed there, I told Eggman about my life story and about Maria. Do you have a granddaughter in this world?
Indeed I do. She went to college to become a scientist. No illnesses, except the one in her brain.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Just muttering nonsense to myself. Maria is fit as a fiddle.
It was the best news I heard this entire time. In this reality, she was safe and alive. It was time for my final challenge.
In the Great Mountains, there is a Chaos Emerald. If you can find it and get through the many traps and defeat the foes that live there, your training will be complete.
I'll be back in a flash. Before I left, Dr. Eggman handed me a pair of new shoes.
I noticed your shoes were looking a bit run down. I took the liberty to make you a new pair and added some upgrades as well.
Whoa, these look pretty cool. Thanks. I put on the shoes and went on my hunt for the Chaos Emerald in the Great Mountains. These shoes are incredible. I was even faster. I arrived at the mountain shortly and followed the vibrations to see where the emerald was. Eventually, I came to a cave. Inside was a purple Chaos Emerald. There was also a big robot. The robot looked like Sonic.
Metal Sonic sensing threat. Termination sequence initiating.
Fast as a whip, I sped over to the robot and deprogrammed him. He was now a docile robot and let me take the emerald. I then programmed the Metal Sonic to only try and destroy Sonic. Let's give Sonic a taste of his own medicine. With the emerald in my possession, I sped back to Dr. Eggman. On days 32 to 35, I arrived at Eggman's base and presented the emerald to Dr. Eggman.
Astounding! You really are the real deal. Sonic is really gonna have to watch out for you. Here, take this. It's a fancy new weapon I created. It should come in handy.
Thank you, Dr. Eggman. I'm so glad you aren't an evil maniac, like in my world. Anyhow, I hope to see you around. I still might need your help. I said goodbye and zoomed away back toward the base. I couldn't wait to tell everyone I had collected another emerald. Before I could get home though, I saw something terrifying chasing a rabbit in the field. It was Sonic! Oh no, he's trying to get more animals for his robots. I've got to stop him. I snuck in closer and took aim with the new weapon Dr. Eggman had given me. Let's see how he likes this. I fired it off, hitting Sonic. What I failed to remember though is now he would be attacking me.
You again! Get over here!
I took out my sword and started swinging, but Sonic was way too strong. I had to get out of there, but how? Sonic was too fast for me to just run away.
What's this? Do I sense Chaos Emeralds on you?
Uh-oh, I had to do something, and quick. Using my new shoes, I started running around Sonic, encircling him in flames. While he was distracted, I was able to make my escape.
I'll find you!
I was mad at myself for failing. Sonic was just going to keep capturing animals. Clearly, I wasn't fully ready to go toe-to-toe with him. I noticed some gold rings and decided to go collect them, even though it was getting dark. As I was collecting them, I was suddenly surrounded by a wither. It hovered above me and shot its skulls. I wasn't able to dodge them all and got hit by a skull. My health bar, it's gone black. Was I dying? What was this? I wasn't going to bother with this creep. I just got out of there. I ran fast. After all that training, here I was running from this mob and hiding from Sonic. Maybe I was just a big failure after all. On days 36 to 39, I arrived back at the base. I greeted everyone, and although I was feeling deflated for my lack of success, I still had gotten a Chaos Emerald and programmed that Metal Sonic. I had some wins. I was telling everyone about my adventure when I heard something outside. I went to take a look. Tails and the robots were back! Come on, I just got back! Don't you guys have a life? I hurried and ran around, quickly taking out each robot. With my training from Dr. Eggman, I knew just where to hit them to take them down fast.
What? What are you doing?
Tails was so shocked, I ran up to him before he could react. We've got you now, Tails. We are throwing you in jail for rehabilitation. Silver then quickly built a small jail cell, and I threw Tails into it. We'll deal with you later. I turned to Silver and told him we might be able to use Tails as leverage to get my mom back. Silver agreed. He also had another idea. I was just about to go into the cave before Tails showed up. I need some diamonds for the enchantment table I'm making. I thought we could get blast protection on our armor. Would you mind finding me some? No problem. I made my way into the cave and dug deep under the ground. At long last, I came across a stash of diamonds. Yes, just what I was looking for. I started breaking all the diamonds. As I broke the last block of diamond ore, I saw there was a chest buried behind it. Whoa, what is this for? I opened the chest and saw it contained a map. I wasn't sure what it led to, but I pocketed it for later examination. I soon arrived back at the base and handed the diamonds to Silver. He went off to the crafting table, then came back and gave me the finished enchanting table. He also gave me a bunch of bookshelves. I then got to work putting together an enchanting area. Since we had bookshelves, our enchanting table was going to be all powered up. Once it was finished, I was feeling pretty good about it. I then put our armor on the table and got it all enchanted up with blast protection. Sonic is gonna have a tough time blowing us up now. On days 40 to 43, I inspected the map and saw that it led to another treasure chest. It was worth looking into. I took off, leaving Silver behind to keep an eye on Tails. As I followed the map, I nearly ran off the side of a cliff. Woo, I gotta watch where I'm going. But how am I supposed to get across this? That's when I noticed there was a plane nearby. Let's see if this goose can fly. I started it up and drove off the cliff. Luckily for me, it flew. Whoa, I'm gonna be motion sick after this. I checked the map and saw I was getting close, so I brought it down for landing. I was able to land without crashing into anything. No villages flattened or trees taken out. That was a big win. I got out of the plane and heard some strange noises. A pack of wolves were howling and coming at me. They must have seen me flying overhead.
It's another hedgehog. Get him! Hedgehogs are nothing but trouble.
Sheesh, these wolves sure were judgy, but they were right about me. I was going to give them trouble. Lots of trouble. There were more of them than me, but I was trickier than they knew. I took out my weapon from Dr. Eggman and managed to knock them out. I took out the map and saw I was right next to the X. I started digging and soon found the chest. I hope this was worth the trouble. I opened it and found a diamond axe, some massive knuckle gloves, and a couple enchanted golden apples. Oh yeah, it was worth it. I hopped back into the plane and took off for home. On days 44 to 49, my plane ran out of fuel, but luckily I landed right by my statue. I should probably expand this thing. I checked the chest I kept near the statue, and sure enough, I saw that Silver had filled it with the blue blocks I needed. Man, Silver's the best. I got right to it, putting together the next part of the statue. As I built, I couldn't help but think about home, even if my home was not much of a home. As I was admiring the work I had done so far, Silver came running over to me. Hurry, there's a gang of zombies attacking the base. I'm worried they'll break Tails out. We got back to the base in time to see that a gang of zombies were attacking the place. They were even beating down the prison that Tails was in. He was going to escape if they kept at it. We split up and took out the mobs. Nice job, Silver. I think it's high time we really made this base more secure. It's only a matter of time before Evil Sonic or his cronies come looking for Tails. What could I build to keep Evil Sonic out? Well, I'm not sure I can keep Evil Sonic out, but I can sure mess with some of his robots. I built a taller fence around the base as a little surprise for any enemies. Those robots will have trouble getting in now. On days 50 to 53, Silver went off to go mining, and I went to feed the sheep. Just as I had finished taking care of the sheep, Rouge came swooping in.
You need to keep a better eye on your things. Your friend Silver has been kidnapped.
What? I've got to rescue him! How can Sonic do this?
I'm not so sure it was Sonic. I didn't recognize the baddies. All I know is there were too many of them for little old me.
I've got to go after them, but I don't know if I'm strong enough yet. I have to get more Chaos Emeralds, and I can't leave Tails unguarded.
I'll keep an eye on the little pipsqueak. And as for your emerald, I'm one of the Chaos Emerald's protectors, so I know where you can find one.
Yeah, that'd be great. Where is it?
I don't just give it out to anyone. But I'll tell you what, if you can get past the security measure, you can borrow it for your little Save the World quest thingy. Just be sure to bring it back when you're done.
She told me where to find the emerald. I sped to the building she described and couldn't believe what I found inside. There was a maze of laser beams, and in the center of it all laid a green emerald. In my world, Rouge and I had a lot of experience busting into places like this. I was able to glide through the lasers. Finally, I was at the center, and I almost picked up the emerald. Wait a minute, this isn't a real emerald. I'd feel it. This is a fake. The real emerald was nearby though. I could sense it. Just then, I noticed a big snake slithering around the room. I readied my weapon, but it didn't attack. It just stared at me. Its eyes were mesmerizing. They put me into a trance. When I had come to, I awoke to find myself holding the real green emerald. Well, that was weird, but cool, works for me. I hurried back to the base, and Rouge was waiting for me. I explained that the snake had given me the emerald somehow.
Then I was right. Your intentions are pure. That snake peers into your soul, and if you are worthy, he imparts the emerald to you. Congrats. I guess you're not so dumb after all.
Was that ever in question?
Kinda.
On days 54 to 57, I kept searching for more emeralds and signs of silver, since Rouge was keeping an eye on the base. How many more Chaos Emeralds do I even need? Got hard back on what Maria had said. You remember? Was it 5 or 7? So far I had red, pink, and green. Oh, I remember. She said 7. 4 more to go.
Do you always talk to yourself like this? You have seen a psychotic robot that looks like me running around here, have you?
Evil Sonic!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Evil? Wow, you can't go around labeling people like that. Should I call you Vain Shadow? Yeah, I've heard all about you and how you think you're the hottest thing in town. The name is just Sonic, not Evil Sonic.
Not where I come from. The real Sonic is good and defends those in need of help.
I help others. I help them right off a cliff. I'm the one and only Sonic. No one is as fast as me, or as strong, or as genius-er as me, including you. Not to mention, I'm the best at finding the Chaos Emerald hiding nearby. Ignore that. I'm here to talk to Tails. Wait, where is Tails? I haven't heard from him in days. That rat.
He had no clue where Tails was. I couldn't reveal that I had him yet. I equipped my knuckles. I needed to distract him from the emerald so I could look for it. You took silver, didn't you?
I steal all sorts of materials. Gold, silver, iron, I take it all.
You know what I mean.
Psh, even if I did, who'd I kidnap is none of your business.
It is my business when you take my mom and destroy my friends. I took my shot. I bursted over to him and swung my powerful gloves. I nearly got him.
Ooh, feisty much? Don't worry, you'll be in prison soon enough. Now what was I doing? Oh yeah, finding Tails. Anyway, eat dust, Uggo.
Sonic was gone in a blur. I've gotta hurry and get to the emeralds. I'm sure he'll remember why he was here soon enough. I focused my attention and could feel a small pull. I followed the feeling and soon arrived at the base of a waterfall. I kept looking around, then decided to take a chance. I walked right through the waterfall. Behind it, in a little cove, was the blue emerald, just sitting there, ready for the taking. No traps or guards. I now had the red, pink, green, and blue Chaos Emeralds. On days 58 through 62, I decided to go mining back by the base since I didn't have any other leads. I just need to get enough diamonds to finish the rest of my armor. I managed to find some more diamonds and even picked off a few pesky mobs along the way. I managed to acquire enough diamonds to make a full set. I took the diamonds back to the base and crafted a full set of diamond armor, excluding the boots. Once they were ready, I took everything to my enchanting table and got to work. Doing all of this enchanting made me think of Silver. I missed that guy. I hope he was okay. Next, I continued working on the statue, finishing the head and the hair. It turned out way better than I was expecting. I think you can all tell who it is now, right? I collected sand and gravel to turn into concrete powder, but while I was digging, I came across something unexpected. What's this? A book? The book had a recipe in it for an invincibility potion. It only lasts 20 seconds, but that could come in handy, big time. I collected the items that the recipe called for, and soon enough, I had the device put together. To activate it, I'd have to jump on it and smash it. I'll save this for when I'm in a bind. Then I saw Rouge flying towards me. She landed and told me she had found a map that might lead to Silver's captors, whoever they were. Nice going, Rouge. I think you would be an amazing addition to my team. You can stay at my base. What do you say?
I thought I was already part of your team. And don't think I'm giving you that map for free. I require compensation.
I know you can pay me in gold rings.
Always so feisty, in both realities. I gave her the rings, and I took the map. I got to work building her a room at the base. Rouge was very opinionated on how it looked, and made sure to give me a lot of specifics before I had started. I was exhausted after all that, so I called it a night and went to sleep. Tomorrow I will find the map and see where it leads. On days 63 through 66, I had yet another visitor. It was Dr. Eggman himself. Dr. Eggman, I'm glad to see you. I was just about to follow this map to…
A map, you say? Well, I'm glad I caught you in time. I've been thinking it over, and I want to be of more help. So I'm giving you this ring. When it's powered up, it turns all your enemies into gold rings.
Fantastic, thanks! This map might lead to Sonic, and in turn, lead to my captive friends. So thank you for the special weapon.
Oh, very good, lad. I'll keep an eye on the place while you're gone.
The map led me across a desert. Then suddenly, I encountered a mob of giant scorpions. I looked at my new ring weapon and saw it was charged up. I activated it. Poof! The scorpions that were trying to stab me turned to gold rings. I collected them. Dang, this ring is awesome. It really put an end to my suffering. Just then, I saw a beautiful purple cat coming up to me. She was clearly some kind of princess.
I sense you are searching for Chaos Emeralds, yes? By destroying these scorpions, you have saved my people from a dangerous enemy. You truly are a hero. I will bless you with help when you need it most. With the power of the Soul Emerald, I will repay your good deed.
Nice, I will remember this. Thank you, Your Highness. I went on my way. On days 67 through 70, I was running through the jungle when I finally reached the destination on the map. It was a mystical-looking ruin. I ran up to the giant staircase leading to the door of the temple ruins. Inside were a bunch of big, knuckled warriors. They saw that I had intruded and started coming at me. I brandished my own pair of knuckles, and they stopped advancing. They asked if I was part of the Knuckle Tribe. No, but I'm looking for my friend named Silver. He was kidnapped, and I have reason to believe he is here.
I'm over here, Shadow! There's no need to fight them. They aren't holding me hostage anymore. Thanks to Princess Tikal.
I'm sorry to worry you, strange visitor. My tribe did kidnap Silver for his powers, but I convinced my father and the tribe of their errors. Now Silver helps us as a friend, not as a prisoner.
Silver explained how Princess Tikal had learned how to control Chaos Emeralds so that their power would not be explosive. They were in a war against a mob of Endermen and had been looking for ways to defeat them. Silver, taking pity on them after releasing him, decided to stay and help them.
I sense many Chaos Emeralds on you. Please, come and learn how to control the chaos. With that much power, there could be much destruction. It's dangerous.
Silver and I were reunited, and we both trained with the Knuckle Tribe on how to control the long-lost art of controlling Chaos Emeralds.
A grandmother always taught me, chaos is power. Power is enriched by the heart. A controller is the one that unifies the chaos.
They even showed me how to use my knuckle gloves to maximize damage. I bowed to the princess. I thank you for teaching me the art of the Chaos Emeralds. I vow to use them for saving the world, nothing else.
Because I have seen into your heart, I will gift you one final thing. The turquoise Chaos Emerald is yours.
She revealed the emerald and handed it to me. All of a sudden, I started to grow and be stronger with more hearts. I'm as tall as Silver now. I'm full grown. Finally, back to my normal size before I arrived in this reality. Suddenly, the Knuckle Clan was on high alert. The Endermen were attacking. We ran out of the temple and fought the Endermen. With me and Silver using our powers and new training, we were able to help the tribe out and kill off most of them. The rest ran away. I hope that teaches those Endermen a lesson. Let us know if you ever need help again. We bowed and took our leave back to our base. On days 71 to 74, I found lots of confused creatures that had escaped being turned into robots by evil Sonic. I felt so bad for them. It was awful what he was doing. I invited them to come live at the base, and they readily agreed.
You're very generous, Zozo, but I'm not sharing my room, just so you know.
Don't worry, I'll add on to the base so everyone has a spot. Did I tell you Dr. Eggman is staying at the base now? And so is Rouge.
Rouge? Are we sure we can trust her?
She helped me get a Chaos Emerald. She talks tough, but she has a good heart.
Okay, if you say so.
We got home and introduced everyone to each other. Silver helped me make accommodations for the new arrivals. I think they're going to love it here. Once I was done, I noticed one of Princess Tikal's men coming up to the base. I met him outside the grounds. He said Princess Tikal had been taken by the Endermen to a nearby camp. Those Endermen are relentless. I will save you, Princess Tikal. On days 75 to 78, I headed to the cave where the knuckle guard led me. There at the entrance was Princess Tikal. I thought you were being held hostage.
I'm sorry to worry you, but I have something for you, and I had to be sure you were an ally first. The fact that you came to save me proves to me you care about others, and that you care for my people.
Oh, okay, but have you heard of the story of the boy who cried wolf? She hadn't, and it showed. Princess Tikal revealed what she had for me, and it was another Chaos Emerald. Where did you get this yellow Chaos Emerald?
Well, I had to steal it from my father. I wish he could be trusted with it, but he can't. He is power-hungry and reckless. He kept it locked away in the ruins, but I figured out how to get to it. He doesn't know it's gone yet.
She also gave me a rod that had been with the emerald. It contained a lightning bolt. I couldn't thank her enough. Just then, we heard crashing come through the cave. It was a warden. He was massive and super strong. He fired his sonic boom at us, and we jumped out of the way. I used my speed to run circles around him, taking slices of him with my diamond axe. He was able to take a swing at me, and it knocked me over, as well as knocking my health down a ton. He was about to take another big hit at me. I thought quick and activated the lightning rod Tikal had given me. A great big bolt of lightning hit the warden and destroyed him. Phew, thanks for the lightning rod. I should be getting back to my base. You're welcome to come visit anytime you like. She thanked me and said she needed to get back to the ruins to face her father. Thank you for helping me save the world, Princess Tikal. On days 79 through 84, I got back home and decided to make some base improvements. Call me a softie, but I felt bad for how small Tails' prison was. I went ahead and changed it up for him a little. Maybe he didn't deserve it, but it never hurts to be kind. He didn't say thanks when I finished, but I could tell he appreciated it. Then, I headed over to my crafting table and used the rest of my diamonds to make some armor for Rouge, Dr. Eggman, and Silver. I wanted my friends to be just as prepared as I was. Then, I had an idea. I decided to try and get Tails to talk. I went to the kitchen and made some dessert. Then I got Silver, and we decided to play good cop, bad cop to get Tails to talk. I offered Tails a cookie, but didn't give it to him just yet. Tell us about Evil Sonic. What's he got up his sleeve? He said he wouldn't tell us unless we let him go.
No, wait! Fine, I'll tell you. He is working with some guy called Black Doom to take over the world. They have this scientist that's really lost their mind and is making all sorts of brilliant and deadly weapons. Now give me the cookie.
I tossed him the cookie. Well, this situation was worse than I thought. Luckily, I only had one last Chaos Emerald to find. On days 85 to 89, I woke up to a commotion outside. Evil Sonic was outside, taunting the refugees on my base.
Oh, there you are! Now I know where you've been hiding!
How are you just figuring this out? Tails has been here multiple times to attack us on your orders.
I'm too busy to bother with coordinates. That was Tails' job before he went AWOL.
I'm over here, sir.
What was that? Tails?
No, that was, Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman? My arch nemesis?
No, it's me, Tails. I'm being held against my will.
Okay, fine. It is Tails, but you kidnapped my mom. Give her back, and then you can have Tails.
You bit off more than you can chew, dummy. Tails is coming with me. I don't do hostage negotiations. I take what I want.
Not on my watch. Dr. Eggman, Rouge, and Silver all came out and stood behind me. Sonic was bewildered.
Oh, I see how it is. You are definitely an enemy now. You will regret this.
No, I will never regret doing what is right. Just then, I started to level up again. My hearts regenerated and added more. My speed increased too. Sonic almost looked scared.
Yeah, well, I'll be seeing you soon, and I will get Tails back. But until then, enjoy a little gift.
Sonic released a bunch of droids into the base. We started fighting the droids that were shooting at us and flying all around. As we fought, I checked my ring. It was still not fully charged. Otherwise, it would have been super handy. In all the commotion, Sonic was able to escape. Coward! We worked together and used our weapons and cool powers to defeat the droids. That was pretty awesome, you guys. On days 90 to 93, I was feeling really awesome. We had totally taken down those enemies with very little damage. How hard could taking on Evil Sonic really be? I wanted to finish my statue. I did the eyes and mouth, careful to not make it look too wonky. It was finally finished.
What's with the shrine? Who is she?
Before I say who it is, do you know who it is? Take a guess.
Who are you talking to? To me, she looks just like my granddaughter before she left home.
That's because it is her. In my reality, she was the one person who was kind and cared for me. She saved me so that I could save the world.
That's sweet, I guess. Actually, it's really depressing. Kinda wish I hadn't asked.
Dr. Eggman changed the subject.
Check out this upgrade I made. I call them Cyclone Wheel. They help you jump high in the air with the science of tornadoes beneath your feet.
I added them to my shoes, and I could jump super high with them, almost flying. This was pretty cool. I never thought I'd hear myself say this, but I was glad to have Eggman on my team. On days 94 through 96, I still had one more Chaos Emerald to find. I asked my team if they had any good ideas on where to find it.
My intel suggests there should be one on the highest peak of the snowy, abominable mountains. It won't be easy getting there.
Luckily, I was up for the challenge, the very cold challenge. I ran as fast as lightning towards the mountain. When I reached the base of the mountain, I used my soul busters to help me jump up the mountain. I followed the chaotic pull of the emerald. Eventually, I heard some screaming.
Help! These goats are attacking me!
It was a warmly dressed human running for his life, with a few mountain goats right behind him. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Everyone calm down!
Meh. He is a Snoopy human. He has a map that leads to our peaceful goat home. He plans to bring hunters back here.
It's just a hobby.
Listen, human, how are you liking all the goats hunting you right now?
That's completely different.
The human went to attack the goats, but in an instant I ran up to the man and hit him, knocking the map out of his hands. Scared, he ran away into the forest. There, that ought to fix the problem. The goats were so thankful, they gave me some ice cream. Very delicious. At the top, I found a white Chaos Emerald camouflaged by the snow. I took the white emerald. Power surged through me. I had all 7 Chaos Emeralds. I felt like I was going to explode. I did my chaos breathing and was able to control the chaos. Then, I ran back down the mountain and back to my base. On day 98, I returned back to the base and showed my team all the emeralds I had collected. Now, I just needed to figure out how to use them and not have them consume me.
The fact that you have all these emeralds on you and you haven't exploded into a million pieces means you are meant to be the keeper of these stones. You will figure it out.
The only person I knew who ever used them before in my world was Good Sonic, but I'm sure it would come easily. It was time to prepare for my journey, and I knew just the person to lead me to Sonic's base. But first, I needed to make more cookies. Once I had a whole stack, I went over to Tails to make him an offer. Take me to Sonic, and all these cookies will be yours. His hunger won, and he agreed to lead me to Sonic's lair. On day 99, we arrived outside of Sonic's lair. It was a super big building with a golden statue of evil Sonic outside. Okay, it's go time. I told Tails to stay put where he is. Then I started fighting the robots that were guarding the doors. But I had made a mistake. There were more robots here than I thought. During all the fighting, Tails managed to fly away. Well, I just needed him to get me here, and I'm here. Hopefully I won't regret that. At long last, I took out the robots, and the way was clear to go inside. As I stepped into the grand entrance though, the place was packed with even more robots than before. Oh no, how am I going to beat all of these guys? That's when I remembered to check my ring and saw it was fully charged. Get a taste of this! I activated the ring and turned all of the enemies into gold rings. Piece of cake! Now to find Sonic and end this.
Looking for me?
I turned toward the voice and saw Sonic looking at me, but he wasn't alone. Standing next to him was Tails, and to my horror, Black Doom. And someone else stepped out from behind them. Maria? It was Maria from day 1, but she looked different. She looked evil.
Looks like this is the end for you, Shadow old pal.
Not so fast!
I turned and saw Silver, Rouge, and Dr. Eggman standing in the doorway.
Did you really think you didn't need our help?
Hello, Maria! Good to see you, dearie!
It's Dr. Maria, old man. And I've had enough of this meddling with our plans. This ends now.
Dr. Maria flipped a switch, and a cage dropped down from the ceiling, right over all my friends.
Oh, we really should have seen that coming! Now, give me the stones, and we can finish this.
My friends were trapped, and there was no way I was going to be able to take all of these guys on alone. I was doomed. I needed to use the stones, but how? It was now day 100, and Black Doom was in front of me. Dr. Maria was standing near my trapped friends, ready to inject them with a sleeping serum. All hope was lost. Suddenly, there was a bright light, and a portal opened behind me.
out stepped a bright blue figure. Sonic! Good Sonic!
I thought you could use some help kicking some evil rears. Whoa, I'm seeing double.
Welcome to the alternate reality. Don't be fooled. You're a real big meanie in this world. I have the Chaos Emeralds, but I don't know how to make them work.
Let's do this together. Take your emeralds out, breathe, and let go.
But what if they explode the whole world? I have to control the chaos.
No, you need to welcome it.
I took them out and breathed. The emeralds floated around Sonic and I. Then in an instant, we turned gold. We were Super Sonic and Shadow. The enemies were in shock.
Let's do this!
Sonic and I surrounded Black Doom, punching him between us. He was no match and couldn't escape from our punches. While we were hitting him, Silver managed to break a hole in the cage and gave Dr. Maria a smack on the head. As he did so, there was a spark, and she turned back to normal Maria. Evil Sonic had planted a chip in her head to control her.
What happened? Where am I?
Back in the center of the room, Black Doom was at his wit's end. In a flash, our punches were too much, and he was destroyed! Evil Sonic came running over to us and tried to fight, but I knocked him out with a single punch! Tails took one look at us and ran for the door. Let him go, he's no threat to us now. I ran up the stairs and went through the door Sonic and Tails had been in front of. Inside were a bunch of cages filled with animals. Then I saw who I was looking for. Mom, I'm here to rescue you!
Oh, Zozo, I knew you would come.
I broke my mom out of her cage and we jumped for joy. Later on, we were all standing around back at the base and Sonic lit a portal back to our reality.
Well, are you coming?
I thought about it. There was nothing left for me in the old world. No, I think I'll stay here with my new family.
By the way, Maria, in case you didn't notice, Zozo made a huge sculpture of you, so don't be freaked out.
Rouge! Everyone laughed as we jumped for joy and celebrated. Everything was finally back to normal.
On day 1, I spawned as a little baby monkey in a banana tree, but I only have 3 hearts. As a monkey, I can climb trees. This is awesome. But where are all my monkey friends? I was all alone when suddenly an ocelot started stealing all the bananas from my tree. Ouch, what did I do to you? I didn't have any weapons to fight, so I quickly jumped down from the tree and ran away.
Whew, that was a close one. This water will be a peaceful place to catch my breath.
Just when I thought I was safe, I ran into a crocodile. Ah, oh no! He wanted to eat me, but I couldn't fight him either, so I climbed up the tree to get away.
After reaching the top, I broke the leaves and took a look around.
This looks like a good place to hide for the night. I finally felt safe, but I couldn't help but wonder, why was I the only monkey at the tree?
As I watched the sunset, I thought about how beautiful but dangerous this world is. How could a little monkey like me ever make a difference? I just need to find some friends and lay low, but I'll focus on that later and get some rest.
On day 2, I returned to the banana tree and the ocelot was gone. I'm hungry. I need some of these bananas. I decided to grab as many as I could to take with me on my journey ahead. I didn't see any other monkeys around, so I spent the day gathering wood and stone to make myself some stone tools. While I was doing that, I stumbled across a village of other monkeys.
Wow, this place looks great. I'll have to ask someone if they've seen my tribe. I made my way to the top of the hill and saw a wise old monkey looking out at the village.
Hey, have you seen any other monkeys like me around? My new friend explained to me that the banana trees in the area were slowly disappearing, and the monkeys were too. I couldn't believe it, so I grabbed any supplies I could around the village and then left to search for my tribe. By day 3, I had found a nice little forest to call my new home. This will work great! I climbed up the tallest tree and started working on a treehouse for myself. It was hard work, but I'm not afraid of a little hard work. I took a break from building to work on my food source. I planted some banana trees, which grew really fast.
Wow, that is one good-looking banana tree. Let's see what these bananas are like.
I picked the bananas off the tree and saw they were special golden bananas. I couldn't wait to take a bite. Wow, these are so good! Suddenly I grew into an adult monkey with 5 hearts. All right, 2 more hearts! I feel stronger and have a jump boost. I can run faster too! With my new abilities, I finished my treehouse in no time. It's not much, but it's a place to call home. That night I started hearing horrible noises outside my treehouse. When I took a look, my house was surrounded by spiders. Oh great, I totally forgot to put torches at the bottom of my base. I hope I can fight these guys off. Good thing I just made myself a sword. Get back, you creepy crawlers! I won't let you get me! It was a tough fight, but I was able to clear them all out. Maybe I'm tougher than I thought. Or maybe it was just my new sword. Yeah, probably that. With the spiders gone, I could finally get some much-needed sleep. On days 4 and 5, I set off to try and find my monkey family, but I ran into the ocelot I saw before. Hey, what are you doing here? He demanded that I give him my bananas so he could give them to his boss. No way I'm not giving you my bananas. Who is your boss and why does he want them? He told me his boss Buff Tiger didn't answer to anyone, especially not little monkeys like me. Before I could respond, he attacked me. Ouch, I'm not letting you pick on me this time. That ocelot was way stronger than I thought and hit me really hard. Luckily I could climb trees and jump really high so I could easily get out of the way and hit him back. It took everything I had, but I was able to wear him down and take him out. That was exhausting, but at least I know who I'm up against. But I still had so many questions. Why did they want bananas? And who is this Buff Tiger guy? What kind of name is that anyway? I was able to beat the ocelot, but there was clearly a bigger fight ahead, so I headed back home to prepare for the battle to come. On days 6 to 8, I found a cave to do some mining. If I was going to get to the bottom of this, I needed the gear to do it. Whoa, this cave is huge. I bet I'll be able to find all kinds of resources in here. While I was down there, I found flint, coal, and iron. When I got home, I crafted some furnaces, smelted the iron, and crafted an iron axe, pickaxe, sword, as well as some iron boots. It's just a little bit of protection, but these boots are better than nothing. By then, night had fallen and I could hear noises coming from outside the base. Hello? Who's there? I broke a hole in my fencing and took a peek over the edge. It was a bunch of zombies. Oh shoot, I forgot to put out torches again. Hey guys, we don't have to fight. Why don't you just leave me alone? Alright, suit yourself. They didn't seem too happy with me being there. Eat iron, flesh face. They left me with no choice, so I fought back with my new sword and won. That felt like a much easier fight with my new equipment. I was feeling better already, but definitely needed some rest, so I hopped into bed for the night. On days 9 and 10, I woke up hungry. I had some more bananas to eat, but I needed to find something more filling than that. I decided to make a boat and use it to explore along the river. When I was exploring, I saw another village in the distance. I'm sure the monkeys there can help me find something good to eat, but as I entered the village, it was empty. Where is everyone? Something seems off. The place was deserted, so I helped myself to some wheat and watermelons to take back home. As I was rowing back home, I saw something moving in the trees. Those must be the missing monkeys from the village. But who's that? On a lower tree, I saw a tiger. Could that be the buff tiger I'd been hearing so much about? He didn't look so buff to me. It looked like he was trapping those monkeys. I had to save them. I quickly climbed up a nearby tree and called out to him. Hey, what do you think you're doing with those monkeys?
I'm taking these monkeys captive so they can build things for me. It's incredibly difficult when you don't have thumbs.
I don't care how many thumbs you have. It isn't right. I didn't have a second to lose. I quickly jumped up the other trees to try and get to the trapped monkeys. Buff Tiger saw what I was doing and started moving towards them too. I had to beat him to the top. When I reached the top, I hurried and made a bridge for the monkeys to escape. Quick everyone, run across and we can get out of here. Buff Tiger let out a roar, which seemed to freeze all of them except for one, who hurried and ran across the bridge to my tree. Watch out! Buff Tiger jumped across the tree and broke the end of the bridge, blocking the rest of the monkeys off. I couldn't believe it. I was getting ready to try and jump across when the other monkey called out to me.
Don't attack him. He's stronger than he looks. We'll have to try and rescue them later.
All I could do was watch as he led them all away. Come on, let's hurry and get out of here. My new friend and I hurried out of the tree and jumped into a boat. Once we had reached the shore, she explained to me how Buff Tiger had kidnapped them from the nearby village. We decided we would team up and stop him. By the way, what's your name?
My friends call me Chim Chim.
Nice to meet you, Chim Chim. Now let's go kick some tiger tail. On days 11 through 14, Chim Chim and I arrived at the base and got right to work building a space for her to live in. We extended the base over to the nearby tree and put up some torches. Hey, this is looking really great. It's going to be nice having a roommate around. With Chim Chim set up, I headed out to find some more supplies for the fight ahead. I was walking along when I started hearing a weird noise. What in the world is that? I cut some grass and almost stepped on a Komodo dragon. Ah, get away! I tried hitting it with my sword, but it hit back hard. Oh man, I don't feel so good. The dragon had poisoned me, which brought me down to half a heart. I gotta get out of here. While I was running away, I came across some chickens, which gave me an idea. Hey guys, I need your feathers. I'm sure you won't mind. Huh? Hearing no complaints, I gathered up all their feathers, put down a crafting table, and made myself a bow and some arrows. That dragon won't stand a chance against me now. I ran back over to the dragon and hopped up a tree. Haha, good luck getting to me this time. I shot off a couple arrows before the dragon tried to charge me. You can't get me up here. I fired one more arrow and took him out. This thing is definitely going to come in handy. From there, I headed into a dark forest and gathered some wood, mushrooms, dirt, and stone. Once I collected that, I started a mine near my base. While I was down in the mines, I got some iron, gold, and coal. I better go get crafting. I headed back into the base where Chim Chim watched me craft a new set of iron armor. I also put together a spear. I wasn't going to need my sword anymore, so I tossed that over to Chim Chim. Hopefully you won't need this, but hold on to it, just in case. Next, I headed down to the water and cleared out an area to plant a farm. I took out my hoe, tilled the ground, and then planted some wheat seeds. I also made sure to plant some watermelon as well, since it was Chim Chim's favorite food. Then I put down some wood and set up some cocoa beans. Wow, this little starter camp is already starting to look like a home. On day 15, Chim Chim woke me up before the sun had risen. Chim Chim, what's going on?
I couldn't sleep. There's a monkey that I think you need to meet, and I can't wait.
Another monkey? Lead the way. Chim Chim led me out of the base and we entered a dark forest. It's a good thing you know where you're going, otherwise I'd be completely lost. We soon came across a small hut hidden in the thick trees. We entered the hut and inside was a monkey shaman. Hey there, what's going on? The shaman looked deep into my eyes.
The great spirits have long foretold the day when a cursed tiger will seek to enslave all monkeys. They prophesied that he will steal all the bananas and use that to capture and control all the monkeys to do his will. But all hope would not be lost. A monkey would be sent to us who will master the land and defeat the tiger. Zozo, you are that monkey.
I was stunned. No, it's not possible. I couldn't stop Buff Tiger before. How could I be the monkey of legend? I don't have the strength or weapons to possibly save everyone. I'm sorry, but you got the wrong guy. I was too embarrassed to stay there any longer, so I left the hut to head home. I needed to get some rest. On days 16 through 19, I woke up and noticed that Chim Chim was missing. I looked all around the base but couldn't find her anywhere. Chim Chim! I couldn't think of where she would go, but there was one place I knew that was incredibly dangerous. I really hoped she wouldn't be there. As I walked to the edge of the cliff, I could see Chim Chim trapped in the lava. Hang on, Chim Chim, I'm coming to rescue you. I quickly laid down some blocks and made a bridge to where she was trapped. She must have left the base without bringing any supplies. Quick, come across here before the lava rises anymore. We ran back across to safety. Chim Chim, what were you doing out there? I was really worried about you.
After you told the shaman you wouldn't help, I couldn't wait around and do nothing. I was trying to go and find my captured monkey friends when I got trapped.
That was really brave of you. You know what? I'll help. I don't think I'm the monkey they're talking about, but if you want to fight Buff Tiger, I can fight too. That seemed to really cheer Chim Chim up. But before we could leave, we heard a squawk from near the lava. We went to take a look and saw an emu trapped on the other side. He needs some help. Don't worry, buddy, I've got you. I put some blocks down and made a bridge for the emu to get across the lava. He followed me across, and so I built some ladders for us to climb out of the hole. When we reached the top, I asked him what he was doing down there. Turns out he actually lived there, but had gotten trapped when the lava started rising. He explained that he heard us talking about Buff Tiger and knew something he thought might help. He said he had heard about a legendary ancient weapon made specifically to fight tigers. That sounds amazing! What is it and where do we find it? He wished us luck but told us he didn't know where it was, but said if we ran into any other animals, we should be sure to ask them if they know anything. After the emu had left, I was feeling more confident that we could do this. Suddenly, I felt a burst of energy and gained 2 more hearts. I even grew a little in size. All right, Chim Chim, we can figure this out. Let's head back to the base. On days 20 to 22, we got back to the base and saw it was surrounded by creepers. Get back, you mutated pig freaks. I quickly charged with my spear and made sure the creepers couldn't damage our base. After the creepers were gone, Chim Chim said she had something she wanted to talk to me about.
You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You're actually much braver than you think. How do you do it?
Thanks, Chim. Maybe I am too hard on myself. When I get scared, there is one thing that always helps me. I always think of my hero. He's a big, banana-loving, necktie-wearing ape who isn't afraid of anything.
He sounds amazing. I think we should build a statue in his honor. That way we can always remember to be brave.
I thought that was a great idea, but before I headed off to get supplies, I finally went ahead and put some torches around the bottom of the tree to stop mobs from spawning there. Yeah, this may have been a little overdue. Then I headed off to the woods to cut down some trees. I wanted the statue to be huge, so I was going to need a ton of wood. I also went out and found some sheep so I could use their wool. I built them a pen and then harvested some cocoa beans so I could dye the sheep brown. This will be the perfect color for the statue. Chim Chim and I then cleared out a space to put the statue. It's going to take a lot of time to build this, but I think it's going to look really cool when we're all done. Once we had finished clearing a space, we started on the first part of the statue. I was glad Chim Chim was there to help. Adventures are always better when they're with a friend. After a lot of hard work, we finally finished the first part. And hey, this is actually the first video I've ever made. If you like it so far, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and turned on notifications. That way you'll be sure to catch my next adventure. On days 23 to 27, I was in my base when suddenly a zombie in full armor came around the corner. Whoa, where did you come from? Get back, you undead creep. I managed to beat him down with my spear and noticed he dropped some kind of special item. What's this? It looks like some kind of Swiss Army knife. I didn't know anything about this new item, so I decided to head to the desert and test it out. I saw some husks wandering around and gave it a swing. Whoa, this thing can set stuff on fire. There were some rattlesnakes nearby too, so I went and tested it out on them as well. Piece of cake. Then I went and tested it out on some sand and a cactus. It looks like this thing is just as good as a shovel or an axe. A tool this versatile is definitely going to help me in the future. With my test complete, I headed back home. When I arrived at the base, I saw Chim Chim talking to a couple of horses and a donkey. He explained that he heard this was a place safe from Buff Tiger and wanted to stay here too. The more the merrier, my friends. We'd be happy to have you. Our new friends are going to need a place to stay, so I cleared some space at the bottom of the tree and built them a small shelter to live in. That reminded me, I didn't want any more surprise guests climbing into my base, so I broke all of the vines off the trunk of my tree. I am a monkey after all. I definitely didn't need these vines. On days 28 to 32, I went and asked my new horse friend if he knew anything about the legendary weapon the emu had mentioned. He told me he didn't know what the weapon was, but had come across a group of anteaters in a distant forest who were collectors of interesting objects. How can I find these anteaters? I don't know if I can travel that far for that long. He told me that I should hop on his back and he could show me the way. He would get me there in no time. I threw a saddle on the horse's back and we took off into the distance. Chim Chim could keep an eye on things until I got back. After a while, we came to a bridge, but a snapping turtle was blocking the way. Uh-oh, he doesn't look friendly. Let me see if he'll let us pass. Hey there, do you mind letting us by?
Hey, you, get out of here. This area is controlled by Buff Tiger. No monkeys allowed.
No monkeys allowed? We'll see about that. I gave him a hit with my spear, but that was a mistake. He was strong. I quickly ran back and hopped on my horse friend's back. Quick, let's jump across using that tree over there. There was a large tree in the middle of the gap, so we hopped on top of it and then jumped to the other side. See you around, slowpoke. We had gotten by, but this land was controlled by Buff Tiger? I'd have to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. On days 33 to 36, we found the group of anteaters hanging out in a forest clearing. Hey guys, I heard you may know something about a legendary item that could defeat Buff Tiger?
Are you looking for me?
Who is that? I looked to my side and standing on top of a tree was Buff Tiger.
So, you think some magical object can defeat me? You haven't even seen a fraction of my power. How about we settle this right here, right now?
With a roar, Buff Tiger hit me. There was no way I could take him on right now. The best thing I could do was get him to leave the area. I had an idea. Over here, you big brute. I quickly ran back toward the cliff.
Where do you think you're going?
When he got close, I hit him with my Swiss Army knife, which caused him to catch on fire. On fire, he had no choice but to jump into the river, which carried him away.
This isn't over. I will find you.
With Buff Tiger gone, I hurried back to the clearing and saw the anteater leader waiting for me.
We knew Buff Tiger was hunting monkeys, but it seems like he is attacking anyone who opposes him.
I'm sorry to hear it. Buff Tiger will be back though, and it's not safe here anymore. You and your family are welcome to come and live at my base.
Thank you, we would love that.
On days 37 to 40, I had arrived back to the base with our new anteater friends. While they checked out the new area, Chim Chim and I went to work building them their own wing of the base. We wanted to be sure they felt comfortable after having to flee from their homes. We soon finished and the anteaters moved into their new space. Once they were moved in, I talked to their leader and asked him if he knew anything about the legendary item.
I have heard of this item before, yes. I don't know what powers it possesses, but I know it can be found in the northern ice fields. The seals there should know more about it.
The ice fields, huh? Sounds cold for a monkey. I'll have to make sure I prepare myself for that journey. But before I could do that, Chim Chim and I got to work on the next part of the statue. Things were really starting to come along and I felt like maybe if I could finish the statue before I faced Buff Tiger, I could have the courage and bravery of my hero. But while we got a lot done, finishing it was a task for another day. From days 41 to 43, I headed to the mines to do some mining. I was hoping to find some diamonds to upgrade my gear. While I was headed there, one of the anteaters came running up to me from a nearby cave.
Hey, are you looking for diamonds?
I am actually. Do you know where to find them? He explained that there were diamonds in the cave he had just come out of, but there was a cave centipede blocking the way. If I could kill the centipede, he'd let me have all the diamonds. You're scared of a little centipede? I can squish that, no problem. I headed over to the cave and peeked around the corner. The centipede was way bigger than I thought. No wonder the anteater was scared. I saw a stack of blocks I could climb up, so I climbed to the top and took out my bow. I can shoot him from up here where he can't reach me, no problem. I started shooting him with arrows, but he crawled up the wall and hit me. Uh-oh, he can climb walls too. His hits had poisoned me, which brought me down to half a heart. My knife's durability was also running out. If it broke, I was toast. Luckily, I was able to finish him off. Whew, that was way too close. With the centipede out of the way, I now noticed that there was a big stash of diamonds at the end of the tunnel. Awesome, now I'll finally be able to upgrade my tools to diamond. I quickly mined out all of the diamonds, and then I worked on crafting a diamond pickaxe, sword, axe, and shovel. I also had a few extras, so I made myself a diamond helmet. On days 44 to 49, I left the base to travel to the northern ice fields and find the seals the anteaters had told me about. Oh boy, it's freezing. I hope I can find these guys quickly. I don't know how long I can stay out in this. As I was climbing over some snow, I heard a sound coming from the other side. The seals must be over this hill. I jumped over the hill and was surprised to see a couple of polar bears who immediately started to attack me. I took out my new diamond sword and fought back. I'm much stronger now. You won't be able to take me down. After a few hits, the polar bears were down. Even I was surprised at how quickly I was able to defeat them. Maybe I could be the monkey of legend after all. I kept running across the ice fields when I saw someone getting attacked by a couple polar bears in the distance. As I got closer, I saw it was a huge orangutan fighting them off. By the time I had reached him, he had taken out both of the bears. He was really strong. Hey there, I didn't expect to see another monkey all the way out here. What brings you out this far?
The orangutan didn't respond right away, but instead slowly looked me up and down.
It's going to get cold soon. We'll need to build a camp for the night.
Yeah, okay. The orangutan and I quickly worked together to build an igloo. He didn't say much while we worked, and I was starting to get an uneasy feeling about him. But maybe he was just suspicious of me too. I decided I would try and find out. I started up a fire in the igloo, and he surprised me by asking me a question first.
So, what are you doing out here?
I'm looking for the seals. I was told by the monkey shaman that I'm the monkey of legend, and there are rumors of a legendary weapon that can help me defeat Buff Tiger.
The shaman must have lost it. How could a small monkey like you be the monkey of legend? No. I spoke to the shaman and he told me it was my destiny to save the monkeys. It must be your job to help me find the item.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but maybe he was right. He was so strong and had taken down 2 polar bears with no weapons at all. I knew the shaman had the wrong monkey. Okay, you're probably right. I'll help you in your quest. I know we need to find the seals, but I don't know where they are.
They're living in a secret city not far from here. We'll go there in the morning.
We both settled down for the night. I couldn't believe I thought I was the monkey of legend. On days 50 to 53, we traveled across the ice fields and soon saw the entrance to the hidden seal village. But before we could get any closer, we ran into the snapping turtle I had seen near the anteater village. You again? How did you get all the way out here? The turtle didn't respond and attacked us. I charged and noticed the orangutan hesitated before joining the fight. But once he joined, we were able to defeat him easily. Thanks for the help. You had me worried for a second there. He didn't respond to that and we headed into the seal village. We soon found the king of the village and asked for his help. He explained to us that although the city was hidden, they too were afraid of Buff Tiger. When we asked him if he knew of the legendary item, he told us that it wasn't located here. Instead, he had a map to its location, which he shared with us. Thanks for sharing this with us. We'll find the item and save everyone. From days 54 to 57, we traveled back to my base and I saw that Chim Chim had found a lot more monkeys. I'm so glad we're able to help all these monkeys. Chim Chim and I got to work on expanding the base. As we worked, I told Chim Chim about everything that had happened. When I told her how the orangutan was actually the monkey of legend, she didn't believe me.
The shaman has never been wrong before. I don't know if I trust that orangutan. I believe in you, Zozo. Keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
While we were talking, the anteater I'd saved from the centipede showed up again.
Zozo, I need your help again. My little brother was playing in the jungle and got trapped in a jungle temple. Can you rescue him?
I didn't have a moment to spare. Jungle temples were full of traps that could hurt a little anteater. I ran into the jungle and soon found the temple. I could hear the little guy trapped inside. Don't worry, I'm coming for you. As I made my way through the temple, I carefully broke the traps and managed to reach him. And just like that, the little anteater was free. All right, buddy, there you go. The little anteater ran out and I decided to check the chest for any good loot. Whoa, check it out, diamonds. And what's this? A diamond destroyer? This will help me break a bunch of blocks at the same time and does major damage. Nice. On days 58 to 62, Chim Chim and I got to work on our hero statue. It was really starting to come along and I was happy with how it looked. Every time we finished more, I couldn't help but feel a little more brave. I guess that mattered a little less with the orangutan around though, but it was good for me anyway. Speaking of the orangutan, I hadn't seen him in a while. What could he be up to? I was heading back to the base when I saw it was surrounded by snow leopards. These are followers of Buff Tiger. How do they find the base? I ran up and started attacking all the leopards. How did you find us? Take this! There were so many of them, but they didn't stand a chance against my new weapon. I started to take them out one by one. I had the last leopard cornered when I heard one of the chests in my base opening. Someone was in my base. I quickly climbed up the tree as the last snow leopard ran away. When I reached the top, I saw the orangutan was stealing the legendary item map from my chest. He must have told Buff Tiger where my base was. Why are you doing this? You were the chosen one.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but I lied to you about being the monkey of legend. I needed you to trust me so you could lead me back to your base. Buff Tiger said he would kill my family if I didn't help him find you. I've seen how brave you are. You must be the monkey of legend.
You don't have to do this. Stay and help me. We can defeat Buff Tiger if we work together.
I can't lose my family. I have to bring this map to Buff Tiger and try to save them. I'm sorry.
And before I could stop him, he jumped over the edge of the treehouse and escaped into the woods. Wait a second. If he told them about my base, he must have told them about the hidden seal base too. From days 63 to 66, I ran across the land and into the ice fields to find the seal village, but it was too late. Oh no, the village is in ruins. Buff Tiger must have beaten me here. As I ran into the village, I could see that the village was destroyed. Then I saw the Seal King, and he was greatly wounded.
Zozo, when we told Buff Tiger we didn't have the map, he attacked. He forced us to tell us where the map led to. Hurry and go to the Badland Mines. He'll be going there to try and find the weapon first.
I'll go find it and I'll stop him. You have my word. Just then, the snow leopard from before jumped down and killed the Seal King. No, how could you? I pulled out my destroyer and quickly finished him off. I couldn't waste any more time. I had to hurry and get to the mines. From days 67 to 70, I traveled to the Badlands to locate the mines. As I was getting closer, I saw someone entering the mines. It was Buff Tiger. He was going to beat me to the treasure. I can't let him beat me again. As I got closer to the entrance, something jumped down from a nearby cliff. It was a giant rocky roller. Get out of my way, I'm coming in. The rocky roller took one look at me and charged. I took a swing, but he knocked me back a lot farther than I thought he would. I don't know if I can beat this guy. I kept trying to hit him, but he took down nearly all of my health. Just then, I saw someone coming over the hill. It was the orangutan. He punched the rocky roller and they started to fight. The rocky roller hit him several times, but the orangutan was able to hit him more. But before the orangutan could deliver the final blow, the rocky roller was able to escape. You're back.
I'm sorry for everything, Zozo. When I returned to Buff Tiger, he didn't release my family and tried to capture me too. I ran away and knew I had to come help you.
Boy, am I glad you showed up. Stay here and heal up. I'll see if I can still get to the item inside. On days 71 to 74, I snuck into the mines to see if I could tell where Buff Tiger had gone. I looked around and saw there were a bunch of lanterns down one of the hallways. Buff Tiger must have put these here. This should lead me right to him. I followed the lanterns until I came to a dead end, full of treasure, chests, and some cobwebs. This must be where the item is kept. I can't imagine it's still in here. I took a look in the chest. There was some good treasure, but no special item. Buff Tiger had beaten me to it again. What was I gonna do now? I had no idea where Buff Tiger's base was. I saw a tunnel leading out, which Buff Tiger must have used to escape. I made my way back out of the cave and met back up with the orangutan. Come on, let's head back to the base so we can help you heal and come up with a plan. On days 75 to 78, Chim Chim and I worked on a shelter for the orangutan. He was a big guy, so we needed to make sure he had a nice place to stay. Once we were finished, the orangutan called me over to him.
I'm sorry again for everything, Zozo. Here, I think these supplies will be useful for you.
He threw down a Heart of the Sea, shark teeth, and prismarine blocks. Wow, thank you. I know just what to do with these. I headed over to a crafting table and used the supplies to make myself a shield of the deep. Nothing is going to get through this. Next, I headed over to my farm to get some supplies. As I was harvesting my crops, the rocky roller came out of nowhere and attacked me again. You again? I'm ready for you this time. By using my new shield, I was able to block his attacks and hit him with my hammer. He was still tough, but with my new tools, I beat him easily this time. And stay down. After the fight, I felt some serious power coursing through me, and I turned into a giant silverback gorilla. Whoa, I'm huge now, and look, I have 20 hearts. I was so excited, I almost didn't notice the rocky roller had left a book behind. I picked it up and looked inside. It looks like these are orders from Buff Tiger. In the back of the book, it also had coordinates to the rocky roller's base. If I go there, I might be able to find out where Buff Tiger is keeping all the monkeys. I also noticed he had dropped a redstone torch. I better hang on to this. It could be helpful. On days 79 to 84, I used the book to travel to the rocky roller's base. I arrived at the coordinates and there was nothing there. There's nothing here, but these are the right coordinates. Did I miss something? I took a look around and saw there was a lever hiding behind some rocks. I pulled the lever and a secret door opened. Bingo, this must be it. After I entered the base, I heard someone walk up behind me. It was a lion. He must be an ally of Buff Tiger.
Hang on there. I'm not looking for a fight. I want to defeat Buff Tiger too.
Why would you want to do that? Aren't you cats in it together?
Not at all. In fact, tigers are one of our greatest enemies. Help me search this base and we can bring him down together.
He didn't look like he wanted to fight, so I agreed to work together. We both entered the base to have a look around. There wasn't a whole lot down here and it didn't seem like there was anything of use. Then I noticed some redstone markings on the wall. Wait a second, the rocky roller dropped a redstone torch. I wonder what happens if I put it here. I placed the redstone torch and the blocks moved, revealing a secret room. What could be in here? Inside the room there was a book. I opened it and saw there were some weird symbols inside. These are coordinates to Buff Tiger's base, but someone needs to decipher the code. I know someone who can help. Come on, let's get out of here. But as I started to leave the base, the lion hit the lever and closed the doors before I could get out. Hey, what's the big idea? Open the door.
I can't let you do that, monkey. It's true, I want to defeat Buff Tiger, but that's so I can be the Lion King. All monkeys should be serving me, not him.
We'll see about that. I took out my destroyer and shield and started fighting him. With my new strength, he didn't stand a chance. He got some hits in, but I was able to strike the fatal blow in no time. On days 85 to 89, I headed to the monkey shaman's hut. I knew he would be able to translate the coordinates. When I arrived, the shaman opened his door and walked out.
Zozo, is it really you? My, how you have grown since we last met.
I need your help. I found the coordinates to Buff Tiger's base, but it's in some kind of strange language. Can you read it?
Ah, that's because these are coordinates for a place not of this world, a different dimension entirely.
Not of this world? But he's a tiger. They live in this world.
He may look like a tiger now, but he is hiding a dark secret. Take this tiger pearl and build a portal. It will take you where you need to go.
I took the pearl and started heading back to the base. What did he mean, a dark secret? I guess I would find out soon enough. From days 90 to 94, I headed deep underground and found some obsidian and some copper. While I was down there, I also came across some diamonds. This is just what I needed. I can use this to finish making my armor. Once I had all of the supplies I needed, I headed up to the surface and crafted the rest of my diamond armor. Then I smelted all the copper and made some copper blocks. Then finally, I equipped the rest of my diamond armor. Now I'm ready for a fight. Then I headed outside and put together the special portal. I was all geared up to travel to Buff Tiger's base, but there were still a few more things I needed to finish first. From days 95 to 96, I grabbed Chim Chim and we worked on finishing the statue. I felt like I couldn't face Buff Tiger without finishing it first. This was a monkey I looked up to, and it felt like this was one of the final steps of my preparation. Soon, the statue was complete.
This looks amazing, Zozo. I think your monkey hero would be proud. I'll give you a minute to take it in.
I think so too. Thanks for all of your help, Chim. I couldn't have done it without you. Chim Chim headed back to the base and I took a long look at the finished statue. Suddenly, I heard a voice coming from the statue.
Zozo, I've been watching your progress. You have a big fight ahead of you, but you can do it. You're a braver monkey than I ever was. You are the monkey of legend.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I feel like I've finally gotten strong enough to be worthy of the title.
You were always worthy. Remember, it's not about how big you are on the outside, but how big you are on the inside. Good luck.
Tomorrow, I'm taking the fight to Buff Tiger's front door. On days 97 to 98, I took time to visit with all the animals who had joined our new home. Many of them were scared, but I assured them I would find their friends and families and bring them home. Secretly though, I was feeling nervous because I still hadn't gotten the legendary weapon. Finally, I was ready to light the portal, but as I walked up to it, Chim Chim jumped down in front of me. What's wrong, Chim?
I can't let you go in there alone. I want to help.
I know. I wish you could come with me, but if anything happens to me, everyone here is going to need a strong leader to help them move on. We can't risk losing you too. Chim Chim nodded and moved out of the way. Before I go through, is there anything else you need to say?
Yes, everyone who is watching the video should like it and subscribe. There are going to be so many more adventures, and we want everyone to be able to follow along.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Chim. Well, here goes nothing. I took a deep breath and threw the tiger pearl into the portal. On day 99, I suddenly appeared on the other side of the portal, standing in a dense jungle. I looked out over the treetops and could see a sprawling city before me. I made my way down the trees and into the city streets. Look at all of this. There's no way a tiger built this. He must have built this with all the monkeys he took prisoner. As I wandered through the city, I saw a sign pointing to the prison. That must be where the monkeys are. I made my way there and soon saw the large prison building. I climbed up the wall and ran into a snow leopard on top. I quickly finished him off and then jumped into the prison yard below. I could see all the monkeys in cages. Don't worry everyone, I'll break you out. I kept fighting the guards until they were all destroyed. Then I quickly started breaking all the cages. Go free everyone, you need to all leave before Buff Tiger shows up. As I broke the rest of the cages, all I could think about was finding the legendary weapon. I had to find it before I faced Buff Tiger, but at least now all the monkeys were free. On day 100, I saw a sign pointing to the palace. That must be Buff Tiger's palace. I'll bet he keeps a legendary item in there. I made my way into the palace and took out a couple of guards. The place was nearly empty. Buff Tiger must be out capturing more monkeys. I then made my way into the basement where I saw a banana katana floating over a pedestal. Could that be what I think it is? Legendary banana katana, infused with potassium. This is it! I heard a tiger growl outside. Buff Tiger, you must be back. I walked outside and saw Buff Tiger was waiting for me, with an ocelot by his side. Buff Tiger, this ends today. I have the ultimate weapon.
Huh, you really think that rusty artifact can do anything to me? Did you even look at its durability?
I looked closer and saw that he was right. The weapon was nearly destroyed. But this was a weapon of legend, wasn't it? Surely it was stronger than it looked.
Get him.
The ocelot charged. I swung the banana katana and killed the ocelot in one hit, but the weapon broke.
Haha, you see what happens when you believe in fairy tales? I was going to let you work for me, but I think I will just end you instead.
Suddenly, everything began to shake, and Buff Tiger transformed into an even stronger tiger. This must have been the dark secret the shaman was talking about. How am I going to defeat him? I'm not strong enough. Suddenly, I remembered the words of my hero. It's not about how big you are on the outside, it's how big you are on the inside. He was right. The true power had been in me all along. I was ready. Alright, Buff Tiger, let's dance. We charged at each other and exchanged blows. He was incredibly strong, but by using my shield and special powers, I was able to stay in the fight.
Why won't you die, you scum?
You messed with the wrong monkey. I could feel myself getting stronger with every hit I landed. I was winning. I'm sending you into another dimension, one where you can't come back. With a final strike, Buff Tiger was finally defeated. After Buff Tiger had disappeared, I climbed the hill and saw some monkeys celebrating. Finally, we can all go home.
On day 1, I spawned in as a stray cat. I've only got a few hearts, but look how quick I am. I noticed that I was starting to feel hungry, so I immediately started looking for food. As I explored, I soon saw a small village up ahead. I checked one of the houses and noticed that there was some meat on the table. Oh, perfect, just what I need. I hopped up on the table and grabbed it.
Hey, get out of my house!
The human clearly didn't want me here. I wasn't ready for a fight, so all I could do was run. I kept running until I was back in the woods from before. Why was he so mean to me? This is going to be a hard 100 days if no one wants to be my friend. I kept exploring the woods when I saw a group of cats up ahead. More cats! Hi, guys!
Oh hey, you must be new around here. We were just trying to figure out how we were going to get some dinner.
You're telling me? I just took some meat from one guy's house and he chased me all around. But here, I'll share it with you guys. The cats were really thankful and excited about the meat. They must have been really hungry. I was glad to have met them. We were going to have all kinds of great adventures together. Before we had realized it, night had fallen. That was when we were suddenly attacked by a zombie.
Quick, into the trees!
My new cat friends had all climbed into the trees, but I wasn't fast enough. I had no choice but to fight. Luckily, the zombie wasn't very strong, and I was able to fight him off. But that was just one, and a whole group of skeletons were suddenly on me. I've got to get away! I ran off and soon saw a thick tree. I hurried and punched a hole in it where I was able to crawl inside, away from the skeletons. That was way too risky. I'll have to stay in here for the night. On day 2, I woke up to one of my new cat friends punching a hole in the tree.
Come on, Zozo, we've got to start looking for food.
What do you mean? I thought cats got to lay around and be lazy all day.
That's just house cats. Strays like us have to work hard all day to survive. Come on.
I hopped out of the tree and got to work punching some trees and collecting wood. With the wood I collected, I made a crafting table, then used the crafting table to make a wood pickaxe, shovel, axe, and sword. I'm gonna have to get even more wood if I'm gonna make myself a proper base. Using my new wood axe, I got to work chopping down some more wood. That's when I heard the sound of a spider and was suddenly attacked. Back off, you creepy crawler. The claws were still stronger than a wooden sword, so I swung them and managed to take the spider out. Not too much later, even more spiders attacked. I was really quick and nimble, so I had no problem taking them out too. Alright, that's enough spider fighting. I need to get working on that base. I climbed up a nearby tree and started working on a treehouse. It was hard enough that we would have to scrounge for food. We didn't need to be constantly fighting off mobs too. Speaking of food though, I saw a small bird had landed on the other side of my treehouse. Ooh, that bird looks delicious. I positioned myself, then sprang forward, missing the platform. There was a loud crunch as I hit the ground. I landed on my feet, but falling from a big height still hurt. To my surprise though, my health started going up. That's when a counter appeared, showing that my 9 lives were now down to 8. Just then, my cat friend came running over.
Oh, thank goodness. I heard you fall and was worried it might have been your last life.
Nope, I've still got 8 to go.
Oh, well, you're lucky. The rest of us have been strays for a while, and we're all down to our last one. Hopefully you're never in our position.
There was no time to talk though, as suddenly a pack of wolves came out of nowhere and attacked.
Zozo, run!
We all split up and ran off in different directions. Why were these wolves chasing us?
Come here, you little snack.
Oh, because they wanted to eat us. Of course. I managed to jump into my tree and climb up to the top. Thankfully, the wolves were too big to fit in my tree.
You got away this time, but we'll be back. You can't get away from our boss.
I didn't like the sound of that, but at least for now, they were leaving me alone. As long as I can climb trees, I'm sure I'll be safe. Later, my cat friends climbed up with me, and together we all watched the sunset. At least we all had each other. On day 3, I woke up to a terrifying sound. The sound of wolf howls. It was scary, but we were still safe in the trees. But that's when I saw him. What is that? A giant wolf monster was headed our way. This must be the other wolf's boss.
You can't hide from me.
The monster wolf climbed up the side of the tree, up onto our platform. Watch out, guys, run! We all ran off in different directions, but it was too late. The wolves managed to get all of my friends, knocking them out one by one. No, my friends! There was nothing more I could do. Somehow I was the lucky one, and they didn't notice me up in the tree. As the wolves left, all I could think about was how alone I felt. Those wolves are gonna pay for what they've done. Mark my words. On days 4 to 5, I woke up in my unfinished base. It's not safe here in the forest. I'll have to find a new place to live. I left the forest and headed off. I had heard once that cats were originally desert animals, so I decided I would find a desert far from here to live in. I'm sure wolves won't like the desert heat too. A desert will be twice as safe. As I entered the desert, I decided that I was going to build the greatest cat tower the world had ever seen. Plus, it would be really safe to live in. Triple safety. If I'm gonna do this, I've gotta get stoned, and lots of it. I found myself a nice cave and snuck down into it, mining up as much stone as I could. While I was down there, I also made sure to grab some coal that could be used to power my furnace later. Let's get crafting. Using a crafting table, I used my new stone to make myself a stone pickaxe. I also made myself a stone shovel, sword, and axe. Next up,
Wood. I needed tons of wood, so much that I cleared out an entire area of trees. With my inventory now full of all the building supplies I needed, I started to build the first level of my cat tower that would also double as my starter base. Once I had finished the outside, I got to work filling up the inside. I put up some pictures as well as all the tables I was going to need. Soon, the first level was complete. All right, I think this is going to be a very safe place for me to live. Just as I was saying that, there was an explosion that blew a hole in my wall. What was that? I took a closer look and saw that the base was under attack by creepers. Luckily, there was only one more, so I tried to fight it off. It exploded too, but at least it didn't cause any additional damage to the base. Looks like I better put some torches out. I got right to work, surrounding the base with as many torches as I could. I didn't even want to risk having more creepers blowing me up in the night. Once all the torches were out, I was feeling a little hungry. That's when I saw some desert rabbits hopping around nearby. Dinner! I ran around after the rabbits until I finally managed to take one down. I cooked the meat back at the base, then chowed down. That sure was tasty, but I'm gonna have to find out an easier way to eat if I'm going to live here much longer. On day 6 to 8, I got up and headed out the door. It was enough delay. I needed to start getting ready to fight back against the wolves. It wasn't too long and I found myself heading down into a cave. Time to find some iron. Just inside the cave were several iron veins, so I got right to work mining them all out. After a while, I had gotten plenty of iron, and I heard a growl behind me. Who's there?
What are you doing in my cave? Leave now or I'll be forced to take you down.
Please, I just wanted to collect some iron. These evil wolves destroyed all of my friends, and now I have nowhere to call home.
I know your pain. My family was taken from me when I was young too. Not by wolves, but by poachers at a nearby village. I've been all alone ever since.
Why don't you take revenge on those poachers? Have you seen yourself? You're a big, powerful lion.
I never really thought about it. I guess I didn't realize just how big I've gotten.
Yeah, let's do it. Although first I've got to drop this stuff off at my base. You can come along if you'd like. The lion and I ran back over to my base. When we arrived, the lion was impressed.
Wow, this is quite the place you've got here. Much better than my cold cave.
Thanks. Give me a bit here to get ready to go. I tossed the iron I had collected into the furnace and smelted it all down. When it was done, I got crafting and made myself a full set of iron armor. I even made myself a full set of iron equipment, which the lion was really impressed by. Turned out he was actually really nice. Oh, and his name was Lenny. On days 9 to 10, Lenny and I traveled to the village where the poachers were living. As soon as we got there, we could see the poachers. There were tons of small animals in cages, and they even had the lion's family's heads mounted on the wall. These guys were sick. Lenny wasted no time and attacked. I tried to jump in too so that I could help as much as possible. Lenny was so strong and managed to take most of them out. Suddenly, a couple of poachers surrounded him, and it wasn't looking good. Heads up! I jumped down from above and managed to take out the poachers. There were a few more left, but together we were able to take them all out. Nice job, Lenny. I know it can't replace your family, but at least justice has been served.
Thank you for encouraging me, Zozo. I feel much better than I did before. I also feel hungry. These little birds look delicious.
Oh, hang on. I know we like to eat meat, but these guys don't deserve the same fate as your family. Let's let them go. Lenny was disappointed but agreed, so we let them all out of their cages. I'm pretty sure some of them got away from Lenny just a little faster than they normally would have. We then headed over to the nearby farm and gathered up as many seeds as we could. If we really wanted to help animals, it looked like we might have to get used to a little more grain in our diets. Except when it comes to chickens. I took out a few chickens to eat later. I was still a carnivore after all. With all that out of the way, I asked Lenny if he wanted to live at my base with me, to which he happily agreed. Back at the base, I got right to work making Lenny his own bedroom. I felt bad he had been living in a cold cave alone all this time, so I did my best to make it really nice. On days 11 to 12, I went to find Lenny to ask him some questions. I asked him if he knew anything about the huge wolf that had taken out his family, but he said he wasn't sure. There was, however, a wise elephant that I could ask. I made my way to a nearby savanna to find the elephant. I tried asking all the animals I passed, but none of them seemed to know who I was talking about. As I was looking, I was suddenly attacked by a pack of hyenas. Leave me alone, you giggle freaks! I managed to hurt some of the hyenas, but there were way too many of them. I was still just a little cat and had to get out of there. I managed to make it out of there, which is when I saw a baby elephant. Oh, I bet they know something. I ran over to them. Hey, I'm looking for a wise old elephant. Do you know where I can find them?
I do. Come with me. I can show you.
As we traveled, I noticed she seemed kind of sad. I soon found out why. We arrived in an elephant graveyard, and she brought me to a grave.
This is the elephant you are looking for. She was my grandmother and raised me after my parents died. I'm sorry to say, but she passed recently.
I'm sorry to hear that. I heard she was able to help a lot of people.
She was. In fact, she taught me how to help people the way she did. She would look into the water and could see things.
Do you think you'd be able to help me? A wolf has been destroying all of my friends and their families. I need to find him and stop him.
I would, but I'm too scared to try it by myself.
Before I could say another word, though, the hyenas from earlier attacked. But this time I couldn't run away. I had to protect my new friend. As I was fighting the hyenas, the baby elephant ran away. It was a hard fight. These guys were strong and there were a lot of them, but I couldn't fail now. I mustered up the courage and destroyed them all. On days 13 to 15, I went off to search for the baby elephant. That fight must have really spooked her. I've got to let her know everything is okay. As I ran across the land, I soon saw her at the stream. She was really scared. Hey, I'm sorry about that back there, but everything is okay now.
You fought off all of those hyenas? That was really brave of you.
Thank you, but can I let you in on a little secret?
What's that?
I was actually really scared. They had attacked me before, and the first time, I ran away.
Really? Why didn't you run away this time?
I thought about it, but I knew you needed my help, so I did my best to be brave. The elephant thought about it for a bit.
Okay, I will try using my abilities. You want to see where the wolf lives? I'll see what I can do.
We looked into the stream, and she started to explain what she saw.
It looks like he built himself an ice fortress in the Great Tundra. He'll often lead his wolf pack out to attack other animals, like cats. But he isn't doing it for food. He's doing it for fun. This doesn't look good.
Thank you for doing that. I know it wasn't easy, but you were great. I have to defeat him, but I know I'm not strong enough yet. Say, what's your name?
Oh, it's Delilah.
Delightful. Would you want to come live at my base with me? It might feel safer there.
Oh, thank you, but I feel like I'm not ready to leave the land of my grandma yet. But please, come see me anytime.
I thanked her and took off. As I was crossing the stream, though, I was suddenly attacked by a crocodile. I already hated water enough. Now there were things attacking me. Come on, you little snapper, leave me alone. I tried to run away, but he was too quick. It looked like my only option was to fight. It wasn't too long, and he managed to take me out. That's when I saw my life counter change from 8 lives to 7. Oh no, that's not good. Problem was, I still couldn't run. The croc was vicious and wouldn't leave me alone. Suddenly, I had lost another life. Oh, I can't take much more of this. Luckily for me though, I had been getting hits in, and even though he had taken 2 of my lives, I was able to finally take his. And he only had 1. And stay down. I decided to explore the bank a little more, and soon saw the nook where the crocodile must have been hiding. I looked inside and there was a chest. Oh, look at all these fish! My favorite food. And in the middle, there was a mystical fruit salad. I don't really like fruit, but I'll give it a go. I scarfed it down and it turns out, it was delicious. Just then, I felt some power surge through me and I got bigger with more hearts. Wow, maybe there's something to this eating fruit thing. On days 16 to 19, I arrived back at the base. I met up with Lenny and he told me that he was feeling really hungry. Hey, you can have some of this fish I just got. He was pretty happy about that. Then I decided I should start planting seeds, as we would need to have a good food source. I decided to build the farm into the tower, and thought that worked really well. This farm looks great. I was thinking about the fight with the crocodile, and how I had lost so many lives. I was going to have to be more careful. So to do that, I decided to craft myself a bow. That way I won't have to be so close to danger all the time. But first, I'm gonna need some string. I took off in the direction of a nearby cave, and soon found some spiders. The spiders weren't nearly as happy to see me as I was to see them, and in no time, I had gotten myself enough string to make my bow. Now that I had everything I needed, I was able to quickly put together a bow for myself. It was just in time, too, because a black bear had walked up behind me. I hope this thing works. I started firing the bow, landing hits with my arrows. The bear was angry with me, but I was feeling way better with my ranged weapon. Soon enough, I had taken him out. On days 20 to 22, I had the urge to build. It was statue time, but in order to do that, I was gonna need some wool. I went and talked to Lenny about it, and he told me there was a herd of sheep nearby he was thinking of hunting. No, you can't hunt these guys. We'll need their wool. Lenny was disappointed, but agreed. He wasn't taking to a plant-based diet as easily as I was. I headed off in the direction Lenny had mentioned and soon saw the sheep. I took out my wheat and led them back toward my base. When we arrived, I quickly put together a pen, then locked them all inside. That's when Lenny came around the corner.
Okay, dinner.
Lenny, wait! You promised you weren't going to eat them, remember? They're for wool, not food.
Ah, shoot. Fine.
Next up, I needed to get some dye to turn the sheep into the proper colors. I went to the plains biome and found some cornflowers. Using the flowers, I was able to make some blue dye and dye the sheep blue. Now it was time to get started. Using the wool, I started on the first part. I feel like this one is going to turn out even better than anything I've built so far, but you'll have to be the judge of that. Soon, the first part was complete. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, otherwise you'll miss out on all my future adventures. On days 23 to 26, I felt like it was time to learn more about this wolf monster and travel to the Arctic where he lived. As I got closer, I heard some wolf howls and hurried up into a tree to hide. I'm not letting them catch me off guard this time. Just then, I saw the wolves come by, and as they got closer, I saw that I had a good shot with my bow.
If only there weren't so many of them. I decided it wasn't worth the risk, especially with the wolf monster there. But now I knew for sure that he lived here. As I watched them, I saw them go toward a snowy village. They attacked some of the villagers and took out their livestock. These guys were horrible. They continued through the village, taking everything out. When there was nothing left, they left the village. Why would they do something like this? Now that they were gone, I went to investigate the village. There were some crops here, and it didn't look like the villagers were going to be needing them anytime soon, so I picked up as much as I could. As I was going through the village, I suddenly ran into a baby wolf. What are you doing here?
Hey you, leave me alone or else. I'm super mean because I'm a wolf.
Look, buddy, you're not fooling anyone. All the other wolves are gone. Fight me if you want, but we know how it's gonna end.
Ah, shucks, you're right. If the other guys knew I was gonna get shown up by a cat, they'd bully me so bad, even worse than they already do. Why do you think I'm here? They're always leaving me behind and being so mean.
I couldn't help but feel bad for this little guy. Look, it's okay. I remember what it was like being a little cat. Why do you say you come join me instead? These guys don't sound like they really care about you.
You can say that again. You know what? I'm out of here. Just because we're all wolves doesn't mean I have to put up with them.
He was pretty fired up, but I was glad I could help him out. We took off, back to the base. On days 27 to 31, we arrived back at the base. The baby wolf, whose name was Willie, immediately tried to eat the sheep. Hang on, those are our friends, not food. Here, let me get you something. I tossed him some fish, which he was happy to have. That's when Lenny came walking up to us. It turned out he had really been starting to enjoy the veggie life and wanted to share some with us. We headed up to the garden and Lenny tossed some new food out for us. I took a bite. Oh wow, these are really good. You weren't joking. Just then, I grew a little bigger and gained more hearts. Well, would you look at that? Eating veggies is actually good for you. You get more hearts and stay healthy. Nice. I then realized that Willie had nowhere to stay, so I got busy building him his own section of the base. It wasn't big, but it would be perfect for him. Since Lenny was so interested in farming now, I decided I would put a barn together for him too. This way he could put all his farming tools in one place and hopefully continue to not eat the sheep. Soon, the build was complete. I was starting to run low on wood, so I headed over to the nearby birch forest to stock up. I collected all the wood I needed, then decided to head back. On my way back, I was suddenly attacked by a giant cockroach. How gross! If I would have known there were bugs like this here, I wouldn't have chosen to live here. I had managed to make my way into a tree where I was able to pick them off with the bow. But suddenly, Willie came running into the fight. Willie, no, stay back! Willie ignored me and kept fighting. But it turned out, he was actually a really good fighter. Soon, we had taken them out. Whoa, nice moves. Those other wolves better watch out. You'd be able to kick their butts. Willie told me I was being too nice, and we headed back to the base. Later on, I had gone into the mines where I found some iron. I figured Willie could use some armor, so I collected as much as I could. Back at the base, I smelted down the iron, then used the iron ingots to make him his very own set of iron armor. I went and gave it to him, which he was very excited about. On days 32 to 35, I woke up to the sound of meowing. Could that be more cats? I went to take a look and it turned out there were a bunch of cats out there. Oh, hey guys, how did you find me?
There's a giant cat tower in the middle of the desert. How could we miss it?
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. They asked if they could live here, and I of course agreed. That did leave me with a problem though. I couldn't fit all of them in my room. So I got right to work making them their own rooms at the top of the tower. I couldn't believe more cats were around. I would have to keep an eye out for some more of them. Once I had finished building their houses, I went to work on the statue with Willie. I had to get the next part done. If my cat tower was drawing people in, I'm sure a big statue would bring them in too. Soon, we finished the second part. Back at the base, I decided to check in with the cats. They had settled in nicely. Hey, do you guys know of any other cats? I'd love to help as many as I can.
Well, there is this one woman we had heard of who takes in cats and cares for them. We were actually on our way there when we found your base. You could try checking there.
They explained to me where I needed to go. I wanted to make as many cat friends as I could. We would be stronger together. On days 36 to 39, I arrived in the desert the cats had mentioned, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Let me see if someone can help me. I talked to every animal I ran into, hoping they could point me in the right direction. But everyone I talked to said they hadn't heard of her. That's when I suddenly stumbled upon a huge desert pyramid. Well, it's not the house I'm looking for, but maybe there's something useful in here. I headed into the pyramid, which is when I saw a horde of zombies at the bottom. Luckily, I still had my bow, so I used that to hurry and take most of them out. Then I jumped down and finished the rest of them off with my sword. As I explored, I came across more zombies, but I was able to fight them off. Just then, I saw a button with a sign next to it. Just a normal button, trust me. Okay, I hit the button and another button rose up out of the ground. I shrugged and hit that button. I heard a noise in the other room and ran over to see a hole had opened up in the ground. Oh, what could be down here? I went down in the hole and found another button. This is getting a little ridiculous. I hit the button, which revealed a hidden room full of gold. Wait, seriously? I thought for sure this must have been a trap.
I entered the room and started picking up all of the loot. This was some good stuff. I checked the chest and saw there was an enchanting book for Punch 2. Oh, now my bow is really gonna be able to knock people back. I was feeling pretty good about things, so I headed back out of the pyramid, off to try and find the woman's house. On days 40 to 43, I was running through some hills when I saw a group of llamas. Hey, do you guys know where I could find a cat lady's house? To my luck, they knew exactly who I was talking about. Turns out the house was just over the hill. They told me to be careful though. The lady was pretty weird. I ran in the direction they had pointed and soon saw the house in the distance. I ran up to the house when a woman came running out.
Oh, it's another kitty! Here, kitty kitty! Here, kitty kitty!
Oh wow, you're super friendly. I heard you had a bunch of cats here and I'd love to meet them.
Oh yes, I love cats! They're the best! Maybe you can even stay here with me!
Oh, well, maybe? I've kind of got my own thing going, but I'd love to say hi to everyone.
Well, please come in. Let me show you around.
The woman led me into her house and showed me around to the different rooms. I could hear some cats, but none of the rooms we went into seemed to have any cats. Something seemed off, but maybe it was just how much she seemed to love cats.
And this final room is my favorite. It's where all the cats live.
Finally! I stepped into the room, but all of the cats were in cages. What was going on?
You can be my newest friend!
Suddenly, I was hit with a potion and went to sleep. On days 44 to 49, I woke up inside of one of the cages on the wall. The crazy cat lady had captured me. I tried my best to break out, but she had taken all of my tools. Is there anyone out there?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. Just give up. There's no way to get out of this place.
What do you mean? How did you guys end up here?
We all thought this was going to be a good place for us strays to live, but she keeps us locked up in cages. She likes cats, but she likes them so much, she never wants us to leave, even for a second.
The cat lady had come into the room and was going around feeding the other cats. This might be my moment to escape. As she came to my cage and opened it, I pounced. Out of my way, lady! I saw a chest nearby. My stuff must be in there. Inside, I could see I was right and tried to grab as much of it as I could, but it was no use as I was hit by another one of her potions, which put me back to sleep. I woke up again, back in the cage. Tried punching the walls again, but it was no use.
I told you, it's better just to give up. This is our life now.
How long have you been in here anyway?
Oh, I don't even remember anymore. It's been years.
Years? I can't be here for years. What's going to happen to all my friends without me? On days 50 to 53, I awoke in my cage to the sound of panting. It was Willy. Willy, what are you doing here?
Something about this cat lady seemed fishy to me, so I followed you, just in case.
Boy, am I glad you did. Willy opened the cage and I hopped out. I was free. I ran over to the chest and grabbed all my stuff. Just then, the cat lady came in.
Is that a wolf? I hate dogs and especially wolves! I'll take care of you!
The cat lady drank down a potion and turned into a witch. All right, Willy, we can take this lady. We all jumped into battle. She might have been crazy, but she was also crazy strong. Even with our combined power, we couldn't defeat her. Suddenly, I lost one of my lives. Oh shoot, now I'm down to 5. I can't let her beat me. I focused all of my energy and took her out. Just then, there was a surge of energy, and Willy leveled up. Whoa, Willy, look at you! You're even stronger than before. Willy was super excited. Next, we decided to take a look around the house and managed to find an enchanted diamond helmet. Oh, nice. I'm going to be even more protected than before. Maybe I can hold on to my remaining 5 lives now. I then met up with the other cats and invited them to come live at my base with me. They happily agreed, and we set off. On days 54 to 57, I made it back to the base and got right to work making additions to the base. With all the new cats, we were going to need some serious upgrades. They had spent so long in cages, I wanted to make sure they had a nice place to live. Soon, their room was complete. Later on, I was chatting with the cats when they told me how hungry they were. I was pretty much out of fish, and I couldn't ask them to stick to a plant-based diet. Although to be fair, Lenny had really gotten into it. Hang on, guys, I've got an idea. I headed back down to the base and went over to the water. Using my shovel, I dug out the land until I was able to connect the small pond near our base to the river. Now the water would run right by our front door, and fish could swim right up. I felt like it still needed something though, so I got to work building a fishing dock. We could store our fish and relax here, while the cats could cast a line into the water. Once the dock was complete, I led all the cats over to check it out. What do you guys think? We should be swimming in fish in no time. They were all happy as they threw their lines into the water. They'd never have to be hungry again. On days 58 to 62, I collected some wool off the sheep, then headed back over to the statue. I got to work on the next part. I'm sure it's pretty clear what I'm building at this point, but what do you think? Was this what you were expecting me to build? Once I had finished my work on the statue, I remembered I had gotten some enchanting books. Using my new book, I was able to add the punch enchantment to the bow. This will certainly pack a punch now. My bow was great, but I was going to need armor to match, so I left the base to go to a nearby mine. At the bottom of the mine, I could see a bunch of monsters, so I decided to take the new bow for a spin. It was working great, and I managed to take out a ton of them. Some of them got really close to me, but I still managed to take them out, one by one. Whew, hopefully there's not any more of them down here. I kept exploring and soon came across another group of creepers. Oh no, not more of these guys. I tried to take them out, but couldn't stop them all from exploding. Ouch! But what's that? I noticed the explosion had revealed an unnatural block and could hear skeletons on the other side. I broke a block, which revealed the entrance to a dungeon. On days 63 to 66, I knocked out the rest of the blocks and was immediately rushed by some skeletons. Oh, get out of here, you psychos! These skeletons were fast. It's a good thing I came prepared. They tried their best to take one more of my lives, but I managed to fight them all off. Alright, let's see what's going on back here. I entered the dungeon and could see more skeletons. Using my bow, I quickly fired at them and took them out. That's when I noticed a button in the middle of the room. What does this do? Unfortunately, it was a trap. More skeleton archers rose up from the ground. I was surrounded. They fired their arrows as I jumped to get out of the way. Luckily, I could take some cover, but even as I jumped out to hit them, it was still too hard. Oh, wait a second, they're stuck. I can just leave. I headed into the hallway. I guess whoever laid that trap didn't think it all the way through. I went and explored the hallways. I wasn't sure where to go next. Then I came across a sign that said treasure room. Oh, that sounds great to me. I ran into the hallway, falling into a hole. It was another trap. Oh man, I should have known that would happen. I landed in a stone room where there was no way out. Suddenly, the wall across from me started moving. I was going to get crushed. There's gotta be a way out. I noticed some different looking blocks and started mining. At the last second, I burst through and fell down another hole. This time though, I landed in a pool of water. Oh, this place is crazy. I've gotta watch my step. Up ahead, I hit a button to open the door and walked through as lava fell from the ceiling. Luckily, I made it through the door quick enough before it could hurt me. The next room was full of lava with platforms I had to jump to. That would have been easy, except the place was full of skeleton archers. I tried to cross, but they knocked me into the lava. Ooh, hot, hot! I managed to crawl out before the lava burnt me to a crisp. I started shooting arrows at the skeleton, taking a couple of them out. That's when I noticed there was a chest and some diamonds up ahead. Oh, I've got to get to that. To reach it though, there was one more archer. I took careful aim and fired, taking him out. The treasure is all mine. I hopped the rest of the way up and opened the chest. Inside there was a diamond block as well as a bunch of diamonds. This is exactly what I was searching for. With everything out of the chest, I then mined out all of the diamonds in the wall. My pockets were now overflowing with goodies. Now how do I get out of here? I hopped across the room and saw a door, which I barely managed to get through after grabbing onto some vines. I swam up a waterfall and followed the hallways until I saw another room with a chest. Okay, there's gotta be a trap in here. I stepped forward slowly and set off a trap. That arrow nearly took my head off. I think there's only one way through. I took off at a sprint as the arrows flew by. Inside the chest was more diamonds, as well as some XP potions. I ran back through the traps, then loaded up on the XP. I went back through the hallways and soon saw another path through. I guess this must be the way out. I stepped forward when suddenly a bunch of lava came falling from the ceiling, trapping me inside the room. That was way too close. As I looked into the room though, I saw it was full of skeletons, including a big buff skeleton. There was no time to lose. I immediately started shooting my bow, taking out as many of them as I could. I got some hits in, but it was getting dicey. I didn't notice the buff skeleton had me in his sights, and after a good hit, he knocked out one of my lives. Oh no, now I only have 4 left. Over half of them are gone. I didn't have any other choice though. I had to keep fighting. I had managed to hit him a bunch, so he couldn't have had much health left. I hid behind a pole, then struck him with my claws, taking him out. Yeah, who's the tough guy now? And we'll just pretend that you didn't take one of my lives. That's when I noticed that I had actually picked up his head. Ooh, creepy. I wonder what else is in here. I ran around the room and saw a chest, which had an infinity enchantment in it, as well as some gold. In another chest, I also found a brand new bow. I knew just what to do next. At a nearby anvil, I added the infinity enchantment to my new bow, which gave me endless arrows. By now my pockets were filled with goodies, so I used some cobblestone to block the lava and left the dungeon. Back at the base, I stuck my mutant skeleton head above my door. Now everyone knows that this house belongs to one tough kitty. Now that I had a bunch of diamonds, I went over to the crafting table and got right to work, crafting myself an entire set of diamond armor. I was going to be super protected now. With the armor done, I also made myself a full set of diamond tools. It was just about time, as the iron tools just weren't going to cut it anymore. With all of the tools finished, I grabbed Willy and we got to work on the next part of the statue. It was time to add some details in, and I was excited to see how it was going to look. It didn't take too long, and we soon finished the next part. Back at the base, I was feeling like I was almost ready to take on the wolf monster, but asked Willy if he had any ideas of what I could do to power up.
Well, there's a special set of claws I've heard about. They're strong enough to rip through wolf hide.
That sounds like just what I need. Where do I find them?
There's a fort pretty far away from here that they are rumored to be in, but it's got some tough mobs defending it. I can show you the way.
That would be awesome. But first, let me go check with Lenny to see if he has any new veggies for me to take on the journey. I went up to the garden with Lenny, and he gathered me a fresh set of food. Thanks, buddy. You've gotten good at this. On days 71 to 74, Willy and I had reached a snowy taiga biome when suddenly we were attacked by a polar bear. I had just upgraded all of my gear, so the polar bear didn't really stand a chance against me. Together, we defeated him easily. Yeah, that was so easy. Suddenly, a bunch of polar bears came running out. Oh, this is not easy. The polar bears were really mad at us, and we were taking a lot of hits. This situation was all too familiar, and I suddenly lost another one of my lives. Oh no, only 3 left now. I had lost another life, but we had made good progress, and together, we were able to take out the last of the polar bears. It helped that Willie was now a full-grown wolf. We soon found a cave and settled in out of the cold. Thanks for coming along with me, Willie. I thought all wolves were bad, but you've shown me that's not the truth. Willie didn't say anything and started walking around in circles. It was kind of strange, but maybe he just wasn't comfortable expressing his feelings. It was getting pretty cold when Willie set out a campfire. Oh, just in time. We both settled in for the night. On days 75 to 78, Willie and I reached the snowy fortress deep in the taiga. This must be where the claws are. We entered the fort, but as we walked through, I couldn't help but notice the place seemed empty. There might have been a battle here long ago, but there was definitely no one here now. As we entered another section, the doors closed behind us. Oh no, it must be a trap. Get ready, Willie. That's when I realized it wasn't an enemy who set the trap. It was Willie.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but I can't resist my natural instincts. I tried, but cats are just too delicious.
What are you saying? Come on, we're friends.
I have a lot of respect for you. I didn't know a cat could be this strong. But I have to do this. And once you're gone, I'm going to lead the pack to all the other cats in the base.
Willie, get a hold of yourself. This isn't the right way.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but it's the end.
And just like that, we began to fight. Willie had gotten really strong, and his blows really hurt. I couldn't believe his instincts were this powerful. Please, Willie, it doesn't have to be like this. But it was too late. He was done talking, and I could see his wolf instincts had completely taken over. He kept swinging at me and managed to take another one of my lives. Ugh, only 2 left. I hurried and climbed up some trees, making my way to the top of the ruins. From there, I started firing arrows, landing some blows. Willie ran around, trying to avoid my arrows. It was making him really mad. I wasn't going to be able to finish it this way, though. I had to land a blow up close. I hurried and climbed higher into the ruins, firing arrows as I went.
Get back down here!
I climbed out the side of the ruins as Willie continued to look up where I was before. I snuck up behind him and delivered a sneak attack. It was just a few hits more, and he was finally defeated. Willie, why? I'm sorry it had to come to this. I ran outside and picked a flower. I carried it back inside and laid it where Willie had disappeared. I'll see you in the next life, my friend. On days 79 to 84, I was feeling really sad about the loss of Willie. I couldn't help but think though, Willie was super strong and he was just a regular wolf. What chance did I have against the wolf monster? That's when I remembered Delilah the elephant could help. I traveled back to the savannah, and just in time too. Up ahead, I could see Delilah had been captured by poachers. You thugs, get away from my friend! I charged in as the poachers turned to fight. I had no time for these punks, and I had to save my friend. There was no way I was going to lose 2 friends in such a short amount of time. I was way stronger than the last time we had fought poachers, and so at long last, I took them all out.
Oh, Zozo, you showed up just in time. I don't know where I'd be without you. Or well, I guess I do. I'd be dead.
You mustn't talk like that. But I was hoping you could help me with something.
Oh sure, anything.
I need to defeat the wolf monster still, but I'm wondering if there are any special items out there that could help me. Could you take a look? Delilah agreed and took a look into some nearby water.
Okay, I can see the nether. There's a huge fortress there. And inside, oh, there's some claws. They look like they're strong enough to rip through wolf skin.
So those claws are real. Do you know how I can get there?
It's showing me a path to the nether portal. It's actually not that far from your base.
Wow, that's great news. I'll have to go get them. But before I do, are you sure you still don't want to live at my base? There's so many poachers out here.
Oh, I've definitely changed my mind. I would love to live there.
Delilah and I headed back toward my base. As we got closer, she caught sight of my statue.
An elephant. I love it. It reminds me of my grandma. I miss her so much.
I wish I could have met her. I'm almost finished with that statue too. Just one more part to go, but I think you'll think it's pretty cool. From there, I got right to work building Delilah her own room at the base. The poor girl kept getting attacked, so I was glad she decided to come and live at the base with us. Her room was going to be at the top, so she was definitely going to be safe. Soon, her room was complete. Here you go. I really hope you like it here. Delilah assured me she would, and she especially loved the view out of her window. On days 85 to 89, I headed straight for the nether portal. I had to get those claws. Oh no, it looks totally destroyed. Hopefully there's some more obsidian in this chest. I opened the chest and luckily, there was everything I needed. Someone must have been here before. Just then, a snapping turtle came walking right over the chest and attacked. Ah, you're so slow and creepy. He wasn't very strong and I took him out quickly. Then another animal attacked me out of nowhere. This guy wasn't strong either and I took him out too. All right, enough. Let's do this. I quickly fixed up the portal, replacing all the missing obsidian blocks. I stepped into the portal and was teleported to the nether. I stepped out into a soul sand valley and could see a few endermen roaming around. As long as I don't look at them, I should be good. But as I got closer, they turned and started to attack me. I guess they just really wanted me to stay away. Once I had taken them out, I took a look at my surroundings. That's when I noticed some ancient debris in the wall. Oh yeah, I can make some netherite gear with this. I mined out the debris and stored it away for later. It was time to explore. I took off into the nether, traveling across dangerous terrain and fighting off endermen. I found some more ancient debris too. There were also some ghast that showed up, but I was able to take care of them with my bow. Soon, I saw it in the distance, the fortress from Delilah's vision. There it is! I just need to get across this lava, and the claws will be mine. I started jumping across the broken path, being sure not to fall into the lava. As I entered the fortress, I was suddenly attacked by a hellhound and a couple wither skeletons. I should have known something would be waiting for me. I tried to climb up some platforms as quickly as I could and started taking them out with my bow. The wither skeletons were getting too close for comfort, but luckily I was able to take them down. Now it's your turn. I jumped down and started swinging my sword, showing the hellhound who was boss. Even the dogs in a different dimension are mean. I kept swinging my sword and finally took the hellhound out. That was a tough fight. He destroyed most of my armor. But the important thing was that I had won. I went over to the chest and took a look inside. There was tons of loot, and most important, the claws were inside. I can't believe it, I got them! I took out the claws and equipped them. That's when I felt the energy surge through me, and I grew into a huge, super buff cat. Whoa, I'm extremely ripped, and I have way more hearts. It was time to take the fight to the wolf. On days 90 to 94, I returned to the base to see all of my new friends. It was quite the sight to see everyone so happy. We had all been affected by the wolf monster in one way or another, and it was great to see that despite it all, we had all found a place to call home. I was too big to fit in the door now, so I knocked out a space and grabbed some supplies out of a chest. Then I made myself a fancy new moving door. Ah yes, this will work perfectly. Now that I had a functioning door, I took the ancient debris I had collected and smelted it into some netherite scraps. Then I took some of the diamonds I had collected and made an entire set of diamond armor. Now I'll need a smithing table. I got the smithing table put together and then combined the netherite scraps with some gold bars to make some netherite ingots. Using the new ingots, I was able to then convert all my diamond gear into netherite. Now let's finish the statue. I headed outside and finished putting all of the details on the elephant. I thought it looked really nice and I was glad that it reminded Delilah of her grandma. Well, what do you think? Is this your favorite build I've done so far, or did you like another one more? With the statue complete, it was time to say goodbye. I met with all of my friends outside. Thanks for all of your support, guys. I'm going to go fight the wolf, but I'm still not sure how I'm going to beat him.
I was thinking about it, and didn't you say that crazy cat lady threw a potion at you that knocked you out? Maybe she had other potions that could come in handy for your fight.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'll have to go stop by there and see what I can find.
Good luck, Zozo. I know you'll make us all proud.
The rest of the animals chimed in. I never could have done it without all of their support. Time to get that wolf. On days 95 to 97, I arrived back at the cat lady's house. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. I ran up to the house to get inside. As I tried to take a look around, I realized I was too big for the doors, so I knocked out the walls to make myself some space. Something tells me she's not gonna mind. As I checked around the house, I eventually opened up her bedside table and found a bunch of blindness potions. No wonder she always had these on her. The lady literally slept next to them, but these will help in a fight. With the potions in my pockets, I headed off toward the wolf monster's base. I soon reached a snowy area and could hear the howling of wolves in the distance. But this time, I wasn't running. This time, I was heading straight for them.
Hey, you boys, check out this cat. He thinks he's real tough walking into our land like this.
Your pride will be the end of you. I'm gonna take down your entire pack.
Oh, cry me a hairball, fuzzbag. Bring it on.
We lunged at each other and started swinging. These guys thought I was weak because I was a cat, but they quickly found out I was super strong. I could tell they were scared, and soon, only one of them was left.
You're no cat, you're a freak. Just wait until the boss hears about this.
The last wolf ran off to tell his boss. Yeah, not even a warning is going to save him from me. The wolf wasn't very smart though. He was leading me right to their base. Soon enough, I saw a large fortress in the distance. This must be it. I walked up and started to explore. I could feel something behind me. I turned around and saw there was a huge sub behind me. Quick, subscribe to the channel. We must win this fight. On day 98, I charged into the base and was immediately attacked by some wolves. Out of the way, you mangy mutts. I swung my massive arms and knocked the wolves out. With my strength, these guys were a breeze. Soon, the room had been cleared. That's when I noticed something horrible. Is that what I think it is? On the stairs, there was a mounted animal head. These guys were a bunch of sickos. They had to be stopped. In the next room, there were even more wolves. Get a load of this, chumps. I smacked the wolves as they crumpled beneath my blows. They were able to get some hits in, but they were no match. No one was going to stop me from reaching my goal. Once they were all destroyed, I noticed what was on the table. More animal heads. I won't let them add any more. As I left the room, I noticed a button on a nearby wall. I hit it and a wall opened, revealing a storage room. Oh, nice. I bet there's something good in here. I started opening up chests and found a lot of gold, including some golden apples. Then I saw something out of the ordinary. There's warnings on this chest. Must be something good in here. I opened the chest and saw I had several potions of leaping. That would surely give me an advantage in the fight. Now I just had to find the monster. On day 99, I wandered through the halls and eventually walked into the Great Hall. The wolf monster was seated on a golden throne.
Oh, what is this? A cat walking right into my house? Who do you think you are?
You know who I am. You destroyed my entire group of friends.
Yeah, you'll have to be more specific. I do it all the time. It's literally all I do.
I'm Zozo.
Oh, Zozo. Yeah, I still don't know who you are.
It doesn't matter. Today is the day I take my revenge.
Yeah, get this cat out of my sight.
Suddenly, the wolves around the table charged. He might not know who I am, but he was about to find out. I knocked out his wolves in no time.
I always knew I was surrounded by a bunch of weaklings. I'll do this myself.
The wolf monster charged at me. The fight had begun. This was ending today. He was still strong and was really knocking me down. I ran away to try to get some space, eating some food to heal.
Get over here, you little cat.
I tried fighting him as I went, getting hits in here and there. I soon made it up a set of stairs, turning in time to start firing down arrows at the wolf monster.
Oh, knock it off!
I kept firing arrows until he had reached me. He kept hitting me, and eventually I saw my life counter appear again. I only had 1 life left. I had to make it count. I kept running through the castle, trying to play it safe. Every now and then he would catch up, and I would swing my claws to knock him back. Some of his wolves even tried to jump into the fight, but I was able to knock them away. My health was starting to get really low though. Alright, let's see what he thinks of this. I took out one of my blinding potions and managed to hit him.
Oh, I can't see. What did you do?
The wolf ran off as I hurried and ducked for cover. I was safe for a moment, so I hurried and ate a golden apple. I had been getting hits in, but it didn't seem to be enough. It was time to try something new. I could hear the wolf in the hallway up ahead, so I snuck up behind him and smacked him. Surprise!
Oh, you sneaky little cat.
We exchanged some more blows, and I ran off, making more space. I was really starting to hurt him now. Just then, we ran into a room with a couple of his wolf cronies.
Get this guy off my back!
I thought wolves didn't run away from anything. As I went back out to fight, I saw the wolf had disappeared. Where did he go? I kept searching around the place until I ran into a strange sign. Place sacrificial heads. Oh, I don't love that, but maybe it could help me. I ran around the palace and gathered up a few of the animal heads. Then I placed them on the altar. Suddenly, a hidden door opened, and the wolf monster was hiding on the other side. There he is! I ran up to face him. Give it up, man, you can't beat me! The wolf shook his head. He wasn't gonna go down easily. We charged as his sidekicks attacked. It was an epic battle, but they were no match for me. I even tried using the leaping potions, which helped me to get to higher ground and use my bow. This is for everyone you've hurt! I swung my claws, hitting him again and again. He wasn't even sorry for what he had done. At long last, I swung my claws, destroying him for good. Goodbye! The wolf was finally gone. Now we could all live our lives in peace. On day 100, I made it back to the base. All of my friends were there to greet me, and I couldn't believe the fight was done. We were finally free from danger. The world was once again a place of peace. On day 1, I spawned in as a kangaroo. Hoo-ha, I'm a tiny little kangaroo. Look how bouncy I am. I was so busy bouncing, I barely noticed the little Tasmanian devil that started to attack me. Back away! I swung my fist and punched that little baby right out of here. Hot dang, I'm tiny, but I can pack a punch. I took a look around for some trees to start my adventures when a much bigger Tasmanian devil came out. Uh-oh, looks like I made the dad angry. I gotta hop on out of here. I ran away as the Tasmanian devil looked angrily on. If I could find my kangaroo family, I knew I would be safe. As I hopped around, I could see I was all alone, so I made myself a simple shelter to spend the night. Maybe tomorrow I can find my family. On day 2, I headed back over to where I spawned in and saw the Tasmanian devil was nowhere to be seen. Looks like the coast is clear. Let's get that wood. I started punching the trees and had soon gathered a good amount of wood. Using the wood, I managed to make myself some wood tools that would come in handy later. Turned out that later was now, as a snake came out of nowhere and attacked. Where did you come from? I swung at the snake, hitting him right in the face. It didn't take long, and I was able to take him out. Not bad, my guy. I looked over and saw an emu was watching. Why don't you come over here and let me get a sample of that power? You wanna fight me? Just box. Let's go. I didn't see the harm in a little training, so I started swinging. The emu was a good fighter and had clearly been well trained. After a bit of sparring, we stopped. Yeah, you've got some real talent, but you've got lots to learn. Let me introduce you to my trainer. He'll have you becoming a real fighter in no time. I agreed and followed him. As we walked, he introduced himself as Ernie. We soon arrived at an old rundown gym. As we entered inside, I soon saw who his trainer was. It was an old turtle. Master Balboa. I ran into this kangaroo, and I think he's got some real promise. The old turtle looked me up and down. I don't see much here. I won't train him. Oh, come on. Maybe he can help with the silence? Okay, he can stay here. Be ready for training at sunrise. I don't know why this Master Balboa was so hard on me, but I agreed to be trained and went to bed in the gym. On day 3, I was woken up by Master Balboa. Already sleeping in, I see. Beggars can't be choosers. Up. You will start by cleaning this place. I took a look around the gym and saw that there was a lot of work to be done. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be cleared out, and there was a lot of room for improvement. I wonder how long it had been since someone had cleaned this place up. Once I had done a fair bit of cleaning, I decided that I didn't want to be sleeping on the floor anymore, so I made myself a small room for me to sleep in. It wasn't anything fancy, just a place to rest. After I had finished, Master Balboa came up to me.
Too good to sleep on the floor, are you? Every student sleeps on the floor and earns his dues. I don't know why you think you are different.
I'm not trying to offend anyone, I just thought it might be a little more comfortable.
One can never do the uncomfortable from a place of comfort. You do well to remember that strength is forged in the trials of fire.
Man, this guy was always speaking in weird sayings. Just then, a mountain tortoise appeared. Uh-oh, this guy looks like he wants to hurt me. Let's get out of here.
No, Zozo, this is your fire. Fight him and forge the strength you need to win.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. The tortoise was tough. He was really hitting hard and I wasn't feeling confident I could win. That's when I could hear Master Balboa shouting at me.
A tortoise's strength doesn't come from the hardness of his shell, but from the will of his heart.
What?
Don't hit the shell, hit his soft spots.
Oh, right. I focused on the tortoise's neck and started landing some good hits. In no time, he was taken out. After he had disappeared, I felt some adrenaline coursing through me and I leveled up into an even stronger kangaroo. I have even more hearts now too. Ernie was really impressed and shouted his encouragement to me. I thought I even saw Master Balboa crack a smile. Just maybe. On days 4 to 5, I found myself facing off with Ernie. My skills had improved, but my emu friend really knew how to fight. As we fought, I asked him some questions. So have you seen any other kangaroos around? I can't be the only one. Ernie didn't say anything, but I could tell he had something to say. Master Balboa spoke up instead.
There are many animals who have trained here. One of these animals was a legendary kangaroo. He was one of the greatest fighters to pass through this gym. Even he, among many others, was unable to defeat the buff bear. All have failed.
I hate that buff bear. I've seen too many of my friends fall to him. Nothing will stop me from destroying him.
Patience, Ernie. Rage is a cancer that can blind even the clearest of vision.
Ernie calmed down, but I could still sense his frustration beneath the surface. I felt his anger though. That buff bear was going to pay. On days 6 to 8, I woke up with an idea. If we're really going to take down this buff bear, we're gonna need better training facilities. I think I can help with that. After I had gathered some stone, I was suddenly attacked by the Tasmanian devil for my first day. Joke was on him though. I was even stronger now. Let's see how you like this. I swung my fist and really let him have it. I don't think he was expecting me to be so strong, and I was able to knock him out in no time. Someone bit off more than they could chew. I grabbed a little more sand, then headed back to the base. Now that I had a bunch of materials, I used them to start improvements to the gym. I felt like I had a strong purpose and a clear mind. Master Balboa would be proud of that. After a lot of sweat and hard work, all the improvements were complete, at least for now. On days 9 to 10, Ernie and I were out for a jog. The problem was, Ernie was so much faster than me, he had to keep waiting for me to catch up. He didn't seem to mind though.
What a slowpoke.
I looked over and saw a monkey was watching us. Hey, that's not a very nice thing to say.
You're right. I'm not very nice. I'm nicer than that dump you call a gym, though.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Why do you care? You're not gonna be around much longer anyway.
What do you mean?
My Master Buff Bear is gonna wipe you and all your little friends out soon enough. You're all just a bunch of weaklings.
Buff Bear? You think Buff Bear can beat us? Ernie jumped to the monkey and they started to fight. Yeah, get him, Ernie! The monkey and Ernie were pretty evenly matched, but I believed in Ernie. Just then, someone else came running into the fight. It was the Buff Bear! Ernie, watch out! Ernie was outnumbered. I had to help.
Heh. More Balboa students for me to destroy. You guys are pathetic.
We were holding on. The Buff Bear was strong. I was starting to get worried about Ernie.
Stop this at once!
Master Balboa had arrived. He seemed to catch us all off guard as everyone stopped fighting.
Balboa crawled out of your shell to train some more weaklings, I see. Bear, your strength is your weakness. Are you two really listening to this old fool? Don't insult him. You're a real jerk. I challenge you to a fight. Ernie? No. Yeah, I'll fight you, little guy. Looks like you better go with your babysitter. You know where to find me.
Master Balboa then pulled us away as Buff Bear and his monkey henchmen left.
Ernie, I told you your anger could be your downfall.
Master Balboa, I've been training so hard. I know I can beat him. Master Balboa didn't seem so sure, but didn't say anything else. If you're gonna go through with this, you'll need all the help you can get. I'll do what I can to help you prepare. On days 11 to 12, I decided to continue doing some upgrades to the gym. Ernie was going to need every advantage, so I made sure to give the gym the improvements it needed to give him the edge. It's going to take more than a nice gym to win this fight, so we better get some upgraded gear. I took off and soon found myself in a forest. I headed into a nearby cave and quickly found some iron. Just what I was looking for. I had collected the iron I needed when suddenly I was attacked by a sunbird. What the? Where did you come from? I tried to hit him, but he was too tough. My health was starting to drain though, so I had to get out of there. I ran off. How could I beat him? Then I had an idea. I climbed up to get higher than the Sunbird, then jumped off. Heads up! By doing this, I was able to land the final blow. That's when I saw he had dropped some items. Oh, nice! These will be perfect for the base.
You saved me!
Confused, I turned and saw Platypus was talking to me.
That Sunbird wouldn't leave me alone.
Well, he'll leave you alone now, but it is pretty dangerous out here. Do you have a safe place to stay?
No, not really. I'm all alone out here.
Well, why don't you come live at my training gym with me?
Oh, I've always wanted to be stronger. That sounds great.
We headed off for the gym. We soon arrived, and I had a chat with Master Balboa.
Zozo, I'm not running a charity here. You can't just invite anyone you meet to live here.
But he was all alone. I can build him his own place. He won't be a bother. I'm sure of it.
Well, these are dangerous times. Very well.
I quickly got to work putting together a room for the platypus, whose name was Perry. I wasn't sure how much training Master Balboa was going to let him do, but in any case, he would have a place to stay. I also took some time to build myself a crafting area. Once my crafting area was set up, I smelted all the iron I had gathered. With all the iron smelted, I then took all of the iron ingots and used them to make myself a fancy new set of iron tools. I also used them to make myself some iron armor. The iron armor is still a little big for me though, so I'll save it for later. On days 13 to 15, I woke up to a strange noise. We were being attacked by a gang of monkeys. Buff Bear's cronies. We've got to stop them. I jumped into the battle, hitting as many monkeys as I could. I couldn't believe Buff Bear would send a hit squad like this. I was taking some of them out, but they just kept coming. Suddenly, Buff Bear entered, and the fight was really on. Ernie and Master Balboa tried to fight him off, but it looked like they were in real trouble. Then, out of nowhere, I was trapped in a cage. All I could do was watch as Buff Bear attacked my friends. Master Balboa took a hard hit. Ernie was now in danger. This looked like the end for him. No! Oh, wait, it was just a dream. Thank goodness. I was still feeling nervous about it though, so I went to talk to Ernie. I told him about my dream and that I didn't think it'd be a good idea for him to go through with the fight. Ernie just laughed it off, saying I was being paranoid. He was sure he could win the fight. I hope so, but keep an eye out for any funny business. On days 16 to 19, I woke up and saw that Master Balboa and Ernie were already hard at work training. Whoops, Master Balboa isn't going to like that I slept in again. I was still feeling a little nervous about Ernie's fight though, so I went to talk to him about it. He told me that I needed to stop worrying. That's when Master Balboa started to talk to me.
Zozo, enough jibber jabber. You already slept too late. It's time to train.
Yeah, sorry. I had a pretty bad dream. What's on the schedule for today? Master Balboa led us over to a corner of the gym.
There's a spider infestation down there that I don't want to deal with. The two of you can get down there and clean it up. There's more equipment on the way, and we need space for it.
Oh man. Alright, we're on it. Ernie and I broke all the boards, as well as the spider webs. Master Balboa was right. It was a mess down here. We got right to work destroying all of the spiders in our way. I wondered how long they had been down here. I really hope Master Balboa knows what he's doing. This is nasty. Soon enough, the spiders were all cleared out. We then got to work patching up all of the broken sections. This place was in rough shape, but we were sure we could get it looking nice in no time. As we finished, Master Balboa came down to meet us.
Zozo, there's a delivery waiting for us. Go ahead and bring everything down.
I ran upstairs and greeted the delivery man. He handed me the boxes of equipment and I took everything downstairs. Inside of the boxes was a bunch of exercise equipment.
Well boys, hop to it.
Ernie and I unloaded all of the equipment and got everything set up. There were a lot of good areas to train in now. Just in time too, because Master Balboa was ready for us.
Time to hit the equipment.
Ernie and I ran around the gym following Master Balboa's instructions. It was a lot of hard work, but Ernie had a big fight ahead and we really needed to push him to be his best. The new equipment was great too. I was definitely going to be sore tomorrow. As we finished our workout, I could really feel my heart pumping. Suddenly, I grew into an even bigger kangaroo and gained more hearts. Whoa, I feel great! As we all celebrated my new strength, Perry came down the stairs.
Wow, you've grown. I wanted to find you guys as I know something that might help. There's some powerful boxing gloves at a far-off land that makes the user punch even harder than normal.
It's just what we could use. Perry explained where we needed to go. I told Ernie to keep training, and I would go find the gloves. On days 20 to 22, I headed out to go find the special gloves. Perry told me where to go, but mentioned it was very dangerous. As I got closer, I could see why. This outpost is crawling with desert raiders. This isn't going to be easy. I snuck my way up to the front door as a patrol of raiders walked by. Maybe I could sneak in. I moved further into the base, trying to hide behind things. I'd gotten much bigger though, and that was harder to do. They soon spotted me and attacked. Looks like I'm gonna have to fight my way through this one. There were a lot of raiders, but with my new strength, it wasn't too much of a challenge to knock them out of the way. I had to be careful though, because if I got too cocky, they could easily overrun me with their numbers and take me down. Soon I had fought my way to the top of the base. As I moved to take the power gloves, I heard a noise. A buff raider was looking at me and charged. Bring it on! This guy was no ordinary raider. He was stronger than the others and had a different weapon. As he hit me, I even caught on fire.
Whoa, tone it down, big guy.
The fire hurt, but I had to keep fighting. I couldn't let Ernie down. I kept on punching and hitting until finally I landed the final blow. The power gloves are all mine
mine now. I walked up to the gloves and picked them up. They fit like a glove. As I left the base, another raider tried to attack me, but I punched him so hard he went flying. The other guy simply turned and tried to run away. I've got the power now. As I arrived back at the base, I could see Ernie outside training. I could tell he was feeling a bit nervous. Hey Ernie, are you feeling nervous? I'm here to support you no matter what. There's no shame in calling it off. No, I can't call it off. I've been waiting for this my whole life. All right, if you say so. In any case, I have some good news. I got the power gloves. These should give you a serious leg up. I tossed the gloves over to him, and he was super excited about it. I could tell this really raised his spirits. I was still nervous about him doing the fight, but there was no way I was going to change his mind. On days 23 to 26, it was time for the big fight. We all made our way to the arena and soon arrived. Ernie was in high spirits, and we were feeling pretty good. Maybe he could win this thing after all. As we approached, the monkey from before stopped us.
Hi, you chumps. Buff Bear wants to make this fight a little more interesting.
Oh boy, what's that?
This fight won't be to the death, just until someone gives up. If the emu here wins, which he won't, Master Bear will let any of the captured birds go. But if he loses, he'll be Master Bear's servant for life.
There's something fishy about this, Ernie. I don't think it's a good idea.
Tell your boss I'll take it, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the birds go free.
The monkey chuckled and went to tell his boss. Later, Ernie had stepped into the ring, and we could hear something up above us. Buff Bear had hung cages all around the arena, cages that were filled with all of Ernie's friends. This guy was a sicko. An announcer stepped into the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Rumble Fantastical! In the red corner, we have the powerful, the mighty, the undefeated Buff Bear!
The crowd went absolutely nuts with cheering. He was definitely going to have the home field advantage.
And in the blue corner is an emu.
The announcer walked off. You got this, Ernie.
Make us proud, son.
There was a ding, and the fight was on. Ernie and Buff Bear jumped at each other. They were both landing some heavy hits. Come on, Ernie, show him who's boss. Ernie was swinging his hardest, and it looked like he was actually winning. I bet Buff Bear wasn't expecting those power gloves.
What's wrong, Bear? Scared you finally met your end?
Ew, I guess I'll start trying now.
Buff Bear started hitting even harder than before. He wasn't bluffing. He had just been toying with Ernie. Ernie, watch out! Buff Bear was really landing blows now. All Ernie could do was try to defend, but it was no use. This fight wasn't going to last much longer.
Okay, I yield. You win. I'll be your servant.
Please, I have enough servants. You think I'm not going to give my friends a good show?
No, you made a deal.
Oops, guess I lied.
Ernie, watch out! Buff Bear swung his claws and destroyed Ernie for good.
No!
The crowd went wild as Buff Bear celebrated with them. Oh, let's get him!
No, Zozo, I can't lose you too. Quick, grab the gloves and let's get out of here.
I jumped into the arena and collected the power gloves. Master Balboa and I got out of there as fast as we could. On days 27 to 31, we had made it back to the gym. I couldn't believe Ernie was gone. We'd only known each other for a short time, but it felt like we had become brothers. I went outside and saw Master Balboa looking off into the distance. We'll get our revenge on Buff Bear. I know it. Master Balboa sighed.
Zozo, it is impossible. I can't keep letting this cycle repeat itself. Ernie said the same thing to me when our last student was defeated, and that student said the same thing when we lost the one before. I am a failure as a teacher. I should just close up the gym and be done.
No, you can't do that. I've learned so much from you, and I know I have much more to learn. If you're gone, it will be like I've lost everyone. Master Balboa thought about it for a moment.
Fine, we can continue, but you must promise you won't challenge that bear. Training is for the strengthening of the self, not the domination of others.
I smiled. He was back to himself. I promised to train for my own betterment, not for the destruction of others. I meant what I said, but there was something inside of me that was telling me I needed to avenge Ernie. I didn't feel like I needed to mention that to Master Balboa though, so I changed the subject. I think we should do something to honor Ernie, and I know just what to do. Using some of the supplies from the gym, I got to work building a statue. I had a special idea in mind, and I think you'll like it when I'm done. It wasn't too much longer, and the first part of the statue was complete. On days 32 to 35, I went to have a chat with Perry. Even if we weren't going to challenge the Buff Bear and his monkeys, we needed to be strong enough to defend ourselves. Perry said he was ready to begin training, and I decided it would be good to go and try to recruit more animals. I headed out into the land and soon came across an abandoned farm. I didn't see anyone, so I decided to go ahead and grab some of the nearby crops. As I was finishing up, I heard a cry in the distance. What was that? The sound got closer. That's when I saw a baby pig was under attack by a group of cougars. Help me, help me! I charged in, punching the cougars. Leave him alone! The cougars must have been so hungry, they didn't even pay attention to me. The poor little piggy was really in trouble. I took a few swings and soon, all of the cougars were gone. Hey there, buddy. Are you okay?
Yes, but no. This was my family's farm. My family was captured and taken away by the henchmen of Buff Bear. I was next.
Thank goodness you came along.
Happy to help, but it's not safe out here. Please, come stay at my gym with me and my friends. You'll be much safer there. Pig was thrilled at this idea. Oh, and his name was Wilbur. On days 36 to 39, Wilbur and I had arrived back at the base. I brought him inside and introduced him to Perry, who was hard at work training on a dummy. Perry, I'd like you to meet Wilbur. He's going to be staying with us, and I thought he'd make for a great training partner. Perry and Wilbur started chatting and hit it off right away. Then they ran off to go do some training. While they were doing that, I decided to go outside and work on the farm. Using the crops I had collected, I planted everything to give us a nice food supply. With the farm set up, I then got right to work building Wilbur his own room. The poor guy was missing his family, but at least we could give him a home here in the meantime. Once the room was complete, I headed back to the ring to guide Perry and Wilbur in a practice fight. The two of them weren't very strong yet, but we would get them there. Master Balboa came over.
Ah, and who do we have here?
I introduced Wilbur to Master Balboa, who seemed happy to see him there. He didn't seem to be quite as strict as he was when I first arrived.
But remember, the things you learn here are for your defense only, not for attacking others. Speaking of which, I have something to share with you, Zozo.
What is it?
If we are to be prepared for an attack, we must have every advantage available to us. There is a powerful defensive item that you need to find.
Master Balboa then explained the direction I needed to go. He wasn't sure of its exact location, but another animal in the area may have heard of it. I set off right away. On days 40 to 43, I was still traveling across the land toward the special item. Off in the distance, I could see a watering hole. Oh, perfect, I could use a drink. As I got closer though, I was stopped by a gazelle.
Hang on, you can't go over there.
Why not?
Don't you see that lion? He attacks anyone who tries to drink. He's a real jerk.
A real jerk, huh? I've got a thing for getting rid of jerks.
Well, if you can get rid of him, I'll give you something good.
Sounds like a deal. Hang on a second. I hopped over to the lion. Without a word, he attacked. Wow, they weren't joking. You are a jerk. This guy was tough, but he had no training. His fighting style was messy, and he just tried to swing mindlessly at me. I bobbed and weaved, landing blows. He still got some hits in, but in the end, I managed to take him out.
You did it. Wow, that was really impressive. Here, take this.
The gazelle tossed out a specialized pickaxe. As I looked closer, I could see it was enchanted with efficiency and fortune. Whoa, this is a massive help. Thank you. I ran off and soon found a cave. I had to put this thing to use right away. As I explored the cave, I soon found what I was looking for. Diamonds. The perfect thing at a time like this. I'm going to be able to upgrade all of my gear. My pockets were soon full of diamonds, and I headed out to keep looking for the special item. On days 54 to 49, I was finishing up my diamond mining. Suddenly, I heard a noise behind me. What the heck is that? A giant two-legged monster was looking at me. It attacked! I had never seen a monster like this before, but it was really powerful. I was starting to get worried because my health was really dropping. It doesn't look like I'm gonna make it. Just then, a colorful warrior came stepping in and finished it off. Whoa, you're super strong. Where did you come from?
Technically, I came from 1,000 years ago.
Whoa, are you some kind of time traveler?
No, not exactly. In my lifetime, I was cursed by some evil witches, and now I can't rest until I've defeated the ancient ghost warrior.
Ghost warrior? That sounds spooky. What is that, and where do you find one?
Follow me.
I took off after the ancient warrior, and we soon arrived at an old temple. As we got closer, I could see there was some kind of magical force field blocking our way in. The ancient warrior explained that in order to bring down the shield, we'd have to defeat 3 nearby ghost shamans.
I have come here many times, but I'm not strong enough on my own. If I could get your help, there would be something in it for you too. Inside of this temple is a powerful defensive item that can only be used by the living.
That sounds like the item I've been searching for. I'm in. On days 50 to 53, the warrior and I soon saw the fire tower looming in the distance. On top, the fire ghost shaman was waiting. We charged up the tower, fighting blazes along the way. Out of the way, hotheads! The warrior was really impressed with my skills. We soon reached the top. The fire ghost shaman took one look at us, then attacked. We had an intense battle while he set off explosions around us. It was hard to believe that there were 2 more of these guys. With the combined power of the warrior and me, though, we managed to finally defeat him. After he disappeared, we noticed that he had dropped a key. Oh, we can use this to unlock the barrier. 2 more to go. Sometime later, we arrived at the ice tower. It was a huge ice spike protruding out of an icy wasteland. It was quite the sight to behold. Let's get to it. This time, the tower was covered in skeletal warriors. They were vicious in their attacks, and at times I was scared they were going to knock me off the tower. We got lucky though and managed to make it to the top. Problem was, there was no one there. Where is he? Do you think someone defeated him already? Without warning, some ice in the wall broke and the ice shaman came charging out. Quite the entrance there, sir. The ice shaman put up a big fight. As we battled, he shot ice spikes up from the ground, which were really scary. A hit from those would do some serious damage. We were tough though and managed to take him out. He too dropped a key, which we picked up. Later, we arrived at the final tower, the Storm Tower. It too was an impressive sight, towering over the surrounding land. We didn't have time to be impressed though. We had a key to collect. We charged up the tower, racing to the top. Protecting the tower was a small army of lightning allays. They would shriek as they flew in, trying to hit us. These guys are freaking me out. It took a lot of effort, but at long last, we had almost reached the top. There was just one problem. Looks like we've got some jumping to do. Hopefully we don't fall off.
The platforms had been covered in water and were a little slick, but we were doing okay. That's when a small storm cloud opened up and started shooting lightning at us. You can't be serious! We kept hopping across the platforms, doing our best to avoid the lightning strikes, which, as you can imagine, is not the easiest thing to do. Yet somehow we managed to reach the top. There was a burst of lightning, and the storm shaman appeared, floating on a thundercloud. Let's show this prehistoric storm junkie who they're messing with. The shaman started to fight us, shooting lightning as he went. Come on, man, cool it with the lightning. He was quick, but not too quick. We hit him again and again, taking some hits of our own. It was a close battle, but in the end, we were able to come out on top. And there's the last key. We picked it up. It was time to let our warrior rest. On days 54 to 57, we had returned to the temple. The warrior stepped forward and placed the keys in the elemental circle. As he did so, each key floated in place until at long last, the barrier was destroyed. We entered the temple and went up the stairs. As we reached the top, I could see the item floating on a table. The eye of the tiger. That must be it. We ran forward to grab it, but heard a strange noise, stopping in our tracks. What was that? Suddenly, the ground broke and we fell down a long hole. Oof. Where are we?
Who dares enter my tomb?
Sitting in front of us on a throne was the ancient ghost warrior. He was dressed in a tiger skin. There was no way I was going to get that item without defeating this guy. All right, Catman, let's dance. Ghost warrior charged. The battle was fierce and everyone was getting in some hard hits. The thing is though, we were winning. For an endless being, you aren't very tough. We landed a pretty heavy blow, which sent the ghost warrior running back to his throne.
Feel the wrath of the elemental beings.
Suddenly, a small force field appeared, and the 3 elemental shamans came running through the portals. These guys again? We can do this! It was hard enough fighting these guys one-on-one, but all 3 at once was a real challenge. Before, we had always outnumbered them, so this was a tough fight. Luckily, these reanimated warriors weren't as tough as the ones in the towers, as they didn't seem to be able to use their special attacks. Hang on, buddy, we can beat them! Slowly but surely, we were able to start taking them out. As one would fall, the force field would weaken, until finally, they were all gone.
I will end this!
The ghost warrior attacked us again, but it was clear we were too powerful. He tried his best, but soon, he was destroyed.
Thank you for your help, Zozo. Please, go and claim the Eye of the Tiger. I will stay here and assume my final rest.
You're a mighty warrior. Enjoy your afterlife. I ran up the stairs and grabbed the Eye of the Tiger off the pedestal. I don't know what exactly this does, but I guess I'll find out. As I went to exit the temple, I saw the warrior standing at the bottom of the temple steps. What are you doing here? I thought you were on your way to the afterlife.
Well, I did too, but nothing happened. Did you get the item?
I did, but I'm not sure what it does exactly.
You will never leave this place!
The ghost warrior had reappeared at the top of the stairs and came charging at me. He hit me super hard, but I immediately responded with an even stronger counterattack, knocking him out in one hit. Whoa, what was that?
It was the item. It lets you deliver a powerful blow, but only if you take a powerful hit yourself.
Interesting. Say, if you're not going to be disappearing anytime soon, why don't you join me on my quest?
I've got nothing else to do. Sounds great.
Awesome. By the way, what's your name? I bet it's something really cool and ancient sounding.
Tim.
Tim? Like short for Timothy?
That is correct.
Okay, well, that's still cool. Let's go. On days 58 to 62, Tim and I arrived back at the base. I headed straight to Master Balboa to tell him about the item I had found.
That is most impressive, Zozo. I'm so happy that you made it back in one piece.
Master Balboa let out a cough. That didn't sound so good, but I didn't want to press him. He was also looking a little shaky. With Tim at the base, I needed to make sure he had a place to stay. I wasn't sure if undead, timeless ancient warriors needed to sleep or not, but I did my best to make him a comfortable place. At the very least, he could just enjoy the feng shui. Tim then called me over to him and told me that his 1,000 years of life came with some training tips. Following his instructions, I made some improvements to the gym. These are really going to help us out. With Tim all set up, I then headed over to the crafting table to make use of all the diamonds I had found. It had been something of a miracle that I was able to win all the battles I did using subpar armor. Soon, I had everything upgraded and was ready for my next fight. On days 63 to 66, I decided to get some more work done on Ernie's statue. I had gotten a decent amount done when I heard a noise coming from the base. As I looked, I saw the base was under attack by the monkeys. And this time, it wasn't a dream. You scumbags, get back! I started to fight off the monkeys, taking a lot of them out. Buff Bear was strong, but his students weren't. He must not be a very good teacher. I then hurried and ran inside the gym, where there's a pack of monkeys attacking Master Balboa. Get away from him! Master Balboa was holding his own, but I could tell he was eventually going to be overrun. I helped fight off the monkeys until only the henchman monkey was left.
You may have defeated a little army, but as long as you keep training and getting more members of your gym, we'll keep giving you these little visits.
Enough is enough. We will never give up. Tell your boss this is an official challenge. I challenge him to a fight to the death.
Oh, okay, pal. Your funeral.
The monkey turned and ran off. I ran over to Master Balboa. He wasn't looking so good.
Zozo, why did you do that? You promised me you wouldn't fight him.
promised I would only fight out of self-defense. They attacked us. Isn't that what I'm doing? Master Balboa let out a cough. He had been seriously injured. We don't have to worry about that right now. You need to rest up and heal your wounds. I'm sorry. I led him to his bed to rest. Things weren't looking good. On days 67 to 70, I got to work, building a medical area that would have all the things that could help Master Balboa to heal. I hoped he could pull through. When I was done, I went to check on him again, but things were not looking good. Zozo, I don't know how much time I have left, but I need to talk to you about this fight. Master Balboa, it's okay. Save your energy. I know what you're going to say. We don't have to talk about this now. We do, Zozo. I just want you to consider something. You can live your life in peace at this gym, restoring it and training the next generation of protectors. You don't have to throw your life away in the pursuit of revenge. Don't answer me now. Just promise you will think about it. I promised him I would think about it. While I thought about it though, I decided to get to work repairing the gym. The monkeys had caused a lot of damage and we needed to get things back in case they attacked again. Once the repairs were complete, I went around the outside of the gym, putting up a fence. A little extra security could make a big difference in the future. As I was finishing up the fence, Perry came over to talk to me.
Hey, I've got some information you might find useful. I know where you can find that monkey.
Oh, do you? Because I wouldn't mind having a little chat with him.
There's a club nearby that he likes to hang out at. I'll tell you the way.
Perry explained how to find the club and I set off. If I decided not to fight Buff Bear, at the very least, I was going to take out his monkey. On days 71 to 74, I arrived outside the club Perry had told me about. There were some bouncers standing outside. Out of the way, boys, or I'll move you myself. The bouncers weren't interested in my threats and we started to fight. How bold of them to think they were going to stop me. I was able to knock both of them out pretty quickly. As I stepped into the club, there was a shout and a bunch of monkeys started to swarm me. Bring it on, you tree rats. Where's your leader? I smacked the monkeys left and right, sending them crashing into the tables and chairs. I wasn't in the mood for their sad attempts to take me out. I only had one thing on my mind: revenge. Come on, where is he? I know he's hiding around here. More and more waves of monkeys came running out, but it didn't matter. I tossed them around like stuffed animals and took them out quickly. If they weren't going to show me where the henchman was hiding, I was just going to have to start destroying their club. I ran around the room, busting up the tables and chairs. I ran around, breaking everything I could. If he was going to come to my house and break my stuff, I had no problem going to his and doing the same. Surely this would draw the monkey henchman out. On day 75 to 78, a nearby door opened and the henchman finally revealed himself.
Hey, what's the big idea? I thought we told you where you could stick your little kangaroo paws.
Did you really think you could come to our gym and not have anything happen in return?
You said you wanted to fight Master Bear, not me.
Turned out I had some room in my schedule. You and me, alone. Now, let's go!
Sure, I can crush you myself.
The henchman leapt forward, getting an early hit in, catching me off guard. He was stronger than I was expecting.
What's wrong, Happy? Spending too much time hugging trees and drinking tea with your turtle grandpa? How is he, by the way? I hear he's not doing too good.
You're about to pay what you did to him. I landed a really hard hit, which I could tell really shook him up.
No, not like this. You won't beat me.
Suddenly, a bunch of monkey guards came running into the room. You coward, always hiding behind others. You talk tough, but you're weak. If Buff Bear wasn't around to protect you, you'd have disappeared a long time ago. I managed to knock out the crowd of monkeys. The monkey henchman looked around, then took off running up a flight of stairs to the roof of the club. I chased him to the top. What are you so afraid of? I thought you were going to crush me.
What are you doing at that turtle gym? How did you become so strong?
It's called training. Maybe you should have tried it instead of running your mouth. The monkey henchman was cornered at the edge of the roof.
Hey, come on now. I just wanted to rough that old turtle up a bit, you know? It's not a big deal. We're not so different, you know? We're both strong-willed. So what do you say? Let's call it a draw and I'll get Buff Bear to call the fight off.
No, I punched him so hard he flew over the edge, disappearing into the night. I had no more time for slimy monkeys. As I ran down the stairs, I noticed there was a note on the monkey's desk. I picked it up and took a look. Do not worry about Zozo. Even if it comes to a fight between me and him, I have a man on the inside. We will poison Zozo before the fight and ensure my victory. This must be from Buff Bear, but a man on the inside? I'll have to keep an eye out. On days 79 to 84, I arrived back at the base. As I got closer, Perry came running out.
Zozo, come quick. Master Balboa has been asking for you. I think this is the end.
I hurried inside and saw Master Balboa was looking even worse than before. He looked like he didn't have much time left. Zozo, my end is near, but I needed to speak with you. I'm sorry, Master Balboa. I've been rash. I know I need to call off the fight. If that is your final wish, I will honor it. And finally, you understand. What do you mean? Zozo, I know you. And while I know you mean that when you say it, your desire for revenge will grow stronger with every attack Buff Bear launches. Even the strongest warrior can't run in two directions at once. Wait, do you mean to say you want me to fight him? I do. I've known this from the moment Ernie stepped into the ring with that bear. It was always your destiny to avenge Ernie and save this gym. But I needed you to understand that you cannot defeat the bear with a heart of rage. You've been preparing me this whole time, and I didn't even realize realize it. Thank you. I'm afraid someone here is trying to sabotage me, though. I found a note from Buff Bear saying so. If a friend is going to cross you, they may have their own reasons why. Be patient and have compassion, so you may learn why. Goodbye, Zozo. I will be with you. Master Balboa turned to his side and vanished. I couldn't believe he was gone. Suddenly, there were some blinking lights as experience poured in on me, leveling me up into an even bigger kangaroo with more hearts. Master Balboa's final gift. I won't let him down. As a show of my gratitude, I headed outside to do some work on the statue. There was something new I felt I should add. Now that Master Balboa was gone, it might not look like much, but soon enough, it will be something great. On days 85 to 89, I walked around the gym, visiting with each of the new friends I had made. Each of them had a piece of advice for me. Tim spoke of speed in the fight, using fast movements to evade the enemy's attack in order to land my own. Harry showed me what he had learned about his tail and shared with me a secret he had discovered that allowed him to hit twice as hard with it. Wilbur spoke to me about the power of perseverance. Sometimes things get hard in the fight, but by keeping your head down and continuing to fight, you will always make it through. As Wilbur was explaining, Perry came over. He had a note from Buff Bear. Greetings, Zozo. I accept your challenge and I will meet you in the arena in a few days. Best get ready soon. As I read the note, I noticed Wilbur was acting a little funny. I'd have to keep an eye on him over the next few days. On days 90 to 94, I woke up and decided it was time to make my final preparations. I felt more powered up than ever, but there was still more that needed to be done. There was no way I could let Buff Bear take me out. First things first, I've got to upgrade my armor. The strongest armor comes from netherite, so I needed to head into the nether. I set out to find obsidian. I had ventured deep into a cave where there was lava and was able to collect all the obsidian I needed. Using my newly collected obsidian, I then set up a portal outside and lit it. Going to the nether always makes me nervous, but here we go. I stepped into the portal and the purple haze took me away. Safely in the nether, I got right to work, looking for ancient debris. Unfortunately, this wasn't going to be an easy trip, and I was soon fighting my way through. Out of the way! I fought as hard as I could, and managed to clear a path. I had to hurry though, there was always something hiding around the corner. After plenty of searching, I managed to get all of the ancient debris that I needed. I also grabbed some gold. This will help me make netherite ingots, but I can also use it to finish the statue. Once I had collected everything, I headed back to the portal. On days 95 to 97, I arrived back in the overworld and made my way back to the gym. Using the ancient debris, I was able to smelt it down into netherite scraps. Then using the netherite scraps and gold, I made some netherite ingots. Now I can get truly powered up. I took all of the diamond armor and gear I had collected and upgraded everything to netherite. I had no idea what Buff Bear was going to show up with, so I had to have the best. After that, I headed outside to finish the statue. Using all of the supplies I'd collected, I was finally able to give it the final touches. As I'm sure you figured out by now, it was a trophy of my two friends, Ernie and Master Balboa. As I finished the statue and admired my work, I suddenly had a vision.
Zozo, it's me, Ernie.
Ernie? I can't believe it. You're back.
Well, no, I'm just here, in your head. But I wanted to say thank you for working so hard to avenge me.
Yes, Zozo, we won't see you there, but we will be supporting you. We know you can win.
Thanks, guys. I was starting to feel a bit lonely, but I feel much better now, especially since someone is going to try and poison me.
Zozo, remember, they may have their reasons, so meet them with compassion, not anger.
I nodded as the two of them vanished away. I'll do whatever it takes to win. On day 98, I woke up to the sound of a knock at my door. It was Wilbur.
Hello, Zozo. I thought you could use a pick-me-up before your fight. I made this for you.
Wilbur seemed really nervous as he passed the drink over to me. As I took a closer look at the drink, I could very clearly see that it had poison in it. It was labeled. Before I could say anything, though, Wilbur piped up.
Zozo, wait. Don't drink that. It's poisoned.
Yeah, I saw that. Wilbur, what's going on?
I'm sorry for trying to poison you. Buff Bear is blackmailing me. He knows something about me and threatened to tell everyone if I didn't help him.
What do you mean? What could be so bad that you would poison your friend?
The truth is that I love clean water. Bathing in mud is so gross. But if anyone found out, especially the other pigs, I would be ridiculed until the day I become a pork chop. Please don't tell anyone, and please forgive me.
The advice of Master Balboa repeated in my head. It's okay, Wilbur. I forgive you. And don't worry, if anyone ever gives you a problem about liking clean water, you just let me know. I've got two fists that will have a word with them.
Thanks, Zozo. You're a good friend.
I decided that I would even do him one better and got to work building him his own special hot tub. I wanted him to know that he would never get made fun of here. Once the work was completed, I gathered everyone together for one final chat. They were all so excited for me and began to give me words of encouragement. I didn't know what I had done to have so many great friends. As their encouragement grew, I suddenly started to as well. Out of nowhere, I became a big buff kangaroo. Let's go kick some Buff Bear butt. And don't forget to hit subscribe. I can't do this without your help. On day 99, we made our way to the arena. The day of the fight had come. As I entered, I could see not much had changed from before. Buff Bear and I stepped into the ring for our introductions.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the latest Rumble in the Rotunda! In the red corner, we have the mighty, the majestic, the powerful, the one, the only, Buff Bear!
The monkeys in the crowd went wild in admiration.
And in the blue corner, a kangaroo.
Buff Bear and I were facing each other. He had a sly grin.
Hope you're not feeling a little under the weather today.
You mean like poisoned? I feel great, actually. Turns out your friend is actually my friend.
What? That useless pig. After I beat you, he's dead.
Keep dreaming. We got ready for the bell. Buff Bear was going down. As the bell rang, we both leapt into action. I had been preparing for this moment for so long, I just had to win. Even then, he was still incredibly strong.
Silly kangaroo. You've wasted your time at that old decrepit gym. You should be putting your talents to use as my servant.
I'll never be your servant, and you're going to pay for what you've done to Ernie and to Master Balboa. We continued to exchange blows as the monkeys around us were going crazy. I had to be careful. One slip up, and he was going to be able to knock me out. I felt like I was winning and was getting some good hits in. Looks like your time is coming to an end.
Guess I'll stop playing around then.
Oh no, it was his fight with Ernie all over again. I was in trouble. He started to really hit me, and my health was really starting to drop. Just then, I heard a voice in my head, Master Balboa.
Focus, Zozo, and use the eye of the tiger.
Of course, the best offense was a good defense. I lowered my guard, letting myself take the full impact of Buff Bear's hit. As I did so, the eye of the tiger let me absorb the blow, sending Buff Bear out of the ring and into the afterlife. I did it! The monkeys were stunned. They couldn't believe it, but I could. Justice had been served. On day 100, I was back at the gym, right where I belonged. With Buff Bear defeated, we could train and grow in peace. The world had become just a little bit safer, but we had to be ready, always.